Here we go. All right, everybody, welcome to another LEVSTREAM art stream. I'm your host, Lev Polyak of Lev Po on Twitter. We are drawing. I'm drawing the NFTs. Here, I'm going to remove some of the green screen stuff here in the background so that doesn't distract you. We have Giovanni Panicietti. We have
Yo.
Jefferson Poland. We have
Good
Mass
morning.
Bastard
Hi
Charles Kahn.
guys.
We have,
Hi,
of course,
guys.
the great Catherine Brodsky joining us today, and
Oh,
she's going to
yeah.
be talking about a lot of very important stuff having to do with her op-ed. And, of course, we are going to have the great dog man himself, Cream of Dog, YoloSwagStudios, joining us at 3 o'clock. So please stick around for that. And also, I want to ask everybody who is watching, go to Twitter and promote the heaven out of this stream. Because one of the things that I did not do before, which I got advice on recently, is to actually ask the people who are watching this stuff to go to their Twitters and to share the tweet. So
Yeah, that's
here,
how
I'm
stuff
going
grows.
to...
It's
Yeah,
all
exactly.
grassroots. Like if people aren't sharing stuff around, like people can't find it.
I'm making my
So
mom
here
watch.
is the tweet. Thank you. Thank you. She better watch. So here's the tweet over here. You could see it in the chat.
Should I
so
say
just
hi, Mom?
copy. Hi, yeah, hi, Mom.
Hi,
Hi,
Mom.
Grandpa.
Hi,
Hi,
Mom.
hi, Mom.
She's probably
So-
sleeping. It's late over there.
Yeah.
So anyway,
You eat
let's
chicken
get
tendies.
let's get to first Geo and then Catherine.
Yes.
Geo, you are working on something quite special. You've been
Yeah.
hinting at it. So let's see what this is.
Yeah, it's another wood engraving of the Notre Dame, the spire collapsing. I wanted to always do something with these images, and I have like an actual painting that I planned. That's like it's a little bit a part of it, but I figured like it would come out really nice in a wood engraving. I just have to like do like the majority of like the finer detail. Then I'll get into like the cloud structure, the smoke structures in the background. But for now, I'm just gonna like hopefully get all the good details done in the actual like brickwork and everything. So
You know what this reminds me of, Geo, looking at it? It reminds me a lot of the tarot card, The Tower, and specifically
Oh,
the
yeah.
one from the
There you go.
Aleister Crowley deck.
that's like one
So-
of my favorites actually. That the tower card.
I'm gonna
So-
post an image of it as well in the chat, so you guys tell me, is this the same?
Always
So
like the fool. The fool's the best one.
Yeah, the fool's got that.
It's the
cute
guy and his
little
dog.
I like the Hierophant just because I like the word Hierophant.
Yeah, that's a good word.
There you go.
It's a very
Yeah.
nice word. It sounds.
Catherine, you got a favorite tarot card?
Tarot card. No, I've never been privy to tarot cards.
Oh, you
Well,
got to
why
play
did
those
I pick
Persona
one?
games.
Why don't
Learn your tarots.
I'm gonna pick one for Catherine. So
I'm thinking
let me just grab the
sun.
cards here.
I think
Well,
she would
Catherine's
like the sun.
people, they have their own form of tarot.
Well,
what does that
no,
mean,
no,
Gio?
No, I'm
Well,
just
no,
saying.
actually, no, you're wrong about that, Geo, because the tarot is
Oh, no, I'm
based
sorry,
partly on
it's-
the Kabbalah.
Yeah, so that's
Yep.
like,
It's the other way around, you could say, where Jewish mysticism influenced a lot of the a lot of this tarot stuff, like all the different aspects of the human spirit, you could say, are linked to these various meanings that are written down in the tarot cards.
I wasn't trying to.
the
I
the Sephiroth and like Merkaba mysticism and all that.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not
absolutely.
super familiar with it, but I'm kind of familiar with it.
I wasn't trying to be anti-Semitic, guys. I love Catherine. In
Yeah, he's
fact,
actually-
I mean,
It's actually
This comes out really naturally. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
yeah, Gio. Cut the remarks there, pal.
So okay, all right. So
well,
before,
I mean, she's single. I'm single. I don't know. I can make
Yeah,
it
you've
more
got that
obvious.
tool shed.
yeah, time for a new.
He's very dangerous suddenly.
Okay, so guys, listen, I have these
I
cards
don't know
over
what's
here.
wrong with
So,
me.
okay, Catherine, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select 5 cards at random, face down, and you're gonna tell me which one I should grab, and that's gonna be your card of the day, okay? Let's do it. So I'm just gonna select. I have no idea what they are. Here, I'm gonna select. Let's see, 1,
So-
2.
Sorry, I gotta keep
3,
humorous because I'm
4,
looking.
5.
I'm looking through a jeweler's loop for 2 hours, so it's like I got to keep my sanity about me. So that's
Gio's just trying to make excuses for his rampant, inappropriateness.
Italianness, inappropriate.
Yeah, well, he's you can't forgive Gio.
I'm a
but,
homosexual.
yeah.
I can't
we can
help
just
it.
forget.
Homosexual. Oh god.
He
Okay.
identifies as a bastard.
That I believe.
All right, Catherine.
Uh,
Look, here are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards from left to right.
Ooh, that's
Which
you.
one? Which one do you want to pick?
Oh, I'm gonna go. I'm a centrist, so I'll go for the center.
Ah,
So wait, so the
Oh.
sender is. Hold on, I want to feel that out. This one over
number
here, right?
3, yeah.
Okay, so let me just put
Number
the other ones
3.
down.
Is
The
this
other
your
one down.
card?
Okay, so let's see what it is. Here we go.
Whoa, is
So
that
this
just like a
is-
bunch of swords? Or...
So this is cruelty,
Mm.
and this
Oh.
I believe is
Oh no, Catherine,
not
what have you done?
Nine
No.
of Swords.
No.
So this is not. So let's see what it says about Nine of Swords, shall we? Okay, Nine of Swords, and
This
this is
is what
the
being on the in the center gets you. Swords.
and this is
from all
this is
sides.
the
hit
Crowley
me.
deck. So here we go. Nine of Swords, cruelty.
Double down,
The
double
cop-
down.
Yeah.
The Quabalistic Thoth, Nine of Swords, cruelty, presents a ghastly image of 9 crooked, chipped swords dripping blood. If this isn't gloomy enough, we have the celestial rule of Mars in Gemini. Mars, a primal raging hunger that has no restraint because of the Gemini twin paradox, is a mind in war with the body. 9 is a number of completion and in the purest state of the element. 9 is also the number of the Sephira Yesod foundation on the Tree of Life. Yesod is on the middle pillar of the Tree of Life and has rectified the imbalances of the past energy disorders of air. This, however, does not rectify the degeneration of the energy as it continues down the tree. Swords usually depict the pure intellect that acts like air as its energy in motion, continuously heats up with passion and cools down with rationale. In the case of the Nine of Swords, consciousness has fallen into an unenlightened void of survival thought, stirring heartless animal passions that are of the psychopath and the fanatic.
Oh my
Hence, this
gosh!
is the
May I
character-
just say that
You
this
wrote
is
all of
my
this on that
first
card?
experience with tarot cards, and
You picked
And-
very well.
I'm so glad that.
I was
Go
gonna
on.
be death. I was
Okay.
like, oh no, death's gonna upset her.
Okay, so it says over here, all of this sounds awful and terribly gloomy, yet it is the cultural foundation of divide and conquer indoctrination technique and often the state of mind used in scientific experiments on animals. Here, empathy is not part of the mechanism of thought, only the vision counts no matter the means of getting there. In a more personal note, here is the self-consciousness acting as an inquisitor, punishing the body for its actions. So there's a lot more over here that's written about this card. Astrological aspect of this card is Mars in Gemini. Let's see over here. Often we are hurt by the chaos of daily life, and this card is about crying about that hurt rather than doing something about it. Often I hear people say, God took my loved ones away from me, or what kind of God would allow a baby to be shot, killed, etc.? Why do I always fail? Or that other hurt them emotionally. For one, another didn't hurt us emotionally, they just didn't live up to our vision of them or our expectations. What hurts us is our own wants not to be fulfilled, something we have no right to place upon or burden another with. There are many examples of how we practice self-cruelty, but either way, the answers aren't easy nor pleasant for such devastating events, but they have nothing to do with the divine creative's desire to call back to its bosom,
Bosom?
some soul,
Bosom.
bosom, there we go, some soul or a type
We're
of
bosom
karma.
buddies.
Souls are us. The divine desire is all about freedom to be us. Besides
Souls are
divine-
us. That should be a
Souls
brand.
are us.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there we go. Catherine, I mean, again, there is more written, yada, yada, yada. That is your first
Yeah,
card,
there's
and
there's a lot going on with the old tarot cards there. Like they can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. And I'll remind everybody that nothing has any meaning save what we choose to impose. That existence is completely random.
I will
Yeah, I
agree with
don't
that.
agree with that.
I like that like Geo has like his wood carving and then like Lev has like tarot cards and I have like on my desk like a 3-day-old cup of like McDonald's Fanta.
I have Dungeons
I
and
align
Dragons
more-
books.
more
bottles.
closely with Jefferson, I feel like, on this.
I've got D&D books laid out, and I've got my notes all set up.
Charles, I've got to
literally
learn this.
threw all the
D&D.
shit from my bed onto the floor so it doesn't show up on the camera.
Oh, yeah.
By the way,
smart.
before I start drawing, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shuffle my own card, and I'm gonna pick a card. This is gonna be the card that's gonna carry the day today for me.
All right,
and
come
later
on,
on,
Big.
come
and
on.
later on. Okay, here we go.
Big money, big
Okay.
money, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no
Okay,
whammies.
see, I'm not looking. I'm not looking. I have no idea what this card is. See, I'm shuffling everything over here. So, okay, here I'm gonna pick a
I
random.
love how
one.
big that deck is.
I know. Okay,
No,
here
Lev
we
is
go.
just really small.
Let's see.
Big man.
Yeah, those cards
let's
are
see what
actually
this
really
is.
small.
I could smoke those
Okay.
arms.
Let's see what this is. Okay, so this is a backwards the priestess. So let me just take a look at that.
The priestess.
What is the priestess? So let's see what is the priestess backwards.
I'll
Let's
bet
be
you
a
it's gonna be good
lady
things.
tonight.
It's gonna be good things, and it's gonna
Let's
be totally
see.
counter to my card because I think this game is rigged. Just saying.
Okay, here we go. The priestess thought tarot cards, but I gotta look at the reverse. So it says over here, instinct, longing for inner sources, purpose, being guided, touched becomes the original cause. Perception based on intuition, mental intelligence, patience, the shadow, vaguely dreaming, fleeing from reality, sad state, doubtful, fake, fear of human existence. So, okay, so let's see the reverse. Let's see, do they have the reverse here? I'm trying to see. I'm not sure. Like, okay. I am not seeing it. Once again, everybody subscribe
Not
who is
seeing?
watching this. Not seeing, exactly. How could they not see all the harm that they caused, right, guys? So,
yeah.
anyway, yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing reverse. See, it shouldn't have been reverse, because it's hard for me to find. Actually, I don't even know if this one has a reverse, because look, if you take a look at this card, right? Like, you can see this is an upside-down cross. This would be the correct way of looking at it. Like, does the Crowley one even have a reverse? So, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's... No, but it probably should. So, let's see over here. Oh, here we go. Reversed. Okay, I found it on biddytarot.com. But this is, like, this is not the Crowley one. But still, it says over here, the reversed high priestess calls on you to be still and direct your attention inward to listen to your voice and wisdom. You may be swayed by other people's opinions or swept up in their drama when what you really need to do is focus on what is in front of you. Okay, but again, this is like the general one. This is not the Thoth. So here, I'm looking esotericmeanings.com. Thank you so much for the subscription, whoever that is. Okay, so finally, we get to... Okay, Thoth Priestess reversed. Looking at the surface of things without any depth or understanding. That's bullshit. Ignoring your spiritual guide intuition and being mind dominant. Unwillingness to accept your feminine side. Not making enough time for spiritual study. Getting too caught up. No, this is all bullshit.
So
I'm not,
Lev is
I'm
an
being-
Well, it's the
atheist
reverse.
trans
That you
woman.
got to have the reverse, though.
I did have the reverse. Did you see? Like, I picked it up and it was
Yeah.
reversed. It
So
was
does
upside
that mean
down.
that you're spending too much
it's
time
that
on
you
spiritual
don't
study?
want to accept.
Your
You ever
feminine
figure
side.
that you're hiding it? I don't
No,
know.
but
What am I saying?
no, but the problem is that I've been doing too much spiritual stuff lately. I would have expected the cards to say lay up on the lay up on the spiritual stuff. You've been doing too much of these already. I mean,
Start
there are
working-
people out there. Yeah,
Start working more on the mind and the body.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I have been working on the body actually. I've been lifting a lot more than I usually have. By the way, last time I did 240 pounds, but I only got to lift that up 3 times, and then I lifted 235 pounds, I believe, 4 times, and then I lifted up 200 and... How much was it? I'll check, but however much it was a pretty damn big amount of weight, and I
I
lifted
want
that
to
up
get
7
back into
times.
doing the Ric Flair Hindu squats. Ric Flair
yeah.
starts every day by doing Hindu squats, regular squats, push-ups, and oh god, he had another thing that he did. He said he did 50 of each of them every morning.
Nice.
Dude's got to be pushing 75, and he probably gets around better than any of us.
Definitely. And, Catherine, let's go to your article. So, you wrote an op-ed piece in Newsweek. I said. Piece. Newsweek.
Segue, very
about
well
a-
connected.
Thank you. About a recent.
I did not see it
Newsweek still
coming.
exists. Holy
Nor did I.
crap!
Whoa, Gio. No.
Damn, dude.
Sorry. I'm thinking News of the World. They destroyed that one.
The one that I wrote
Nice.
for the Weekly
Nice
World News,
save.
that one hasn't been around in a long time.
Gio, that was a nice save. I like how you like. Oh.
Oh.
No, it was News of the World. That's what I
The
meant.
But
Weekly World
Newsweek
News.
should be destroyed. No, I'm kidding.
Tell you all about Bat Boy and his
Wow.
adventures.
I'm kidding.
Fiji mermaids.
So okay, so here is the.
But
here's
maybe unless.
So here's the article, and I linked to a tweet, and here is the article itself. The rise of righteous online bullies. I think she's talking about you, Gio.
Well, no, that was, back in the
Gio's
day we
too
used
nice.
to back in the day we used to tell journalists to like very nasty stuff, but now the Twitter they'll like get rid of you now, so nobody does
That's
that.
good. You know, in Clubhouse, I was told I'm the only journalist in this group of anti-journalists. Apparently, I'm the only journalist they haven't blocked yet.
Oh, that's good.
I always say always troll
Yeah.
your journalists. Like whenever they ask for information, always give them crazy stuff because they'll print anything.
That's the
Well,
browsing.
that's a problem.
Yeah, I'm 9 foot.
So,
8.
you know, if they ask me, like,
not
so
funny.
Charlie, aren't you a hunter? You're in West Virginia. It's like, oh, yes, actually. I once killed a bear with only a knife.
And this
then
is how
proceed to tell it-
disinformation gets circulated.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
gullibility.
I thought you were gonna say you killed a bear with your
Confirmation
bare hands.
bias. It's
Yes.
confirmation bias.
Well, you know, I started with my bare hands, then I found a knife. It was just laying there out in the woods.
I wonder why.
Not a gun.
No. I would never use a gun. Not me.
You know, Joey Diaz used to say that how some of the Vietnam vets back in what was that state, Colorado. Back in Colorado, how they'd get rid of somebody is they would beat them up and then tie them to a tree and just pour honey over them.
Yeah.
And just leave them there for the bears.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that
the
was
dudes-
like Richard
the last
Kuklinski
dudes that I would
said
mess
he'd
with
do that.
be like old Vietnam vets, like your special forces dudes.
Yeah.
The Green
Dudes you do
Berets?
not F
You ever
with.
seen that video of that Vietnam vet that like he got pulled over by a cop and then he went like full fucking PTSD.
Oh no!
Yeah, I saw that one.
Pulls out like his fucking carbine and starts doing like evasive maneuvers and shit and just like
Oh,
ice
shit.
this fucking cop.
Wow.
It was wild, bro.
Cop
And he's
messed with the
totally
wrong dude.
destroying Catherine's.
Yes, before we
just
go into the
noticed-
Yeah,
jungle.
yeah.
Before we start
Before-
talking about Rambo,
But that was a
Yeah.
great video, though.
We'll-
although the cop
we'll
probably
hold
did
the Rambo talk. We're talking about the Nazi, the cry bullies online, the ones who do.
Please.
That's what they are. They cry, and
I
they're
haven't
both
heard that term
cry
in
bullies.
years.
That's the term.
I kind of like
Yeah.
this cry
Yeah.
bully.
Well, that's what they are.
Yeah.
They're cry
Yeah.
bullies. They
Yeah.
see Nazis everywhere, but in the mirror,
Oh.
and that's where the Nazis really live.
That's why
is
they're
inside
vampire
their own
Nazis.
minds.
I
in the
find
mirror.
the term Nazi just like incredibly offensive. I must say. It's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
misappropriation.
As a national socialist, the correct term.
I know.
Is,
NSDF.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Now,
I did not identify as a Nazi. Just saying.
Now, who are most of the people in this Facebook group of yours? Were they other journalists, or who were
Yeah,
they? Let's
they
start
were
with
We'll
all-
that.
probably cover like the basics of the article. It was about
Yeah.
you had a Facebook group where you were trying to help people get it was like a journalist, like get people jobs kind of thing, like
Job
that's where,
listing,
like sharing
people sharing
resources.
jobs. Yeah.
Yeah, like a really nice little group, like a friendly thing. And you posted a job from Fox News, and people had strong thoughts about that.
Well, I wasn't even the person who posted that job, so it's funny.
Oh, it was just somebody else posted it. You
yeah,
took the
it was
heat for
somebody
it.
approved it. It wasn't even me. It's funny. The person who approved it actually went on to become, yeah, never took any kind of ownership of it and actually badmouthed me. Never outed.
Interesting.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I never outed this person, but
Ooh.
What
Yeah.
a fucking
Wow.
move. You should have. You should have.
Yeah.
it might be
Catherine.
deserving. It might. That person probably very much deserved it, but I just do not want to.
Listen, Catherine, pretend I'm your husband for 2 seconds, okay? I would say,
Oh my god,
honey,
that's too much, even for me, even with my acting background. Yeah.
Gio,
Oh,
please put it away.
I would
Goddamn.
say, listen, you have to you got to be vicious. You live in a very vicious profession, so
I'm
you
going
have
to
to meet.
disagree. I'm going to
ugly
say
with ugly.
diplomacy. You live in a very diplomatic time where anything you say can be used against you.
I think
So-
that I did not take that approach to you, and I'll tell you why. It's because I do not want to become the person that these people are. Like, if then they've succeeded, you know? Yeah. I don't want to play the same game. I don't want to become that person.
I hate the idea of canceling and the deplatforming. Canceling, you know, I like being canceled. Like I can handle people coming at me saying that they're mad at me. Like, that's fine. It's the removal and the deplatforming and the dehumanizing. That's the stuff that I can't stand. That's when it turns into, all right, you guys have crossed the line. Like, you want to talk about online harassment? Like, right there it is. Because that was what the article said, is that people started sending you things calling just the idea that you would post a job or allow a job to be posted for Fox News. One of the largest.
Oh my God! Oh, you mean the largest with the largest market share in all of America?
Yeah, but their argument was that, you know, it causes violence and great harm to, you know, people of color and others.
What is CNN doing with all the coverage of like every day?
I would
somebody who's
argue
been shot that they try to
but they have Mark
recontextualize
Hill,
into something
mass
else.
bastard.
Well, I would argue that any publication that publishes, you know, really ill-informed or misinformation or lies or, you know, attacks, anything of that nature is incredibly harmful and should all be, you know, taken to task for that. But as individually, like every time they do this, you know, people should there should be some repercussion. And if Fox does this, and they certainly do, sometimes, they should be taken to task.
You know, they'll post retractions on things. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do once the genie's out of the bottle.
But let's face it, though, there is like a clear bias at Fox. Like, I was watching, for example, their coverage of please close your ears for a second. I was watching their coverage of Israel versus Palestine. They were like totally just ignoring the Israeli genocide, apartheid, war crimes. And
no, wait. Hold on, though. Okay, I'm gonna listen to that podcast.
Here we go.
Here we go. Hold on. Do you remember?
Please let me finish. They were ignoring the genocide. Sorry, Lev. I'm sorry.
Do you remember? There are allies. Well, you're Canadian, so you can say whatever you want, but they're America's allies.
Well,
all right,
and also, Geo, I'm just curious, how well informed are you on this particular subject?
Very informed. Well,
are you well informed or are you based?
He's been Palestinian this whole time.
Well, no. But in actuality, I did notice that, of course, like Fox News, they have a clear bias to like the point where they're ignoring the settlements, but also they're ignoring the ethnic conflicts on the ground in certain places. I wouldn't go as far as to say that the Palestinians are being pogromed in these certain towns, but it does seem like there is intense ethnic violence going on that is not being reported by the Western media.
Well, I'm gonna say, and I don't think this is I think this is a really big discussion, big conversation to put in this. And I would just say there's a lot more coverage that does quite the opposite. But
I'm saying that just Fox News does have a bias for Israel. I mean,
they do. So, and the other outlets have it against. So, I mean, it's and quite a few more outlets.
I maintain that these guys have been fighting since before the Bible, and that they're gonna fight. They're going to be fighting well after. Like, if humanity was able to somehow leave and everybody goes to Mars, these two groups of people will somehow find a way to still hate one another. And still
my approach.
I think that.
Wait, hold on. You got to let me finish. My approach to a lot of these things is the Thomas Sowell approach, where I would take a look at whatever proposition people have and ask, like, what would be the unintended consequences of the following proposition? So when it comes to, for example, and again, I'm not going to go, because I don't want to turn every fucking left stream into this, but I am going to say one quick thing, which is, let's say, for example, you're in a situation where you have, as was the case originally when there was the partition, where we had both Jews and Arabians that were living in this area, then it was partitioned into both Israel and Palestine. of a pretty much equal part inside of that region. And the question that then occurs to me is, okay, then all of a sudden you had the entire fucking Middle East that was charging at the Israeli side, and then when the Israelis fought back, the question then is, what can you do to make sure that the specific points that are in your periphery, if we're talking about Golan Heights, if we're talking about other areas,
Yeah, but Lev,
what
this
do you
is
make
all
sure? You
contended-
gotta let me finish. What do you what do you
Oh.
have to do?
Well,
Yes,
get
I'm gonna be
out.
hard here. I'm gonna be very hard here.
But it's
What
predicated
do
on
you
the
make sure?
legitimacy of the claim that they belong there to begin with.
I'm
which
not
is
even
highly
talking. No,
contested.
no, 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 no.
The
No, I'm not even
Spaniards
talking
have
about
more of
that.
a
Can I
claim.
just,
The Turks have
I'm
more
not
of a
even
claim.
talking.
Sorry,
Gio,
sorry.
Can I just
Gio,
cut in
no,
real
no,
quick
I'm
on
not
a
even talking.
unrelated
I own
note?
all of planet
Lev.
Earth. I own it all, and everybody on it. I'm like,
No,
no,
everybody's
see,
encroaching
you
on
guys-
my
Sorry,
rights.
guys.
You
sorry.
guys.
Yo,
Okay,
yo,
listen,
just-
listen.
Just
You
one
guys
second
are
before we
approaching
continue.
this-
Lev,
okay, yes.
Stained Haynes,
Oh.
he didn't get an invite.
Oh, sure. Okay, let me send it to him right now. But just okay,
Oh,
just
left
so you
power
guys know.
move. Left power move. No, I'm
Okay,
kidding.
here, just so
We're
you
getting
guys
the
know, my
Mediterranean
approach.
squad in here.
I'm not talking about legitimacy, schmizilimacy. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. What I am talking
Oh,
about.
of course you ignore the question of Israeli legend.
No. I'm talking about the following.
You know,
If
I
you
have friends that are Israeli guys, and some of the nicer people I've ever met were Israeli guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Fella,
But okay, hold on. This is very important, because every time I'm trying to say this, I always get cut off. I'm not going to get cut off anymore,
right.
motherfuckers. Here we go.
It's all
This
yours,
is what
Lev.
I'm going to say.
Oh,
This is all
God.
me. This is what I'm going
Left
to say
power
right
trip.
now.
Talmudic
Yes.
power trip. No.
Talmudic power trip, exactly. That is exactly what this is. So listen up and listen good. If you have a territory, the peripheries of which you end up taking, and then you end up giving away, and when you give away those peripheries, then those peripheries are exactly the places where people start launching rockets at you. My question is, what do you do there? Because that seems to be, at least for me, the unintended consequences of giving certain peripheral parts of your territory up. So if you, Geo, if you were the president of Israel, let's say you decided to make you the president of Israel.
all right, President
And-
Geo.
Yes, congratulations. And you know that if this piece of territory that was acquired during the time that the Middle East was charging at you, if this piece of territory is going to be given up, it's like in a high elevation, it's a good territory for the other side to start dropping bombs at you. What would you do, Geo? Would you give that piece of territory up or no, knowing that if you give this piece of territory up, they're going to start launching rockets at you from that vantage point?
Yeah, but that's not the point. The point.
That is the point, because you're stuck there because the fucking Middle
How
East
come- yeah,
invaded.
but
You
Lev, how
give
come
an inch,
everywhere-
they take a mile. You give an inch, they take a mile.
How come everywhere
Lev,
else where there is
Lev,
strategic advantage towards another territory, except for Israel and America, they can like just place whatever they want there? Like, international law doesn't work like that, Lev. Just because you have a strategic advantage in one area doesn't mean that you should like impose this like settlement to the point where the Palestinians live in like a giant open air prison. Like,
Wait,
I don't.
excuse
Who
my
turns-
excuse
Who
my
turns it
ignorance,
into the prison?
but
Yeah.
are we discussing the Golan Heights?
We're discussing
See,
Team
I thought we were
Jacob versus
discussing
Team.
Facebook
No,
Team
partly it is the
Edward.
Golan Heights. But look, this is not something. This is not something that can be solved in one podcast outing. My whole point
And
Gonna
here
we're
take
is
at
totally
least
destroyed
three.
Catherine's presentation. I'm very
Yes.
sorry for bringing up the oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
just had
I'm a
the
little bit
Twilightus.
upset about that, Gio, to be honest.
What do you
because-
mean? What do you upset?
Well,
Like
because
that,
this is a conversation that has so much complexity, so much nuance, and
Yes.
to just talk about it in this kind of flippant way and not necessarily be ready and informed. Like, I don't believe in having these kinds of conversations unless both parties are like ready, informed, well educated.
well, listen, I've been on Paul on 4chan for a long time, so I like to think.
Yeah.
Okay, just real
No,
quickly,
but-
if I can interject. First
Yeah.
of all, Albania strong. Thank you for noticing I
No,
didn't get an invite.
no.
All right.
Love
Yes.
my brother.
All right. Two. In all fairness, Kat. Considering
No
that
opinions, never.
Hey, listen, if there are dudes with tracksuits hanging out outside your place, if you look out the window, it is a totally unrelated incident. Okay. Don't
Literally
lay
me
this.
just hanging out.
Don't lay this at the feet of Albania. How dare you, Gio?
I know,
no,
Gio.
I think-
what do you have
Oh,
against
no.
Albania?
Yeah,
But,
Gio, are
Listen,
you
you are
racist?
worse. you're God. Allah forgive
Are
me.
Yeah,
you
for saying
Geo
this.
is
Geo?
a
Albanian.
Are you a Albanian Nazi?
He's an Albanian.
They have
yes.
those. I may have to change my opinion then.
But here's but here's the deal. Here's the deal. If I could just interject very quickly, Kat. In all fairness, considering that like usually a free for all break the rules is like the McLaughlin Group, and this is more like this is more a toned down coffee talk version of the McLaughlin Group. And granted, none of us are experts in Middle East
I'm an
studies.
expert.
Well, Charlie's an expert in a lot of things, and I can't
That's right.
discredit him here, okay? In fact, Charlie's the equivalent of like a Southern lawyer in a white seersucker suit going, now,
ladies and
please,
gentlemen of the
it's
jury.
yeah, with your thumbs in your suspenders.
I'm just a simple country lawyer.
I
Simple
guarantee.
country lawyer.
So for what it's worth, sometimes discussions on these art streams, for all we know, 5 minutes from now, we're all going to be yelling over, who knows, Berserk, the use of mercenaries in the Middle Age. Like, if the powers can kill two Kennedys, why can't they make a good cup of coffee? Like,
you say that like the other Kennedys weren't killed, like the one that died in the plane crash wasn't set up.
This is true. Okay, all right. You see, the expert chimes in. So in all fairness, Kat, it's not like Geo was playing a QuickTime event and then it was like turn this into Israel, and then he hit X with all of his might.
Yeah,
Geo, why do you have so many thoughts about Israel all the time?
I don't know. It's just Catherine,
it is a weird thing where you have so many Italians that marry Jews, and Gio, you know this really well.
Yeah.
So I think it's always been a bit of a identity struggle as far as like Gio, your Italian ancestors. Like if we go back far enough, like I'm sure that they were intermingling with a lot of Jewish people. Yet there's kind of like, am I close to the Jewish people? Am I not? There's so much in common as far as family values. Think of all the Italian mothers, Jewish mothers, grandmothers. Like there is so much in there that is the same that I really don't see that much of a difference. I mean, recently, like I said before, we had Cuomo that ended up having. I think it was his kids or grandkids. I remember somebody there married somebody who was Jewish. But either way, my whole point here is that a lot of these values align, and I think that's a very important thing. But to Catherine's point, I completely agree. A conversation like this is not really something that you can just like lay all the cards out on the table and expect to be solved.
Yeah,
in
we need to do a tarot reading of Israel.
And what's Israel's tarot card?
Oh God.
But also the other thing, Gio, and you know this perfectly well, that when it comes to, let's say, the kind of people that are more in your circle, it does there is kind of like there's a bit of a bubble when it comes to maintaining a certain idea there.
I mean, certain infographics that go around and
yeah.
Anyway, cyberbullies.
Yeah, so these cry bullies. So what they did was rather despicable to accuse Catherine of being a Nazi and like hate monger and all sorts of whatever awful terms you want to call it. Yeah, white supremacist, racist.
Oh, that article. There are a few things about that article I wanted to bring up, and just very quickly, I'm curious how many times things online devolve into people accusing others of being an ist who harbor an ism, possibly a phobia. Like, let's take a step back but let's take a step back and consider that Godwin's law predates like a lot of like internet discourse. And
that goes back to the BBS days, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It goes back to the Nazi party where they were just like, you guys are literally Nazis.
Oh.
I mean, what happens in all of this? I feel like the real victims are the real Nazis. Like, what do you call them? Like, it devalues this.
There's definitely a better way you can say that.
No, you know what? I'm on board with Kat.
Yeah, won't somebody think of those poor Nazis?
I'm poor Nazis. Their appropriation of these labels.
Yeah.
To these poor, these Nazis who are really doing their best to live up to it.
What I always say is like I've been called everything. And I've sort of grown a thick skin to it. It was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm a bastard. Like, I'm that guy.
I'm
Say
a
whatever you
bastard.
want about me. I'm just going to keep on talking trash and being silly. Like, say
Yeah.
what you want. But somebody
Be
who has,
silly.
who they call it in PR, they call it stepping on a landmine, where someone says something that they think is innocuous and it blows up on them, like that the Gina Carano thing where she was talking about trans athletes that blew up on her.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
she had no idea that would be a
Mm.
huge argument. She thought that would be
That
a
was
rather
idiotic on
simple
her
thing.
part. How the fuck could you not have any idea that would be controversial?
Well, you know,
Well, maybe it was a strategy. Maybe it was something she decided to do to,
Perhaps.
gain
to
some
get,
kind
get a
of.
job with Ben Shapiro.
Yeah,
I
but
don't know.
where
So
it
losing
really
your
turns-
fancy Star Wars job to working with Ben Shapiro
Oh,
type
yeah.
thing.
Becoming
really
a conservatard grifter, yeah. That's
Catherine?
really great.
Catherine?
Yeah, where it really turns into a problem though is okay. So people can call you things. I mean, it's not a pleasant experience to have, but ultimately, like, I know who I am. I know what I am not. It doesn't, none of these words like stick because I understand that they don't mean anything, but where it becomes dangerous is that when it starts to creep into other things. So it's the defamation of character, slander. You wonder what other people think of you now that you walk into a room. You wonder if you lost a job because of this, because people are threatening to reach out to your employers. You're being, people are subtweeting. So there's constant, like,
yeah,
it's the
So you've
harassment
gotta-
part of it.
To
Yeah.
put it in context where everybody will understand, you've got a Triple H out there who's spreading rumors about you, talking about how bad a worker you are, and saying,
you're
do you really
unsafe.
need to work? Like, this Rock guy, like, we don't like him, like, he's no good. Because this was a real thing that happened with the Rock. Triple H and Shawn
There's
Michaels
this jabroni out here.
conspired against him.
Insulting the Rock.
Well,
Just-
the Rock was meant to be the baby-faced good guy, and he couldn't get over. He had like this shitlocks haircut. Could not get over with that character because it was a terrible gimmick. He was like this happy, smiling guy. So they put him in the Nation of Domination, which he was meant to be like the heater in the back, like the muscle guy, and that was supposed to be D'Lo's big push.
Yeah,
D'Lo Brown
they
was supposed to
destroyed
be the
D'Lo's
guy.
push. Yeah.
Right, because The Rock would maximize his time, but behind the scenes there were multiple people trying to conspire against him.
No good. Well, imagine if they would have had a Nazi WWF wrestler.
So
named
back
Double,
in
Double
H.
H.
Now hang on.
Hold
if
on,
you
you guys
Double
are
H.
heading on my. You guys, yeah, Double H. Yeah.
Oh God!
Oh, my
no!
God.
If you
Oh,
could
no.
have, if Erwin R. Shyster IRS can be a wrestler, I'm waiting for the day some brown shirt goose stepping guy who will get pelted by everything in the audience.
So back
It's
in the
gonna-
50s,
it's
they
gonna
actually
cut a
had
promo.
wrestlers that were Japanese guys and German guys, and that was the gimmick, was that they were the
Even
baddest of
Smoky
bad
Mountain
guys.
had a Nazi character.
Right.
Well, if people, like maybe evidently, according to online discourse, all the real Nazis are in America. So is Germany in a position to be forgiven for that? You know what? I don't know.
No, they'll never do that. They'll live in guilt forever.
Well, except for East Germany. East Germany,
East
from what I
Germany.
understand, is
Because they're
kind of different.
commies.
They've been forgiven.
One thing I wanted to Kat, because this article comes from experience, and you maintained this Facebook group for so long. Maybe you have insight into something I've always been curious about. What is it about online discourse? So you see it everywhere, like more so on Twitter than anywhere else. But what is it about online discourse that it runs on borrowed time before it turns into the following? All right, like let's say Gio makes a good point, and I'm like, oh, you disagreed. That proves me right somehow. All right, or Jefferson Poland, you have an opinion that's against the status quo. I don't need to debate Russian shill, neo-Nazi, white supremacist, domestic terrorist, insurrectionist incels. Damn, winning arguments feels good. Or
Right.
like, Lev says something. You know what'll make my argument more convincing? A gif of some celebrity rolling their eyes or sipping tea or whatever, and that's it.
Then
That's
you've got
all-
them.
That right,
Yeah.
and then no matter how good
I'll
of
tell you
a
the
point you
worst.
make,
I tell you the worst is if you see the cartoon Avatar with the crossed arms. That's when it's your ass. Oh, you got him then.
That's when you're.
Well,
extra
I think
wrong.
it's a lot of
Furry's
it.
going after him, calling
Yeah.
them names.
I think a lot of it comes down to the simplification of dialogue and it's not really a dialogue, right? It's almost like a one-way microphone, and it's so easy to dehumanize people. Like, it's a lot harder, even though, I don't have my video on, but like some people do, but it's a lot harder, I think, to dehumanize the other person when we're having a conversation of this nature, where we're like, we see each other, at least hear each other's voice, versus like the abyss of the Facebook or Twitter, where it's just like, how clever can I be? How much can I prove my point? I don't think all groups implode. I think within the one that I ran and the sort of the umbrella of it, there's many groups kind of associated with it, and those continuously seem to implode. And I think part of that is also, I don't know, I've been thinking about that. I wonder if part of that is because it's got these, like, it's founded to some extent on an almost like a particular ideology that not everyone subscribes to, but like some people
so you think an echo chamber, the concept that everybody has to agree, everybody lockstep, or
goose step.
Yeah. To an extent, there's an assumption that everyone thinks the same way inside, and everyone does not think the same way. So when you step out, and the people who hold particular views and feel comfortable attacking do tend to subscribe to a particular ideology, I suppose. And so they're more willing to attack and therefore silence others. And also, like, the people who have the tendency to attack others, people who hold reasonable views generally are not the people who like to attack others, who do not behave in these ways. And so they stay out of it.
The extremists on both sides deserve one another. They should go get married.
But I don't know, though. I don't want to make a horseshoe theory here.
But the tricky.
I do want to make a horseshoe theory.
I want to make
it really depends on what.
I'm gonna make a horseshoe theory on this. It's all horseshoe.
It's not a full horseshoe theory with every case, but with specific things it is. For example, I would make the argument, and Catherine, tell me if you agree with this or not. I would make the argument that when it comes to people who are on the reactionary left and on the reactionary right, most of them would not mind if there was, like, either on the right side a dictator, or on the left side a dictatorship of the proletariat, but some kind of a force that would make changes, like, from on top to below.
The problem,
you guys are overthinking this, man. I mean, like, mob violence, mob mentality are like an innately human thing.
Oh, when you listen to the mob, when you listen to fools, the mob rules.
Well, but that's the thing, right? Because it's like we're talking about, like, the people are reactionaries and this and that, and it's like, no, like, this is like just normal human behavior. It's just like,
well, it's normal human behavior for some people.
Yeah, I think not reacting to things, just like, accepting things as they are, and never having a conversation, never discussing things.
But it does not take away from what I said when it comes to if most of the people, both on the far left and far right, were given the choice of, hey, if we get this person in power, or if we get this commissar, or this, Soviet leadership in power, would that satisfy you? Would you be happy with that?
No, but Lev, I think
that's what we do, though. Because, I mean, that's like what, in America anyway, like, that's what the office of the president has become, right? Where
that's the selling point is, if we get this guy, everything will be different. Now's our time. They look just like me.
When you look at the, like, ever-increasing executive power of the office of the president, it's always framed in this way where every election cycle or whatever, the new party comes in and they say, and then the shit that they were clamoring about, like, executive overreach. But now it's one of our guys, so we can look the other way.
Yeah.
And, like,
exactly.
But itself continues to accrue power, where regardless of who sits in it, and, like, it's going to get to a point where.
But that's also
the language of reactionary is also another thing, because there is no such thing nowadays in the current arrangement as a quote unquote reactionary left, because the left very much is in power. And you can't have this sort of normal treatment of, like, being in.
No, but they still go to protests. They still riot.
Yeah, but those are all public. But Lev, those are all public rituals of belonging. You know what I mean? That's
I
all
have a-
kayfabe.
I have a question. Okay, so quote, our guys in power. So now, like, we kind of fall asleep in the wheel. Like,
Yeah.
if you're
Which
someone on the
Republicans
left.
do all the fucking
But
time.
what's really weird is, like, all right, so like Obama was in office for 8 years. No, thank God all those white supremacists stayed in the woods and like didn't make their presence known until he finally left. Like, it's fascinating how all the talking points from 2016 to 2020, they could have easily have been covered, like all this nonsense, but like once quote, our guy, end quote, is no longer in power, all discussion ends up turning into this really weird, exacerbated, huffy, exposition-laden nonsense that comes from a convoluted and theory-driven view of the world. Like now, even though like there's a guy with dementia in the White House in charge right now, and a lot of people voted for him just to not vote for Trump. Yet, all discourse ends up boiling down to like, all right, like, so like, Kat, you got accused of being a white supremacist, okay? So like, here's an example. Like, the reason you never see anyone discuss systemic victimization of any kind is because some of the obvious solutions to that plight would actually help upend current structures. But nebulous non-categories like white supremacy, they don't pose a threat, and they make whitey less than, I don't know, I'm not even white. The fact that people have to hear this from me is insane. It makes whitey less than zero, even when not involved. And the fact that terms like multiracial white supremacy are used unironically is proof that some of these people have allowed their view of the world to turn them into hysterical and neurotic pigs. And that is that is the baseline of discourse, being a hysterical and a neurotic pig.
It's
right?
a lack of discourse, right? The ability they're not engaging with ideas, they're engaging with like people and these blanket concepts, right? It's not really, when I moderate conversations, especially ones that might get a little bit more heated, when they do, I just tend to remind people, well, look, who the person is who is saying this really does not matter. It's the ideas. So if you disagree, engage with the idea, not the person. And that usually reins people back to a level like of discourse that's far more civilized. But in these cases, there's that like need to label the person in a particular way, and they're not really engaging with their ideas. It's these like insane simplifications and so.
But the question for me is, does it go beyond just labeling somebody as a Nazi or whatever? Would it go towards, like, if there was a gradient where, let's say in the middle, it would be like a Voltaire style, I disagree with what you have to say and I defend your right to say it, and then as we keep going down the gradient, we get things like social media should deplatform you for wrongthink, and as we keep going down, we would get, well, they should be sent to a mental institution because obviously their ideas are crazy. And we go even more down.
You can't say that that's ableist.
Yes,
wait. They're neuroatypical. Get with the times, Lev.
Neurodivergent.
But my point here is that when I'm talking about how both the far right and the far left would, like, if you would question them, they wouldn't have that much of a problem having some big leader implement their policies. What I'm curious about is, what is the air of the times today when it comes to what a lot of people would prefer be done to the other side, as far as like how many, let's see, of the people, Catherine, who were in your group wouldn't have a problem if they sent you somewhere, quiet and away from people, and you know what I mean, like,
well, if they vilified me enough, I think because they conflated like that my actions are violence, it almost like the natural progression seems to be that, or my words rather, and actions are violence. It seems to conflate that it's then okay to do violence against someone.
See, that's where we're getting into dangerous territory. We're heading towards the French Revolution kind of stuff there.
Yeah.
Oh, we're at that level already, in my opinion.
Once you start to get into that point where it's like their words are hateful, so hateful that we have to kill them. That we have to hurt them, that we have to actually harm somebody because they talk too much shit.
I'm
We
curious.
may not
Hold
be
on.
there yet
Um,
in terms of physical harm, but definitely, like right now, the way that people are being hit is through their livelihood.
Right.
And I've definitely, like, I've talked since this happened. Like, I've talked to so many people who've had, who basically have undergone somewhat similar experiences and have basically quit the industries they were working in, had
Yeah.
to quit their jobs. I mean, this happens like constantly.
Yeah, I've been thinking about there's a comedian, Louis C.K. He was a popular guy for a little while. He had
I
done
haven't
some
heard
stuff
of
that he probably shouldn't have done. He was inappropriate with women.
Yeah,
That he
asking if he got
probably
jerked off and
well, all right. Well, he took off his clothes and jerked off in front of a few gals. Probably shouldn't have done that. Like I had heard somebody
probably
told
shouldn't
me
have
that he'd
done-
done
I
that,
mean,
and I was like,
kinda,
that sounds
maybe.
crazy. Like it didn't sound like something that someone would want to do. It was so absurd.
Especially someone like him who constantly talks about doing it.
Yeah, yeah, and it's a weird thing that he did, and I have no idea what motivates somebody to do something that wacky. But the idea that guy's done, like he can never work again, he can never can never have any money, like never gets to work or do anything ever again. That doesn't really gel.
Punished the same way. That is one of the biggest problems too. Because I think his behavior was certainly inappropriate, and maybe there was some penalty for that. But it's not the same as say Bill Cosby or
Right.
Well, I have
Should we exile or kill those guys
it's not like
because of what they've done?
Yeah, or Weinstein. So we're really talking. But what happens is, like, right now, it seems like the punishment, unless it's prison, seems to be very similar, regardless of what it is that you do. Exile, and there is no recourse. And part of that is social media, and it's because in the past, if you lived in a little village and something happened, you're like, okay, well, you could maybe move to another village and people don't know, or if it was in print and somebody wrote an article, not on the internet, Googleable every time you look for a job. But
so
now
I'll put this into terms everybody can understand here. So it's like back in the wrestling territory days, guys would do their gimmick.
I was waiting for it.
And stuff would get over really well. Like if a guy, so Dusty Rhodes, when he got barred from wrestling in Florida, he come back with a mask on as the Midnight Rider, and it worked great. But once he got to a national level and tried that same gimmick as the Midnight Rider in WCW, it did not work and looked real dumb, and people weren't buying it at all, and he nearly killed the horse that he was riding on because he was so big, and the horse just did not look comfortable with that much weight on him.
Oh, well, speaking of horses that don't look comfortable, this is the Mr. Hands drawing that I made recently. Catherine, have you seen this one?
Oh God. Catherine, have you seen Mr. Hands?
It's in. You have to go in the gallery view. I think this whole time, Catherine, you were looking at the Zoom call with speaker view.
Oh, that's
I have a question, Lev. In regards to the far left and the far right, breaking down into shrieking soundboards of predetermined phrases and slogans and buzzwords. All right. So what I'm curious is, does the far right have an equivalent of brushing away? For example, so like let's say I'm some huffy wow Lev, NFTs are ruining the economy, and I stopped eating meat because that's going to save the planet somehow. And I lean to the far left, and much of what I believe in is nonsense. Okay. If you start asking questions, I go, educate yourself. All right. Now, I'm not going to give you something to look into. The onus is on you. I'm going to say educate yourself. Okay.
I like that word onus. It's very similar to anus.
So does the right have
using a lot of fancy words today, man?
I don't think the right has an equivalent of words, but I did notice, at least from my experiences, when I bring up certain things,
there kind of is like there's a shit test, like how based you are. Like, are you going to name the name? There's that type of.
Well, and also I'd like to bring up.
Also, there's feds too. That's
there's the stuff like when they pulled up James Gunn's old tweets where he was making really salty jokes about child molestation, things like that, and took him out of context and was like, "Look at this guy, fire! Like this guy's no good. We got to fire this guy." because that was a thing that the right did. That was, and I didn't care for that. And given the chance to talk to Cernovich and the guys that were part of that, I would want to discuss that with them.
No, but I think you gotta fight for
hopefully-
it.
hopefully
Because
we'll have-
I feel like that was motivated by spite rather than like a real like
But
they
you
were
gotta fight
looking
fire
to
with fire. But the problem is
Yeah,
it doesn't
exactly.
work because we don't have the institutional power. Because the way the discourse works is that, say if he actually was a ped, right?
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll just start to normalize it, which they've already done. I mean, like
Oof.
that's you know that's
Hey,
I
came up
can we-
recently with the fucking bread tubers, like that fucking Big Joel guy, saying
I don't like that the whole eye for an eye kind of thing. I think it was Gandhi said that leaves everybody blind.
yeah, but Gandhi reneged on that, and he also was
He was
racist
also
against black
very,
people.
very
And he was also
racist.
kind of a ped himself, if you looked up.
Yeah,
Oh,
some
no.
of the stuff
Gandhi,
he did.
Gandhi also slept with underage girls and drank his own pee, so I wouldn't take everything he said.
Well,
at
you
face
know,
value.
who
Hey.
among us?
But
is
He
see,
not
was
that's
the,
racist
pig.
and colonialist to point that
He
one
was
out.
the G.G. Allen of his time. You know.
Oh god.
wore the
You know-
diaper and everything.
But the point
Yeah,
is that
exactly.
doesn't really like the James Gunn thing doesn't work because then like what they're trying to do right now is the sort of they're trying to equate like the reality that a lot of the ruling class is probably into pedophilia. They're trying to do like this thing where, oh, if you believe that, then you're
I'll be
QAnon,
right back.
you're a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
And so what happens is if you actually look at like the legitimate things like the Ted Gunderson stuff, it's like then.
Oh, and by the way, I found out for the future that word, if that word is uttered on YouTube, then the algorithm is going to come here like those spider-like things in the Matrix. So just so you know,
So
I mean,
I'll say like P.
we're not
or
monetized.
Diddler.
Yes, we're not monetized here
Great.
yet, but just so you know,
Good job, Geo.
Oh God,
Yeah,
I didn't
thanks
know.
a lot, Geo.
the more you know.
So
I
anyway,
learned
we're
this thing
talking
every day.
about these fellers that
But the point being, like, that's what I mean. Like, the thing is, it's not going to work.
kid lovers.
Yeah. The boy
Why,
lovers.
why
as they
not
like
call
to
them
them.
maps? You know,
Yeah,
maps.
minor
maps, there you
attracted
go, yeah,
persons.
maps.
You want to
We'll
talk
call
about?
them playground enthusiasts.
Yeah.
You know,
That's better.
I mean,
I'm not
just
gonna
like I
say.
just like I call
I'm not gonna
teachers
say I
stubborn
want to
summer
punch the
enthusiasts.
guy that come up with maps in the stomach.
Yeah, I don't
But
like that
man.
word because it consents to the language, but just for the YouTube
Right,
algorithm,
exactly.
Yeah.
They're
Like-
diddlers.
I have a.
Well, we can call them
yeah.
pizza-shaped maps, but
Yeah,
anyway.
pizzas. Yeah, the pizza people. Oh God.
Just
See, I like pizza, like real pizza, not code
Yeah.
word pizza. Too much.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I really
pizza-
feel bad for Masked Bastard because I think he was kind of like collateral damage in this whole
I'm
thing.
a
'cause
pizza
he's just-
enthusiast, and
Me
these
too,
sons of
man.
bitches have
I
took
could eat that
pizza.
shit every single day of the
Listen,
Yes.
pizza is one of the most popular foods on the planet, and
Yeah.
everyone who enjoys ever delectable sauce cheese topping food.
Is this a euphemism or?
It's been hard times for us all, man.
Yeah.
I know.
Especially for those who like walnut sauce on their pizza. They were hit the hardest.
Walnut sauce? What?
Never mind. Okay. So, by the way, Catherine, what do you think about pizza? Do you like pizza? Do you hate
God
pizza?
damn it, dude! Come on.
You like your pizza with extra sauce?
Come on, man.
Oh.
No, I literally just mean about the food.
To stand for something else? Or
No, just the food.
So
just the Italian.
Don't answer the
Catherine's
question.
probably not as informed on
I
Infowars and all this shit as we are.
No, I wouldn't go so far as to equate the WikiLeaks
So-
cables to
Yeah,
Infowars.
it's,
Is all I'm saying.
Are we talking about the pizza parlor? Is that?
So it's,
No,
it's
I was just
connected to that.
asking about the
it's
food.
kind of connected to that. I'll try to go into it briefly. It's I believe a lot of it comes from Hillary's emails.
Yeah,
Yep.
The emails that got leaked
I'm
out. There's a
aware
lot of
I'm aware of this hypothesis. Let's call it.
yeah.
Yes.
There's a lot of talk of like pizza parties and hot dogs with extra sauce and like weird
Yeah.
things
And on
that
top of
don't
that,
feel right. That sound very odd.
and on top of that, there seems to be like I don't understand why it's so important to constantly remind people like Tony and John Podesta. Yeah, they're going to be like they're aged 11, 9, and 7, and we're going to get pizza for everyone. Don't worry about it. See you on the weekend. That doesn't
Yeah.
seem.
Do you actually read that in the leaked? Is
Yeah.
that literally in the leaked content?
Yeah, how
I
there's
feel like
lot
we're
of-
already
You would
further
be
those emails,
shocked
there's a
at
lot of
how
really-
explicit they are in
In
there.
fact, there's one leak in particular that was like, oh, we made sure to get $64,000 worth of pizza and hot dogs when we see you at the White House. Can't wait. And it's like, why? Why? First of all, the White House has a chef. And why would you have to get like tens of thousands of dollars worth of innocuously seemingly it raises more questions than answers.
Well, the guy who wrote that email,
Oh.
part of me wants to, because I found this Twitter, part of me wants to go on this Twitter, invite him to break the rules, and just ask them, what did you mean by this? Like, what can we actually?
I mean, that would once and for all, if we heard his side of it once and for all.
And then here's what we
He's only had like fucking 6 years to think of something.
And then here's what we could do. Like, Catherine, you're a journalist, so tell me if this makes sense. No, tell me if this makes sense. I'm serious here. So, if we have somebody on from the WikiLeaks cables who said a particular thing that people have all kinds of conspiracy theories about, if we were to get him on the show and just ask him, like, hey, like, I know, like, these are private emails that leaked out, but now the whole world knows about them, can we actually just break down what exactly is going on here? And if we're talking about something being transported from the, via airplane to the airport, surely there's archives of this. Surely there are people who worked in the airport at this time. Then, you know what I mean? Like, as a journalist.
They ordered the pizzas from.
Yeah, like Catherine.
I mean, they're never gonna say yes.
That's the thing.
That's kind of
they get rid of the flight manifests all the time. That's what Ted Gunderson said in the Franklin cover-up.
Yeah,
but I feel like we're
to answer Lev's questions. To answer Lev's very legitimate question, I do like pizza from Brooklyn. I do not often eat pizza. I occasionally indulge in pizza, but on special occasions. Sometimes
I feel like I eat pizza at least
once
a week.
Or twice a week. Yeah, twice a week.
Wow.
Yeah, like my favorite, like the easiest place to hit here is the Little Caesars. Like they've got that hot and ready deal, ready to go at all times. $5. You cannot.
It just turns my gut into
disgusted was myself if I eat pizza.
You cannot beat that deal. It's hard to beat.
Yeah, you have to go for quality in pizza. This is what I've decided in terms of unhealthy foods. It's like
you want the most high class version of pizza possible.
Well, because or anything unhealthy. It's like, okay, I'm gonna eat this thing, and it's like 2,000 calories. Is this gonna change my life for the better, or is this just?
Well, I would argue that pizza is the healthiest fast food. Believe it or not, I mean, compared
instead of Dr. Pepper, you want the high end Dr. Pepper. You want.
It depends how you make the pizza.
PhD pepper.
Yeah, PhD, like the real deal, like the scientific, like because those PhDs, it's like a PhD in liberal arts or something.
PhD pepper, who's like those Soda Streams. People really like those damn things. And then they say
they're doctor, but I'm like, you have a PhD in like I don't know literature. You're not a doctor, and I get it, it's a doctorate, but like, come on.
I don't drink pop anymore.
Can't save anybody's life with a fucking
Wait, are you saying that Dr. Dre is not a legitimate medical professional?
Are you saying Dr.
What about Dr. Bill Cosby? He lost that doctorate, didn't he?
Misrepresentation going on here, and I am not for it. And I was having this conversation the other day. Like, if I was a professor, would I make the kids call me professor?
All right, listen.
A power thing.
Yeah.
Of like, where
like in Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah,
Catherine, you remember that movie Little Shop of Horrors, where we had the dentist played by Steve Martin, thank you. And how he had Audrey always refer to him as doctor, like, yes, doctor. That was the that gave him the power.
Reminder, ladies and jerks, reminder, Dr. Mario is not a real doctor. Do not let him touch your genitals, all right? I would recommend you go see Dr. Floor Pills or Dr. Bad Vibes, but do not see Dr. Mario. He is not a real doctor.
Feelgood.
Yeah, I was
just about to say.
He's the one that makes you feel all right.
Oh boy, how about Dr. Death, Steve Williams? They'll make you feel all right.
What about the other Dr. Dr. Kevorkian?
The other doctor. Hey, he was an actual doctor, if I remember, and then he had the Thanatron.
What do you think, Gio? What do you think of his artwork, by the way?
I love his artwork. I think it's like the most ghoulish. It's really a window into the globalist mind. But I do love his artwork. The reason I first got woke to Dr. Death, Steve Kevorkian's artwork is the two paintings are the cover of the two Acid Bath albums. That's Yeah.
Mm.
Especially the
there was a-
rabbit where like the guy's getting tortured by the psychic rabbits, the white rabbits. They're like putting symbols in his brain.
So his thing was like euthanasia, right? Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Wasn't that
It was
thing, like he was
assisted
trying to help
suicide.
people that were.
But by the way, Gio, I'm glad you brought up acid bath because I'm convinced people have a couple of songs that they rotate out in their head that plays nonstop, even when it's on mute. The very last track of Acid Bath's first album, Cassie Eats Cockroaches.
Yeah,
ever since I first heard that song, every once in a while, like it's doing a lap behind my eyes, it high fives like my spinal column, and then hey, listen, you're gonna hear the song another 60 times today, buddy. Like strap on in.
My one for that is what's the one they made the music video for? Not Diablo Soul.
Bayou Cannibals? No.
Yeah. I have to look it up.
She Drives Me Crazy.
It's footage of them in the bayou, right? Like,
yeah.
Okay.
It's like impossible to find the single track on YouTube or wherever. But like, I have to look it up.
Oh, by the way, Catherine, you were talking about how there were friends of yours, or there was somebody.
Yeah, let's get back to Catherine. Holy crap!
Who was actually against what you were doing. What was going on there? Did they change their mind, or what was the reason why they said that they were against you?
Literally, I was expecting a lot more responses that would be negative. I didn't know how it would be received, and so, anyways, I was actually surprised because everyone that had actually said anything, it was all positive. Certainly with people who knew me and they felt like they supported it, and they said, and their first reaction generally was, "I'm sorry you went through this." I did have someone where that was not the case, and I think it was this feeling that indeed they were correct, and because Fox News is the devil. And it causes
their mom is the mom from the Waterboy telling them what's good and what's bad.
I'm glad this was asked, because what is it about, like, the left does this almost exclusively. I don't ever see the right do this where they have to equate things to violence, or like, because like here's the thing that irks me, right?
It's part of critical theory discourse that comes from like misinterpretations of
kind of like a Xerox of a Xerox
Judith Butler and Michel Foucault, and just the general, what they call the linguistic turn in French post-structuralism.
But now it turns into like a parody of a parody, because like, all right, like evidently, like someone equated what Kat posted in the thing she started up. Somehow what she posted, that translates to violence. Now, real life violence is aesthetically unpleasing on every level. It even smells bad. And even if you win or walk away from something alive, you can't get most of the stains out. So I'm perplexed.
Especially not in your Hanes.
Yeah, fuck.
Beat you to it this time.
Half a second.
Although I would argue that violence is the most aesthetic thing. Never mind. That's.
I mean, it's certainly the most human thing.
Well, I mean,
I'm going all the way back to the Bible again. Cain slew Abel.
But it's just so, and of course, the first murderer in the Bible is a vegan, but that's neither here nor there. What's bewildering is how, like, words on a screen, like, according to the, like, if you were to take this on face value, words on a screen somehow translates to the rotting flesh of brown kids halfway around the world. And to see the world like that must either be exhausting or thrilling and exciting every waking moment of the day.
It's thrilling. I suspect it's probably thrilling and exciting. Honestly, that feels to me, I think there's something about that like, I'm going to save the world. I'm going to destroy these people. I'm going to be part of this like revolution.
Really?
Everybody wants to feel important, like they're doing something good.
Well, right.
It's this whole like tattletale culture, right? Like this is what like social media.
Yeah,
and,
tattletale.
This is something I was talking about.
Have given birth
the boys that went to the Capitol on the 6th. They probably shouldn't have went in there like that.
Yeah.
But somebody brought up, they're like, oh,
yeah, it was
can you
decidedly
believe
a
these guys?
bad move.
Definitely shouldn't have gone in.
Yeah.
Although the one person that was there should be in fucking jail for other reasons.
They said that
total piece of shit.
They said, how dare these guys commit
treason?
treason
Oh, yeah.
going into the place like that? And I was like, well, they were there trying to prevent what they saw as treason.
They were just there to smell AOC's feet.
from their
That's
from their
probably
But see, this
perspective.
is the
Feet
same
odor.
kind of. It's kind of the same mentality. It's like people have sort of convinced themselves to such an extent how
Yeah.
right they were and how dangerous everyone else is.
Exactly.
It's
They
the lack
whipped
of
into a
critical
frenzy.
thinking, right? I think that's what leads to
For the
it.
record,
shoulda knew
CNN
better.
is directly responsible for
They should
January
have knew
6th.
better.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they were
spent
thinking.
2 fucking years talking about Russiagate and feeding people this whole thing about how our elections are not legitimate, and now all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, how the fuck can people think that our elections aren't legitimate?" And it's like you
Yeah,
fucking
it's
created this
nutty.
monster, you pieces of shit.
Then the,
Oh,
the
man, is it
discourse
nutty.
around after, like if you look at people, there is this like one deranged, like there's a bunch of these grifters that are like basically adjacent to glow in the darks, like this Don Winslow guy who's like trying to be Tom Clancy. They had these like videos that went viral about how like it's like going to, I don't know, have Trump's going to have a new army and he's going to take down people, and it's like
Right,
all
yeah.
this-
My father told me about one that he saw that was going around on Facebook on because he's an older fella. He's I think he just turned 70, so he's you know, a boomer, as they would say. And he saw the one going around saying that, yeah, if Trump gets elected to be the Speaker of the House, then all he has to do is remove them from office and he's president again. And then he can run again. And I was like, what kind of madness is
No,
this?
but
Like,
this is like-
just
But this
nonsense.
is blue and on stuff that like all Trump supporters are going to do like a Red Dawn.
Oh,
like,
you know,
scenario.
at the end, it almost made me feel that like QAnon was the right-wing equivalent of identity politics, and where it was a sublimation of time and energy, so that existing power structures aren't. Okay, listen, I'll stop with the fancy words, okay? Like
Yeah,
before
you're
before
losing
you
me.
jump down my throat, I'll
Well,
beg
no,
you.
Compare it to
it's
pro
not-
wrestling and I'll understand.
There's a good possibility that QAnon is a total work by the ruling class, but that's
QAnon was an op.
Yeah,
Right, like
It was 100% an op.
QAnon funneled time and energy the same way identity politics funnels time and energy from the left. It was the
Yeah.
right's version of that to make sure nothing is threatened. And
Put it in terms of the corporate ministry and the Undertaker's ministry, the Ministry of Darkness. Like make it a way I can understand.
Well, this is like the ministry. Like, for example, isn't it
Who's the
true-
Midian?
Well, obviously, Matt Gaetz is Midian because they both were naked. Never mind. I
Wait,
love
then who's
Midian
Viscera?
theme
Then
song.
who's
Yeah, we
Viscera?
gotta have a
Hang on.
viscera.
We need a
Oh,
Viscera,
Viscera
buddy.
is obviously I don't know. Could they have? Like,
I have no idea what
Yeah.
you guys are talking
So we're
about.
talking
Probably-
about the 1995 King of the Ring winner who went by the name Mabel at that time, who
Yeah,
became
Mabel.
Viscera and was later known by the name Big Daddy V. I believe
Catherine-
he was
Catherine, are
easily
you following?
500
Best was
pounds.
when he was in a program with Trish Stratus, and like he like they had a date, and like he had this like huge pack of condoms. Like, I know it's like totally racist and fatphobic nowadays, but like
It's
that
very
was pretty
funny.
lit.
It's funny.
was
It
very
was funny. It was a funny gag, and I bet you if Viscera was alive today, he'd say, "Oh, I'd do that again. That was funny shit."
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Trish Stratus ain't bad, actually. I gotta say, she's kind of hot. I know, Catherine. Do you like Trish Stratus? What's your opinion on Trish Stratus?
More of
I can
a
never say
Lex
her name.
Luthor kind of guy.
She's more of a Lita girl. I think she liked Lita better in that
Mm.
era. Or no, well, I mean, Catherine kind of looks like Victoria a little bit. I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't-
know
Catherine-
who she is, love. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I
that's
was
okay.
muted. I
I'll-
kept saying I don't know who she is, and then I realized I was muted.
Here, I'll try to find a
Censorship.
picture. I'll try to find a picture of Trish Stratus to put on here.
Anyways,
but
I mean, we could just as easily start putting it in terms of comic books and talking about Superman and Lana Lang and all these other weird.
no, but
like,
here's
deep
here's what I'm curious about. What BTR does is we do bring on different people to talk about a lot of this stuff. So would it be a possibility to, let's say, bring somebody on who we are actually going to have? We are going to have a stream this Thursday with Jessica DeLoach, and she's going to be joining us again, a strategist for Pete Buttigieg, and Gavin.
interesting.
Yes,
hey,
and
booty
and,
man.
Yeah, booty, and
Yeah,
Gavin.
it's the first like
Wax.
really like high profile gay guy
Oh,
running for office,
you mean Rat Boy
running
Genius?
for president.
No, actually,
And-
wasn't Harvey Milk like the first?
Well, Harvey Milk was the first
Yeah.
politician, but this guy's running for president,
and we're
Oh.
gonna have Gavin Wax,
and his name
of the
is
New York.
Booty
Name.
Judge. There's something very funny to me about that in the most Beavis and Butthead. I can't help but snicker
Yeah.
kind of way.
Well, he's kind of like a judge of the booty, you could say. But we're
Yes.
also going to have
Oh, man.
Gavin Wax on there, who is the president of the New York Young Republicans Club. So
interesting. So it'll
Yes.
be they'll be heated.
It'll
Well,
be
it's gonna be a
liberal
reverse
light
debate.
versus liberal. That's
So you
Well,
guys,
it's gonna be a reverse debate. So it's gonna be a reverse debate.
debate of feds against feds, basically.
You ever heard the story about
Pitting
Bill
the
Clinton's
CIA and the
political
FBI
strategist
against each other.
Jim Carvell? James
Yeah.
Carvell.
James
He's got
Carville?
a
Of the
he's got-
famous
yeah, I love
Carvel.
his ice
Glowy
cream
fights.
cake.
He's got a
He's
wife
so
who
into glowy
works
fight.
for the opposite team.
Yeah. Well, you know what I really appreciate about James Carvel is his ice cream. I
Fuck you!
recently
I just
had
said that.
Black
you
Carvel.
shit.
You like the cookie puss? They
That's
have a
like how
cookie
Ann
puss, right?
Coulter and Bill Maher are good friends, and so people they have like this weird porn fantasy about them. Which I
Oh,
think
did
is
you know
kinda-
that Ann Coulter dated JJ from Good Times for a long
Really?
time? Yes.
Really?
Isn't that an interesting, weird thing that happened?
Interesting. Okay, but here's the point that I got to get to, which is this. So this is going to be a reverse debate once again this Thursday.
Oh, reverse
and,
debate. That's
yes.
even more interesting.
So,
By the
so
way,
we're gonna
how
have-
is Coulter Culture, our good friend?
she's doing. I mean, she's expecting. She's gonna have a baby soon.
Oh wow.
So yeah, good times. But anyway, I want to make sure I get this out. So we are going to have the reverse debate, and it's going to be not a traditional debate. It's going to be a strategizing. So Jessica is going to become a temporary strategist for the Republicans, and Gavin is going to become a temporary strategist for an hour for the Democrats, and let's see what happens. But
that's an interesting mix of ideas there.
But,
I love
but
the
what I want
concept of the reverse debate, making
Yeah.
everybody walk in the other guy's shoes.
Exactly. But what I also want to do is I want to have a conversation. I don't know if it's going to happen with Jessica or with somebody else down the line, but I want to have a conversation of the people who feel like, you know, something like, you know, what happened at the Capitol, that was somehow justified. What I'm curious about is if they could illustrate for people who are in the Democratic Party, this is the thing that I am afraid most that's going to happen to my family, to my community in the future. Can you understand where I'm coming from here? Is this not legitimate enough for you? And just have that conversation start, because that's something that I don't really think happens a lot at all. When it comes to like whatever you think happened with the election, what is actually the fear of what is going to come next from these groups of people, and can you justify that fear you happen to have? Or on the other side, could that fear be, let's say, would Jessica or somebody else be able to placate that and say, no, I don't agree that that's the case, and here's why? Because I really want to get to the nitty-gritty here of, like, what is the thing that people are most afraid is going to happen, you know, reasonably.
I tell you what, the worst thing that
around,
could happen is a virus could be created in a lab in a foreign country that escapes and could spread to a worldwide pandemic. I think that would be worst case scenario. Because that would mean shutting down schools. That means shutting down. That would be mass chaos on a level that could even cause what's known as the Great Reset.
Well, we had on Mark Terrell, and he said that whole Great Reset thing is just a bunch of what was that word
my
he
favorite
loved using?
You know, Eric Weinstein.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know who Eric Weinstein is, but
of course,
of course, we all know him, the intellectual dark web.
Right.
I
He
don't
started a
remember.
room on Clubhouse to talk about
Where you got totally owned.
Oh no!
Well, he talked and then he left. Like I didn't.
Yeah,
that's good.
Did not want any responses, I guess. But he started a room to talk about the Wuhan, the virus, and then whether and kind of the way that scientists are being silenced and can't talk about things because everything is being politicized. So you couldn't talk about the virus, for example, potentially escaping from the lab or anything like that. So
well, now you can. Now
it's become news again.
Exactly, which is funny because after that room, it's funny because it was just announced today. So I'm sure he must have known that. But it's been it was an interesting room. I ended up being a moderator and stayed way too long, but some interesting conversations. As we got to the 2 a.m. point, though.
Oh, wow.
It was.
So you guys were really holding court there, huh?
It's still better than what Indian Bronson, the position he put you into, and one of those.
Right.
I don't know much about the Clubhouse. Like I've heard of it.
Well, you should join. I think you'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
I defend too many people.
Well,
I'm not
Good.
afraid of it.
That's a good thing.
If I was
But if I'm
afraid of
gonna
offending
talk,
people, I would never say anything.
Like with me, if I'm gonna talk, like I'd want to like make content out of it. So that's why I'm against Clubhouse, because
No, you
I'd
can
rather
record
record
it.
a YouTube conversation. You know what I mean?
No, but you can record Clubhouse.
But you should disclose that you're recording
Yeah.
it, but you can.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it'd be
because
kind
they
of
did
dirty
that to Weinstein,
for
where
people to think.
he was getting BTFO'd by those like really crazy people, where they were like, he's like, bring that motherfucker in. He's like, get my cash app if you want to like let him into his own room again. It was really like,
there's some weird things going on with him. I mean,
Was it him or was it his brother that was at that
Tell you
school?
the truth, I don't trust the Weinstein bros, in my opinion. There's
Yeah, I don't
something
know
going on
exactly
with
what's going on with those fellas, but was it him or was it his brother that was at that school where they got surrounded on the?
Brett Weinstein's brother.
So that was the brother. Okay.
So, anyways, I'm kind of done here. So
Let's see.
I just have to. You can't really look at it with just until I print it out. But like, hopefully,
That
I got the
already
spire
looks
right
beautiful.
and everything.
yeah, wow.
Gia, would you ever sell the actual wood blocks?
If I did like
For the right amount.
I would for woodcuts. Like
Everybody's
side-grade
got
stuff.
a price.
Yeah. But when it comes to like, because what you could do after you print it, you could like rub it with calcium carbonate and then it'll show up again. But like, if I did like enough prints, I would. But I'd much rather do it with like an actual like woodcut with the side grain, because with wood engraving they last quite a long time. So like, say if someone wants another print of it, then I could like reprint them. But like when it comes to like just like, well, this is actually cherry, so this will last a long time. But like if it was like a cheap ass like pine wood woodcut like side grain, then I would sell them. Yeah, I would definitely do that.
And by the way, we are going to have Cream of Dog coming in. He says heading back now.
Swag.
Yeah, so he is coming. And by the way, Catherine, what do you think of... Well, when he gets here, let me ask you what do you think of him, of his profile picture and stuff like that. But anyway, when it comes to Weinstein, it felt like a strong horse, weak horse situation.
Yeah, exactly.
The one that we were describing. Like, Catherine,
Exactly.
do you know what I mean by that? Do you
What
know
is
what
a
I mean
strong
by...
horse, weak horse?
Well, I don't know what kind of horse this is. Is this horse a strong horse or a weak horse? But anyway, a strong
He's got some big tits.
Yes, this and a pouch, by the way, for the young.
Oh my god, let me see this.
Well, you
Oh
saw
my
you saw this before. So Mr. Hands over here is dead. It's a dead horse. It's beating a dead horse by the cat drone, and he has eyes on his hands, and he's supported by crutches like Salvador Dali paintings, and he also has a pouch. And his youngin is so this is a marsupial horse, by the way.
I don't feel safe with this one.
And his youngin is very concerned about
I
these
thought
breasts.
this art stream was a safe space.
Catherine, what do you think of this?
Muted.
No.
You scared her away with that horse.
Look what you did, Lev.
Oh man.
Oh, apparently it was muted. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought Kat, I thought you preemptively took cover before Lev is like, now here is the cat milking device and the drone.
Yeah, there's
which
always
we have
milk
put in
and
place.
stuff like that involved.
I mean, I am familiar with Lev's twisted sense of artistic integrity.
Is that what they're calling it now?
Yes.
Is that what we call perversion?
Yes.
Oh boy.
Are all artists perverts?
Yes, we are perverts unto
To an
ourselves. That's
extent.
very true.
Yeah.
But
Are
anyway,
all
so
human
this
beings perverts?
Yeah.
I think,
No, but I want to find out, Catherine. What do you think of this? What do you think of this dead horse being beat and the pouch
oh
with the?
god.
What? I mean, what do I think?
No!
Yeah.
I think I prefer pizza.
Oh.
But also the little whatever in the pouch is you know that's
It's kind of cute, right?
It's cute.
But imagine
So he's
what
gonna
happens.
survive while the dead
Well,
horse is gonna get dead, and then
But the breasts are also going to survive. So think about this. When this kid comes out of the pouch and grows up, he's going to be really pissed at these breasts because they're still alive and they constantly demand that he feed them. So it's like the reverse. You know how
when he
usually
breastfeeds,
like when
does he just make out with the breasts?
yeah,
Well,
that's
no.
what I.
No. See, it's the other way around. These breasts are
What?
hungry, and he needs to feed the
Oh, he has to feed them. All right.
Feminine love.
Stop it! Stop having fantasy. Take some kind of equilibrium drug and stop having fantasies and
Yeah, Left's got a
emotions.
very twisted mind. I've seen some of the art books that he possesses, and I don't.
Oh boy.
I don't know that I approve, but I try not to judge.
What
too
does he
much.
have? He has some rather alternative art books.
Wait,
Yeah.
Catherine, when you came over,
Thorpe-esque art books.
Got some.
well, Catherine, when you came over, which art books did you see? Did you?
I don't
see
know. Well, go ahead.
No. You go ahead.
Did he have one? Did he have an art book filled with
Some
Garfields?
options, Lev. Give me some options. There were some
Okay.
Japanese ones, but
Oh, was it something with the word Bible in it? Is that the one you're talking about, Catherine?
I don't remember the word Bible in it. I just remember the images that are now scarring my mind forever.
What kind
I was
of
like,
images?
I'm never talking to Lev again. At least.
You make
And
it.
here
You
we
make
are.
it. You make it sound like all of Lev's arts are just variations on a theme, and that theme is goatsy. Like.
Rather correct. That seems accurate.
Classic goatsy.
Oh god.
Once you see the wig broadly, you see it in all things.
It's
well, that's why it's called Goat C.
It's funny how like those
C.
OG shock sites, they became like this like weird sort of like
Collective unconscious.
collective
yeah, we all
culture
have it in our
itself.
soul.
well, it sort of ended up becoming like it's well, to me, in the end, it ends up turning into like a. I guess you just had to be there sort of reference.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
for a certain period of time.
Zoomers will never know what it's
Right.
Yeah,
like-
we were doing a podcast yesterday talking about the Rotten Library and how crazy that was.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Oh man. Damn.
One of real quickly, one of my favorite tidbits about the Rotten Library is that if you looked past the veneer of gore, like there was a library of incredibly well-written articles.
That's what I'm talking about. It's called the Rotten Library. It's all about the occult and conspiracy.
Oh yeah, that's how I
all
learned
that
about
stuff.
like organized crime, Area 51. That the Rotten Library had well-written articles on
They got stuff
everything.
about all the presidents, so like Nixon's list of enemies and stuff like that's on there.
It even had, and like the culture section even had incredibly detailed articles on like Bruce Lee, El Santo, Flaming Carrot, Star Wars, like, and it was like it was a unique blend
Hollywood
of
murder mysteries. That was another one too.
yeah, it was a unique blend of like super informative and like, let's be honest, Charlie, whoever was in charge of writing, they had an excellent sense of humor. Like that shaped my sense of humor. Like when I was growing up, such a good website.
Yeah,
definitely
for sure.
Oh, and one last thing, by the way.
Like everything good, like live. I think even Turkey Tom had a video on.
Just
like,
did
why
one.
they
I
got
think.
rid of-
I believe it was this week. I believe my friend Slush was in that one too.
We
He
have
was
to
reading
get rid
off
of- we have
the
to,
stuff
like,
about that.
I want to get Turkey Tom on BTR.
He's a reachable guy. Like he's on Twitter.
He follows
like, you can
me.
find
yeah.
him.
Yeah, you could.
A
Sure, if
friendly
you
guy.
could like put it in his head that we want to do a sewing discourse with him, then we could, because I think he's one of the most exciting creators to have come out of that like YouTube. Like,
I tell you what I
2010s.
like about Turkey Tom, and I always put him over. I tell you what I like about Turkey Tom is the fact that he is such a young dude. I don't know if he's 20.
He's like
he might just be
20
19.
now, yeah.
He's a young dude, and he's done so much work and been around so long, and very creative guy.
I think
and been able to
more
build
red-pilled than he lets on
to be able to build and maintain as much of a following as he has. Like that's like he's really done something.
Yeah.
And I'll give him an attaboy anytime I can. I don't care. I don't know what his views are. I don't know if he said
I
things
think
he shouldn't have
he's way
said.
more red pilled than like he likes to like let on for obvious like
what
reasons.
would you define as red pill?
Like I think he's a bit more like more amicable to like maybe not like far right politics, but he's certainly like he knows a lot about, like, put it this way, he probably knows about the Paul memes and everything. Like he's a bit more like tolerant of certain like Sam Hyde-esque ideas than like he would like to let on, I think.
Well, yeah, he's trying to play to a wide audience, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you can't.
I think
you can't alienate people. Like politics always alienates people.
He's trying to play to a wide audience, not necessarily just a white audience.
Oh.
Wait, by wide do you mean rotund or body positive? By wide do you mean chundering lardass who brushes their teeth with milkshakes and wears bacon as band-aids. And you know what? By wide, do you mean those lovely lasses with their high-waist skirts to keep the undulating lumber out of sight, out of mind, who should be striding the Texas plains with high heels in hopes of striking oil? Is that what you mean by wide?
God. Get creative. Instead of toothpaste, use that was the Dr. Nick with Homer where you tried to get out of
yes.
Try to get out of work.
Well, by the way, so Catherine, were there people who ended up coming out of the woodwork to defend you of like more high profile means? Because like there were some that I know, it's like Peter Boghossian, he ended up retweeting
No.
Why? Geo, what's wrong with Peter Boghossian?
Oh God, I just don't like the whole like fedora tipping contingent of the anti-SJW. I don't know. It's something about the rationalists is really kind of, I don't know.
No, but
Sorry,
I'm
going to shut up right now.
No, don't shut up because I am kind of curious about this. Okay, I'm going to let Catherine go first, but I am curious about like what
Peter
exactly is this rationalist hate mongering going on here.
But I'm also kind of curious.
So Catherine, so we have Peter Boghossian, and who else ended up kind of helping you out and
most edgy of the new atheists.
I mean, there were quite a few people. It was a little bit like, you know, there were quite a few people that I was in touch with who were willing to share. I would say more people who are libertarian were more willing to more widely share, but some people on the left too. I think honestly, like I said, there wasn't really a divide there. You know, I think whatever political spectrum it was, like people were willing to share because they do identify that as
there's a lot of folks who have been dealing with this kind of thing.
Yeah, even if it didn't touch them personally, they are seeing it, and maybe they know a friend, maybe somebody at work, like, you know.
I was telling a story about a fella who on Facebook, when the Black Lives Matter thing first come out, he just stepped on the landmine of, well, actually, yeah, all lives matter. Of course, Black Lives Matter, you know, brown, yellow, all lives matter. And, you know, got hit with the racist, Nazi, all that stuff over saying all lives matter.
Oh, but
again, what a time to be alive.
But Charlie, that brings it back to what we were discussing earlier, and where like it's a rush to like, oh, words on a screen or articulating something aloud. Well, that evidently, you know, saying all lives matter means, listen, that's worse than the Trail of Tears and Wounded Knee combined.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, and it's this insane, like, it's what's the best way to put this?
The oppression Olympics, where people want to try to be victims.
But it's not just in reactionary and accusatory language. It's like, all right, like I tweeted this like a day or two ago, without words, but the point is, like, it was a headline of an article where like this lady, all right, there was a critical race studies and ethnic race studies professor at the University of Colorado Boulder who says white supremacy is what makes blacks attack Asian people. Which, like,
yeah, well, how does that make sense? Like, that is the most big brain stupid thing I've ever heard.
That makes as much sense as me saying all lives matter and me being responsible for the First Nations people of this country being eradicated 3 centuries ago. It makes as much sense as that. Like,
so you're the guy who buried all those.
It does make sense.
You're the guy who buried all those kids under the school.
And not only that, Lev, I put the kids in the cages. It wasn't Obama.
Oh my God!
It was me. I put the kids in the cages.
Yeah.
See, I thought Biden did it.
No, I'm gonna agree with. Wait, I'm gonna agree with that take because here, I think it's true. I think that white people do make them hate Asians because what happens is white liberals support rootless, like rampant immigration from all countries. So when we have all these ethnic tensions that come here that are like really carried on and inflicted in American streets, I think that that's probably a good take, but not for the reason that this woke person.
Catherine, what do you think about that take?
I disagree with that take, but also I don't like the term white people or black people. I've been thinking about this a lot. It's like it's just such a category. There's like Italians, there's Greeks, there's I don't know, like why are some people white and others are not?
Oh,
Then,
I've always wanted
because-
to show footage of the Balkan Wars in like the hood, and in hopes of them never getting the joke and being like, haha, white people crazy. It's like, yeah, am I right? And then show footage of like footage of like the IRA firebombing the British in their sleep, like a bunch of cowards, and they're like, haha, white people be crazy. And then I'll round it out by showing footage of Portlandia, and I'll be like, it's a documentary.
Yeah,
but also
there's so many there's people who are American, who are descendants of slaves. There's people from Jamaica. There's people from Ethiopia, Africa. I mean, like it's these like wide blanket categories. Very frustrating.
I mean, the biggest lines, and even those branch off into various other peoples, as goes for pretty much everybody, would be like the West African Bantus and like the people from Ethiopia. They diverged a while ago, and they are pretty different.
When the Bantus genocided the Armenians.
Yeah, but are they based in red-pilled, or are they black-pilled, or are they white-pilled?
I think when people, but like
Coomers?
in reality, when people mean black, I think they do mean like African American. Like they really are their own thing compared to.
I have a friend
but people refer to other, other black people as that too, and it's like.
But it gets tricky in the sense that, all right, listen, for starters, in your lifetime, we're gonna see the Morehouse paper bag test be revived. And something no one wants to discuss is how, at least in my experience, the ugliest racism I've ever seen were like Latinos towards other Latinos, Asians towards other Asians, and blacks towards other blacks.
Dude, the beef between like African immigrants and like African Americans is
oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, like even see like here. Okay, so like Kat, I'm glad you brought this up because like here in New York City, all right, like shit flows downhill in the sense where like for starters, everyone looks down on Puerto Ricans because they're born with papers, even though if they were a state, they'd be the poorest, like most fucked up state in the union, okay? So
but they're American.
So yes, but all of Latin America hates them, all right? So Puerto Ricans look down on Dominicans because they're next door to Haiti. So by virtue of being next door to a former slave colony, the people have darker skin. It's in their la comida criollo. It's in their culture. It's in their food. It's in their it's basically in their national identity. But then Dominicans are like, oh no, I'm not this color because I'm black. It's because of insert weak excuse here. Okay.
Well, then even, like Dominicans, like even they had their own little genocide.
Oh yeah.
Every culture,
little known one, but they had their own little genocide as well.
They had a little genocide just as
even
a treat.
The Abos, they genocided the Bantus, didn't they? How did that work?
But just real quickly. So then Dominicans look down on Haitians going, haha, at least we're not black. And then Haitians look down on African Americans going, haha, at least we're not gamer words. And then it's where then it gets tricky because like Kat said, then you have people from Jamaica, the West Indies, Guyanese people from Suriname. You have people from Nigeria, the Congo, Angola, all these places who like then they look at African Americans and they're like, bro, we're not one of them. We're totally not one of them.
Yeah.
But
it's vice versa too, because African Americans will say the same shit.
Yes.
Like, we're not fucking Africans, dude. Like, and like you can like distinguish the two. Like they have like different cultural values.
Yeah.
And it is pretty funny how all the leftists group all of them together into people of color and expect to create some kind of rainbow coalition and they're trying to do this with the Asians as well. Like they're trying to bring Asian people into the fold and say like, oh, Asians.
Hey, you got to stop Asian hate.
So this is what I was trying to say this earlier. Like it's gonna be funny when in like 8 years, because we're gonna have like now we had Black Lives Matter. We're gonna have Stop Asian Hate, and they're gonna do this for like every like marginalized group of people. And it is literally just going to become all lives matter in like 8 years.
I sure hope so.
Wait, except two?
Except Jews.
No, what? No, they're at the top of the pile.
Oh, Geo, you're so very.
Haven't you seen what happened with IGN when they tried to They talk
Jews
smack.
have
Listen,
No,
I
you know,
don't want
here's-
to get into it. I
No,
don't
here's
wanna
my
get-
interpretation. No, Gio, here's my metaphysical interpretation of what's going on here. The original term,
no.
no, you gotta
I
let me
don't
do
want
this.
to
The
break
original
out
term,
like 2016
hold on,
4chan
Gio.
infographics.
The original, what was the original name that Yahweh gave to Jacob? Israel. What does Israel mean? It means to fight with God. That's what it means. Basically, I think that the Jewish people for a long time have basically been like Goku with the weight vests. You know, they've basically been under a tremendous amount of pressure from people going against them, which I think, you know, either you succumb to the pressure or you grow from the pressure. And when it came to, let's say, Jewish farmers in Russia, as soon as they got the right to be able to set up their own farms, you know what they did? They made those farms fucking really, really successful. You know, they grew crops really well, they were really successful, and people got jealous that these people, you know, who were persecuted all this time, all
Okay,
of a
let's
sudden,
not talk
they're
about this
Mr.
anymore.
My whole point here,
Please,
Why don't
Gio,
you want
is
to
that
talk about
pressure,
Israel?
pressure creates diamonds. That's my whole point. Pressure
I'm
creates
sure
diamonds.
people were just jealous. Let's move on. I'm very.
They literally
Oh,
were,
God.
yes.
Yeah.
They literally were.
Yeah.
So
Because
anyway,
that's
let's talk
it was
about
just
Sicily and what
jealousy.
they're up to.
Let's
Oh.
talk,
No, because
yes, let's talk
either
about
you become
Lev, let's talk about literally anything else.
Either you become a victim. Either you become a victim
no.
when people, you know, either you become a victim that needs to have some kind of a community leader to
I'm
always
dying.
say like, oh,
What does the
all these
chat
people
say?
are persecuting you.
Yeah, what's
or,
the chat say? Should
help
we
me
put
out here.
Geo in a
Or
tool
you sit
shed?
down,
Lev, you're
and
putting
you
me in a
start
bad
learning.
position because I don't know who I please here. Do I please you?
That's
or
the problem. You don't need to
or,
please
like, white
anybody.
nationalists who are going to come
You
after
don't
me
need to
saying
please-
I'm a cocker. or
and,
whatever.
Gio, you don't
you're
need
a
to
cuck
please
or whatever?
anybody.
By the way, shout outs to Anatomy of the Heads. It's an excellent band. You can find him on Twitter at
Oh, yeah.
AFDH. He's been chiming in going, Charles Kahn, your days are numbered. QAnon is going to body slam you at
Great.
SummerSlam.
I sure
And-
hope so.
And it turns out everyone just liked Lita because you could see her thong, which is not. Let's be honest, like that was part of the selling point. All right. So I would like to chime in terms of what is Sicily up to? Sicily is a ridiculous. No, listen, Sicily is a ridiculous country, in where like it
Yeah.
started out as an ancient Greek colony, Syracuse. All right.
Well, if we go
Um,
through the speech in True Romance, which I don't want to do.
I could briefly stop on the gamer speech of True Romance because it's a part of Sicily's history. Sicily, listen, all Sicilians care about is getting even and food. All right, and it has been a long march through history.
What is wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it,
Send a
but like,
Sicilian message.
listen,
I'm
because
glad that you acknowledge that Sicily is a different part, a
Well,
different
this,
country.
Oh, no,
this
but
is
they're
the
a different-
Sicilian message right
they're
here.
a
This is
Because
the
as a
Sicilian message.
Calabrese, I can't stand
Luca
them,
Brasi
and so-
sleeps with the fishes.
listen. Sicilians are a different, like, they're different
Yeah, they're
from
just
Italians
different.
out the gate. All right, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
it should be known that everyone fought over Sicily, from like the Greeks, the Romans, the House of Bourbon, all the way up to the Moors, which is where, like, you know, that is where the true Romance speech comes from. And in 1860,
Oh,
Italy,
man.
in 1860, if memory serves me correctly, Italy invaded Sicily, dismantled all of their factories, and set it up in the north. And like the next day, La Cosa Nostra was like, all right, we're running this country now. If you, they were like Uncle Paulie. Anything comes up, you come to us. All right. And according to legend, the mafia started out because when the Moors showed up,
well, you know, the mafia doesn't really exist, and it never has.
Yeah. it
very-
doesn't- yeah.
very unsavory things were happening to the daughters of men who were screaming and crying in the street, mafia, mafia. So now you have all these like dirty, now you have all these dirty wops with knives, like
No!
doing battle, doing.
Oh no!
Hey,
Did you say that? I
You're
mean,
gonna
as a
upset
Puerto
the
Rican,
guineas.
Are you close enough to Med to say that? I wonder.
My dad is from Greece, and Greeks and Sicilians are third
Yeah.
cousins, so maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe it's not like I called
I
them
can't
filthy,
say that. I'm
dirty.
from my
It's not like
family's from the Greek part of.
Careful,
Calabria,
we're
so-
on YouTube.
Yeah, you
have
can't
the- I
say.
have the W
Listen,
pass
you're
as
going to
well.
talk about these Dagos and upset them.
Oh,
Oh,
no!
Hey, listen. Can we talk about the? Can we talk about the? Can we
That's
talk
even
about?
worse than what?
No.
Wait, I used to have a friend back in Catholic school who said that there's like an insult called Mama Luke. That's
That's
that an
more
Italian
like
insult?
What's the one?
That's more of a
Mencha Fagul.
like a-
Mencha Fagul was the one that I always
Oh, the
thought was the
Funko.
best.
Oh man, well, can we?
I
Even
know,
say
Catherine-
that
I don't think we
Catherine-
can say that, but you're half
What-
of something when you get called a Mencha Fagul.
Catherine, do you have any good ethnic slurs, any ethnic insults you want to share with
Boy,
the people?
blitz them.
I definitely, as a white supremacist,
Oh God!
Oh man.
That's gonna be taken out of context.
Oh, Catherine, what did you just say?
Oh god.
Oh Jesus.
Just
Oh, but no,
kidding.
Catherine, she's running a federal
I,
op.
I got to
She's
disavow
saying,
Catherine
"Hello, fellow
now.
white supremacists." Because never mind, I'm not going to finish the
white
joke.
supremacists actually refer to themselves as white supremacists. Like
Some of them do.
No, they just call themselves supremacists.
I thought
Like
they were
white
white
nationalists.
nationalists.
You know how they could appeal. They could appeal to the little kids Nick Jr. style by starting a kids show called the Nat Sock Show, where it'll be like these
There
sock
were
puppets,
actually, like,
the
white-
Nat Socks. Get
They're
it?
actually like
Oh my
egalitarians,
goodness.
That's a stretch, man.
like who make comic like children's books and everything. So that's not far of the stretch.
So,
So
Kat,
that's
what
what
was
they're-
the
they're
what was
trying
the
to play
fallout of
hearts
all
and
of
minds
this?
with
Like,
children?
is the group still up?
It's still up. It's ran by a dictator now.
Oh, you got ousted.
No, I'm the dictator.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go.
Chow,
I
it's
was like-
it's Kat, aka Himmler McStalin. Be careful.
Yeah, I heard you get me a job at Fox News.
You
That
mean
sounds like
Strasser? Is that what you mean? Himmler
Fox News
McStalin?
needs a guy like me there.
Yeah, no, I just put in very strict rules, and one strike, you're out.
Yeah, that's what I had to
Zero
say on my
tolerance.
Discord. I'm like, I'm not your mom. I'm not gonna play politics. I'm not gonna argue. I don't give a shit. Like you're here because people want to hang and have fun.
That's probably what I should have done to begin with. But I was really engaging. Like in the beginning, I was just really open, and I let these comments go on for a while. There were 666 comments by the time I closed the thread.
Oh, is that
Ooh.
all?
Jesus.
I know. I didn't even know. By the way, I closed
Let
it.
me
and
tell
then
you
know
what
it
happened the
was-
time I had. Let's see, it was 50,000 hits on 50,000 likes on the animation thing. The time I got canceled by animation Twitter.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
so,
what was
so
that
that was
over
my
again?
post. I keep trying to bring it back up again. It was a simple meme of a dog, and on the left
You anonymous?
it was a dog. He was animated in such a way that he looked kind of like the old 30s like cartoons.
Oh yeah.
And then
Oh,
on
that
the
is
right,
an
it's a little
excellent
dog who
tweet.
looks more like the Steven Universe kind of animation.
Oh,
And it was mocking
nice.
the modern animation versus old animation. And
Right.
it was a day that I had posted all the dog stuff that I had. Because that's what I do. I don't care. I just dump the folder and like, let's just schedule all this crap out and see what sticks. And brother, that one stuck because people went hog wild. You'd have thought I insulted these people personally. Like one guy, his thing had 25,000 likes and a whole just
Well, you did. You
thousands
called
of
them all
replies.
untalented.
right. Sure, I guess.
Yeah, I got the ire of animation Twitter.
It's fun.
When I
I
said
hope
that
I get it
digital art
again.
isn't you can't compare digital art to actual fine art, and then like
Hey,
so
what do you think
that-
I'm doing here, Gio?
See,
I think-
it's again. It works again. There
Listen,
you
Lev,
go.
I think what you're doing is just fine.
I think.
Thank you.
I think whatever institution you're in is going to be very proud.
Can I tell you something kind of ironic here? So, because somebody started like a competing group that's anti-racist, and
As soon as they start doing that stuff, then it's
they
Oh,
got out.
but
The
I
leader
remember.
got ousted. Like,
I would like to join that group.
Wait,
and
hold
call
on. We
them
gotta let
racist.
Catherine finish.
Yeah.
Go on, Catherine.
thank you, Lev. These people are just.
Yeah,
I know,
guys,
right?
chill.
No, because the person got ousted from her from that new group that she started for being a racist.
Oh!
Yeah,
Kinda like,
see, that's the
kinda like
problem.
Rob-
Is the stuff that I want to parody of the woker than woke, the crazy people. They're already doing it. You can't parody
Can't
it.
parody that.
It's beyond
It's kind of
parody.
like it's kind of like Robespierre getting the guillotine in the end.
you know the thing that one of the details in the article that you wrote, Kat, that stood out to me was how you had wrote The thread devolved into personal attacks, name calling, and outrage. Fox was described by at least one individual as a, quote, fascist, racist regime, end quote, that had actually, quote, gotten people killed by its reporting, end quote. Now, I'm curious what allows such huffy, like, breathless description. It's not just Fox. Like, they talk about the government like it's this giant building that has uprooted itself, took form, and does like a kaiju destroys the city routine.
Godzilla, the media... Godzilla.
But only targets like the most marginalized people. Like,
right, it's going straight to Harlem.
Yeah, like the Fox News building uprooted itself and then leapt from Midtown all the way to the South Bronx. Or like,
and got like a really good.
You know what's funny though? Yeah. Oh God.
But this is the way they describe, like when they say things like environmental justice, it makes me imagine that like rain clouds form above like, you know, the south side of Chicago and rain 8 hours and then disappear. Or like, oh no, there's like a snowstorm in like in Spanish Harlem, even though it's like June. Like they make environmental racism and environmental climate justice. Like there's like they're always 2 sentences away from going, oh, Fox News. Did you know that Fox News ran over my cat, set my dog on fire, left me bankrupt, and is the reason I can't like
guys,
stop eating
Fox
lard?
News raped me. They dropped a digit in me. I didn't want to tell anybody.
Fox News,
Charlie.
Fox News made Charlie bend over and cough.
That's right. I got
Charlie
pegged by
made
Fox
him a
News.
prank. Prison Prague.
Well, they conflate that, you know, because of, I think they were saying like Tucker Carlson, he was like supporting some kind of a theory, a race theory or something.
A critical race theory?
Yeah, no, the replacement. Yeah, the replacement race theory. So that was like an example that,
you know, I've watched a few clips of his, never once talks about that.
No, but like I think he was talking about like in some academic that was actually saying, well, yeah, before we used to say this was a conspiracy, but now actually it's good because, you know, I mean, do what you will with that. So just by Tucker Carlson bringing up that there are academics who unironically say that the Great Replacement is actually happening and that it's good, that was the whole context. Because
I don't know if I've ever done anything unironically.
Well, you know, what was I gonna say? It's kind of.
But isn't that also what they have at the SPLC Center when they have like a sticky note or list of like you know, how few or white people there are today? It's like, why even bother yourself with that one way or another? You know what I mean? Like the fact that people are keeping score about this stuff.
It makes me want to start my own rival group, the Northern Wealth. Let's see, it'd be what are they? The Southern Poverty Law Center. We're gonna be the Northern Wealth Legal
Northern Affluence.
Yeah, the Northern Wealth Legal Center.
Outlaw.
That'll be us.
Well, no, it will be an outlaw center because law, the opposite of law is outlaw. So there we go. That's what it's going to be. Oh. But on to the point about Peter Boghossian, because we kind of lost track of that. What I noticed, Catherine, when you were talking about how at first you didn't want to lay down the law like the real warden you are inside. Instead, you wanted to be lenient on the people who were, abusing
I wanted to be understanding, you know.
Understanding. See, but this is the thing.
Point. Yeah.
But this is the thing, Catherine. I think this is a big criticism
you should
that
unleash your inner girl boss.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
no, I think this is
girl boss.
But I think this is the big criticism that I see. This is something that I think the Prudentialists would agree with, Orrin McIntyre would agree with, Joel Davis would agree with, and I think Geo, you would also agree with. Like, I think people who are in the more conservative, monarchist, reactionary front, they would basically equate what Catherine did. They would basically equate, like, the larger liberal project of people who would be kind of like Peter Boghossian or whatnot. I think you guys would equate the leniency of, let's say, giving people, you know, a fair shot at getting their point across, even if you may disagree with them. In a way, you may see them as the weak horse, and the people who would never ever give the opposing side that kind of satisfaction, the strong horse. But personally, like, if you go with that narrative, what do you have left other than violence at the end of the day? So it's not something that I can agree with, but I am curious, like, would you say I'm correct here, Gio? Like when I'm talking about
what?
the strong.
Is that
the
like a
strong
Russian
horse,
proverb
weak
or
ho-
something?
The strong horse, weak horse mentality when it comes to, like, if we have people who are liberals, classic liberals, whatever you want to call it, if we have those people who, from the beginning, don't stand up and, like, give no quarter to people like the ones who ended up terrorizing Catherine, and instead say, like, hey, let's hear you out, what do you have to say? Like, do you see that as being, like, the larger symptom of why you may not be fans of liberalism so much? That, would you say that liberalism, or people who are liberals, give too much credence to hearing the other side out, even if the other side wants to chop their head off? Like, I don't know, would you agree with that, the way that I phrased it?
I think from that.
I don't know,
by
man.
the
You're
way,
talking
Lev.
about horses and severed heads.
Yeah, I'm a little
Yeah,
lost here,
you need
brother.
to get. I
You
think
gotta-
I
you gotta get your
understand
ducks in a row.
Drill down on this thing. Let's dig.
Yeah, I mean, Lev,
Let's unpack this.
what I
Compare
learned
it to
about,
pro wrestling somehow.
what I learned what I learned about this, I think, is because I think prior to this incident, I was like, it's important to talk to everyone, give them a chance to say their thing and entertain their ideas and thoughts. And I think I've kind of changed on that.
Oh, really? These people changed you.
Well, they taught me a lesson, let's say. I don't
Mm.
think they changed me. I think I'm still open to hearing from people who, absolutely, if somebody disagrees, but it's how do they present their argument? Are they personally attacking? Are they just going and calling someone a racist or white supremacist? That's not really engaging. That's not really putting forward an idea. If they put an idea, I've had people on Twitter, like I didn't respond to anyone who like attacked me, but but people who specifically just disagreed or had a counter point of view that they presented in a respectful manner, I engaged with them, and I will continue to. But when you're where the other people are kind of dehumanizing you and just using tactics, like that's not a
why even talk to those jabronis?
Exactly. You don't wanna
At that
talk
point,
to
they're just buttholes.
That's
But
right.
then
You
in-
don't want to
but
take
then in
to
the
those crybaby bullies.
Yes, exactly.
Cry bullies, yeah.
No, but in the wider scale, what I'm trying to get at is I'm trying to understand Gio's perspective more, and I may not have been communicating it as well. So I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna do it better. I'm gonna do it better this time, guys.
All right,
So,
take two.
He's gonna
Take
give
two.
us
Strong horse,
the-
weak horse.
He's gonna
Yes.
give us the new Russian proverb of the
Yes.
snow fox and the bear.
exactly.
Oh.
So liberals tend to be pretty tolerant people, like that whole quote that I said before about I disagree with what you say and I defend to the right defend to the right your death.
Yeah, that
to
was
say
the
it.
gal doing the Voltaire biography,
Yes,
right?
yes, yeah, exactly. But my whole point
Is
here
this like
is
the
that,
Jordan Peterson like high agreeableness type? I don't.
Well,
I don't think
this
I
is
agree with that.
no. This is what I'm trying to get to here. When it comes to people who are liberal, who have an open door for different people to come in and discuss, at what point does the opening of the door, if I were to play my old devil's advocate, at what point does the opening of the door become so open that you end up being invaded by these rabid leftists that never wanted to talk, that may, let's say, appear to be maybe at first cordial, but then the more of them get into power, the more of them are going to try to destabilize things and not give you the same rights
this goes
that you would give
towards
them.
No, but see, this is. Go ahead.
to a lot of what's going on in a lot of nerd spaces that
Yeah.
have been sort of overrun by politic talk. Like who comes to a video game website and goes, you know what I want to hear from? These guys that barely know what the hell they're talking about on these games. I want to hear their thoughts about politics. That's what I'm going to come here for.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't
who
want
gives
to
a shit
hear
what
about
video game reviewers think about politics.
I don't want to hear about Chun-Li's frame data. I want to hear about how she's a negative image for women or something.
Yeah. Yeah, Chun-Li should be a strong black woman of color.
I've always
Not a weak Chinese woman.
Yeah, why does she have to be played by a Chinese woman in the movie? Why can't she be played by Gabourey Sidibe?
I don't know if anyone caught this, but I believe it was yesterday. Who was it? Hard Drive magazine. It's a video game magazine.
God, yes, the saltest.
Yeah,
of
that was
salt
great.
mines.
They for anyone.
They literally accused them of genociding game journalists.
Right, like
Over
long
a
story
joke.
short, like the Hard Drive game magazine has like their headlines remind me of The Onion, and like their articles can be like really, really. It reminds me
Very
of like
wacky.
it reminds me of like the irreverent, funny writing of video game magazines during like the mid to late 90s. Like so what happens is they had a headline and it was like video game journalist decides to attempt finishing a game he just reviewed, and and a bunch of like video game journalists, and like, now mind you, Kat, when people are like, wow, blue ticks have no redeeming social value, we don't mean you. It's just 9 out of 10 blue ticks are like, you know,
Right.
they're terrible in every
It's always
conceivable
fun
sense
to
of the
have.
term.
So some people are the good blue ticks.
You need friends that have the
Yes.
blue check marks, the sneeches with the stars in their bellies. You need those people, because if they like something crazy that you post in somebody who also has a blue check marks thread, then they have to see it. So if I post Pikachu pregnancy porn in Ethan Klein's replies, and then one of my friends who has a blue check mark happens to like that image, then Ethan has to see it, because it pops it all the way up to the top of his feed. Because
I don't think you get any more visibility with having a blue check. Like I don't.
there's an extra lane that you're not looking in on your thing.
There's also you can't be reply deboosted if you're verified, and anything you report gets priority to the top of the pile when Twitter issues you a ticket and takes a look at what's wrong.
Yeah, that's something that I'm keenly aware of, is the reply deboosting. Like the idea that, well, you know, you can get there first and have the best thing, but you know, you could get buried, because if you get buried into that thing where it says see other replies, like you might as well not have said anything, because nobody's going to scroll that far to find that.
Okay, so the blue check counts if you are responding, but it doesn't boost. Like if I tweet something, like it doesn't seem to boost my tweet at all, like having a check mark. Like,
but just on
no. What I was saying
level,
is, if I posted something crazy and another blue checks replies, and you were to like that tweet, then that would get bumped up for them. They would have to see my crazy reply, no matter how crazy it was.
Yeah, so Catherine, you got some homework to do with Mass Bastard after the stream is over.
So just real quickly. So Hard Drive Magazine, all right? IGN writer excited to start playing game he just finished reviewing, and the reviews ranged from shit fucking take, guys, journalists regularly get harassed for this non-existent bullshit, all right? Someone went cosign, this is some Gamergate bait bullshit, y'all. And of course, all of the profile pictures are like chinless worms that look like they've never went a day without. These guys look like
you mean like this guy?
Chinless worms.
They look like
the
this guy?
verminoids.
They look like the Intercontinental Championship holders of bike seat sniffing. All
You know what they look like? They look like dorks.
miserable burning piles of goat shit. All right.
They look like dorks, and I feel like we're dehumanizing them in a way that's very funny, but probably not the right
Well,
thing to
here's
do.
the thing, right? Because their jobs, I hesitate to even call them journalists. I hate because it's not right to.
Yeah.
Well, it is
listen,
and it
listen,
isn't. There's
it's
some
not-
of those
it's not
fellas
right
are
to
breaking
lump
stories and
them
chasing
in
things down,
with,
but those guys are few and far between now.
Oh, and just real quickly, it gets better, because first of all, the fact that like Gamergate is this ever-present golem that is behind everything, like when the Christchurch mosque shooting happened,
Yeah, you could relate everything to Gamergate.
people were playing like 6 degrees of Kevin 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, but there's only 1 degree, and Kevin Bacon is Gamergate. Like Gamergate got Trump elected. Gamergate is why that shooting
You know,
happened. in New
Gamergate
Zealand.
raped me.
Hey, you know, Gamergate left my refrigerator door open
Oh
overnight.
my
and
God.
Let me tell you. So then.
Did Gamergate have Prince Albert in a can?
So.
Did Gamergate have a shed wife?
Ooh.
Did Gamergate invest in Lev?
Oh, maybe.
So now you have people with the velveteen touch of a dandy fop chiming in, going, I realize this is likely just a standard weekend promo, but the timing is bad and the message is worse. I'm typically a fan of your IGN goofs, but please consider taking this down. This is hurtful to a lot of hardworking folks. And then someone went, delete this. And it's like, oh, you didn't mean it ironically.
The best one has to be the, oh my God, I can't believe they're punching down. And it's like, punching down. Dude, IGN is one of the bigger websites on the internet. Like they are corporate as hell. They have tons of money behind them. And the hard drive is a bunch of scrappy guys just trying to be silly and have fun.
What a lot
enthusiastic
of these, like,
about stuff.
What a lot of these.
Wait, Catherine, do you know about Gamergate? I just want to make sure that
boy, here we go.
Catherine understands what we're talking about here.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
What is Catherine's
Lev, I think you're
perspective on
putting her in
Gamergate?
situations every episode where her enemies could just like strip mine this broadcast
You're
and
just
be
trying
like,
to create sound bites that can be used against her.
I hope people strip mine from my sound bites.
Can
And
you
I hope they
imagine if
listen
BTR
closely
was
when I tell them
around?
to kiss my
I
ass.
think the one thing that Lev has going for his streams have going for them is they're so long that I just don't think they'd have the patience.
Oh,
Yeah.
you underestimate
You'd
the
be
autism of
surprised.
some of these
Yeah.
people.
Maybe.
They're gonna hang
Time
out.
I think of them
learn.
as particularly lazy. I
You
have
know, Catherine probably is not a Howard Stern listener, had never heard this before, but people that love you, you know, they'll listen as long as they can. But people that hate your guts, they'll listen twice
yeah,
as
they'll
long.
listen to everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they'll listen and they'll listen harder.
And for those people, send us some money right now.
Yeah, come on, you bastard. Show us how much you
/
hate our guts.
Yeah,
I
slash
think-
Left Polyakov.
Can you imagine if BTR was around during Gamergate? That would be
Woo!
pretty sick.
The things
Oh,
that would have
man.
been said by all of us.
I would have been rolling in dough by this point. You know, I just started
had
really
a,
late.
I had
Oh, we
a
would've been-
much higher
yeah.
profile then, so
But Jefferson, you had something to say. We cut you off.
Yeah, so but the main thing, and this is like what I was getting at before, like I hesitate to call games journalists because they're not. All of these publications that do game reviews and stuff are just an apparatus to advertise games. They have
Yeah.
nothing
especially
to do with
IGN.
journalism. They have
IGN
nothing
is...
to do with research. Like it's not like the work that, let's say, Catherine does, right? It's
right, because the game
bullshit.
companies
It's
will
literally
give
just
you
them being like, here's the fucking game, buy it, fuck off. That's
well, they
the
give you like a
whole
cheat
bullshit.
sheet that has all the information they want you to cover.
Yeah, they're shills. They're not
Right.
journalists. They're literally just shills, and they shouldn't be respected.
And that's the thing, like the fact that like the video game companies like directly pay them to review stuff.
Yes.
Like it's
Well,
a meme
that's
now.
not
10 out of 10
necessarily
IGN.
true. The outlet that I did stuff for, we got offers for that sort of stuff, but we were always turning them down. I wonder if a corporate outlet that is monetarily motivated like that, would they be able to turn such a thing down?
No,
Yeah, but
because
in
that's how they
the
make their
chief of
money.
EGM talked about getting the same offers and having to turn stuff down.
No,
Yeah,
but like
no,
it,
but
Dan-
something
what
like
was it, Dan
IGN or
Shu?
Kotaku or whatever, like that's like their revenue stream is they're in the games advertising business. They're not in the journalism.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how Kotaku was run, but
yeah,
the,
but in actuality, like all like any like okay, the first example being that is pretty like ancient, the sort of like kissing cousins relationship between the art critic and artist, but also like music journalism is basically like the model of video game journalism.
Yeah.
So it's like the payola thing, that's basically what all video game journalism is in a nutshell. Like whoever
certainly,
gets
I
promoted.
mean, if you look at
you
like the
know.
Twitch streams, like there's a lot of like big streamers that will
Oh, they get
tell
paid
companies
off.
flat out, no, you have to pay me if you want me to stream your new game.
Yeah.
And they all have
I'm
a
sure
quote
they
and
give
have a
Pokimane
price.
millions of dollars to well, you know, yeah.
Yeah, but Catherine, what about your experience with the journalists today? Like the people who you kind of like worked alongside. Like, what are the vibrations in the air going on there? Like, how are they responding to a lot of this cancel culture stuff?
Not well.
Not
No,
well.
No, I mean it depends on the person. Obviously, you know, a whole
Are they
bunch of
walking
them
on
had-
eggshells?
Yes, everyone's walking on eggshells.
So they're trying to be diplomats with what they say and do, trying to avoid the
100 and 100% because you can't
Yeah.
go over 100. But they're definitely, a lot of them reached out to me, obviously, and are kind of we're thinking of potential solutions, and I'm trying to come up with some strategies going forward.
if everybody's extra super based, then nobody can say anything bad anymore. If
Well,
if everybody's just saying how they
exactly.
really feel.
But listen,
Based on what?
listen, there's a difference. I mean, like, there is definitely lines.
Well, listen, I don't want somebody to come out and start talking.
Well,
You know, it's one thing to say you don't like
finish.
what Israel's up to, but it's a whole other thing to start using a lot of slurs and saying things like that. Like those are two very separate things. The same thing I was saying with Trump is, you know, I can be critical of immigration policies and think, yeah, maybe we need some more border security. It's a whole other thing to say screw Mexicans. Like, that's a whole other thing.
Well, and that's the thing. You need to be engaging with ideas when it gets to a level, yes, you know, Mexicans suck. Like, that's a horrible thing.
Whoa.
Oh, they're going to use that.
There's the soundbite.
Buddy. Like, right in front of Stained.
That's the sad part.
We have you saying,
like, my brother from another mother, he's so offended.
If this was if this was the Adam Carolla show, I would be like Bald Brian and just like take that as a snippet and just like press a button every time Catherine comes on.
But Puerto Ricans aren't they like the Mexicans of the Caribbean?
They got their old news gal. They had her saying, "I agree with Charles Manson."
Yes.
Oh,
well, my favorite one, they had a guest named Monica Mechta who came on, and when Allison Rosen was doing some story, she said that's a dud of a story, just like insulting her right in the face by saying that.
I tell you another good one.
They had that one.
Dr. Jane Goodall said, "You have no idea just how wrong you are." What the hell?
Okay, wait.
Really
I
interesting
need to clarify.
like
it's very important for me to clarify
that not all Mexicans.
Wait,
hashtag not all Mexicans.
I want to know what Kat has to say about Guatemalans. I mean, if she has such strong views on Mexicans,
I went to school with a few of them.
Oh my goodness!
I don't even know where that is on a map, dude.
Oh, now he's embarrassed the poor girl. What are you doing?
See, this is what's terrible, though. Like, I've had so many instances of this where I would read something or see like a little clip. But it sounds like the person is saying horrible things, and I'm like, this seems weird that this person would say them. I go to the original source.
Yeah.
No, that is so out of the context, and it's like completely opposite, which is exactly what happened here. Let me clarify. I did not say the Mexicans suck. I was using that as an example.
You said it again.
Oh my God.
Hey, Steen,
I was using it as an example of what you did not say.
Steen, aren't Puerto Ricans kind of like the Mexicans of the Caribbean?
I would. If anyone are the Mexicans of anything, the Filipinos are the Mexicans of Southeast Asia.
Yeah, that's pretty true.
Yeah.
Well, going back to what Kat said though about like the out of context stuff. Like that's kind of what happened with there was this guy, this comedian Michael Richards. He was at the Laugh Factory.
Oh, you would know him as Kramer.
Yeah, speaking of out of context, you cannot get more out of context than that.
Well, the two guys, they kind of were disruptive to his set, but
right? He was heavily medicated that night, was my understanding, and you know,
was it Dave Chappelle? What comedian was it? Dave Chappelle, or was it Chris Rock, or who that said man, I can't even look at the Comedy Factory logo. I just see
Laugh Factory.
Michael Richards getting his career destroyed in one
that was Chappelle. That was Chappelle. No, but going back to the question that I asked earlier to Geo, like Catherine, where do you
were you
think,
trying to ask me?
Yes, where do you think that
this
line
is why
is
you
of
need
tolerance?
You can't have any you need a discourse that doesn't allow for such easy
entry.
Such easy like Mott Bailey tactics of like entry, and you have to like basically have a way to filter out that type of discourse from like, it's kind of like the paradox of tolerance, but like the thing is Karl Popper was totally wrong and cringe and blue pilled, but
well, we're gonna have Andrea Seabrook on again, and she's gonna fight you about that.
The thing is about the paradox of tolerance is that like in some ways this all just goes back to like a very Schmittian moral framework of like, I don't even blame like the rad libs for doing this. Like, I mean, if I was in charge of society, I could kind of see their point, because if you have a ideology that is fundamentally at odds with human nature, you would have to like basically be brutal and oppressive in terms of your discourse around these concepts.
They turn to the very Nazis that they claim to hate.
Well, it's not just
but on the other hand, Geo, wouldn't you have to apply brutal tactics in order to secure the kind of reality that you would think
No, but
would
the
be
thing
closer
is,
to
it's
nature.
like, you know, it's like what Zizek, he talked about the difference between like the Nazis, the way that they would do it, and the Stalinists. He said, like, oh, you know, my God, you know, the Stalinists, it was they give you the show trial, and it's like they say, oh my God, this is, you are abhorrent, you know, it's like you are you know, gravely hurting the Soviet system that's so perfect, right? But the Nazis, they wouldn't even give you like the humiliation of like, they would just like ghost you, you know, they get rid of you, they'd send you off,
Exile.
right? So that's the difference between the sort of like right-wing fascist mind, which I have a direct connection to, and
for now,
the sort of like left-wing, like the difference being is that they make you grovel in your sort of moral betrayal of the system, whereas with fascists or people on the right, it's much more about like, if you're just gone, either like, I mean, not just even just like killing someone.
I think that's a bit of an oversimplification.
The excommunication
well,
of
it's
somebody.
yeah, it's
definitely
like,
there was
there's
a lot
sort
of like political pressuring happening when there's like, whenever you have a totalitarian regime come into power, there's always
no doubt,
shit like that happening.
Yeah, there's sort of a series of like abandonment towards the law that sort of supports the law. That's the whole point. But the difference being, I think nowadays, is that we've gone past the need of like destroying someone. I mean, who knows? I mean, we could be next. I mean, if certain people get their way. I mean, of course, I'm saying this in our present moment, but we've sort of gone past the need of like actual destruction of life. Now it's more of the policing and humiliation of life.
Yeah,
that is
you just
important.
deplatform somebody. Let's say somebody had like 17,796 followers on Twitter, and suddenly they're deplatformed. Like, they're just gone. They'll never be able to connect with all 17,000 people again.
No, but that's the point being is that like it's they want you to know it's a humiliation ritual at its core. They want you to like feel your moral transgression against the order of things. They don't necessarily want to just get rid of you. They want you as a prop for
they want to break you.
Yeah, they want to break you on a fundamentally deeper level than if they just put you in a camp or something.
But see, that's
it's commie shit. I mean,
that's why I love being such a crazed hillbilly, because they'll never break me. I'll
like,
break them long before they'll ever even start to break Charlie.
Like,
you can break
Catherine,
Charlie Bone, you can say anything about me.
Do you agree with Geo's statement?
But just like really quickly, we live in a more, I would argue, a more totalizing worldview than either fascism or communism, in my opinion, because we live in a worldview that posits that it's the only way forward, because it's a facet of the way that the very, like, you know, the way the stars align has to go towards like liberal progressivism, whereas the fascists and the communists, they had a much more nuanced view of their dialectic. So I think we live in an even more comprehensive regime.
Wait, hold on. Let's break this down. So, Geo, you're combining the words liberal and progressive into liberal progressivism. You don't think that there could just be liberal by itself?
No, because the groundwork of liberalism itself is always going to gear towards, like, whatever adjective you want to say, progressive, woke, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, like
same things.
Jabronis.
Jabronis, yeah.
No, well, I want to break this down, but also we have YoloSwagStudios finally in the house.
All right.
Welcome, doggy.
Swag.
A little late.
Swag. A little late.
How are you, buddy?
Just slightly. Dude, not bad. Just getting off work, doing a little bit of work on a Sunday.
We were just discussing the idea of taking things completely out of context and ruining somebody's life completely over a joke from 10 years ago.
Powerful.
Or from today.
Yeah, it could be today. It could be a more recent joke. They did that with JonTron. Where JonTron had played a Nazi in a sketch like 10 years ago, and because he had said some heated things that he probably shouldn't have said,
he went a little Michael Richards mode.
Yeah, he went a little Michael Richards on a debate one time. You know, who among us has not said things during a live?
He was kind of right, though. I mean, he was kind of.
Oh, you would say that, though, G.
I'm kind of waiting.
What did you say that was so bad, though, that people got?
There were a lot of talking points that were a little strong. I'll say.
Like what? Yeah. Name them. Like. Is that what he?
Oh,
like,
you just want a soundbite, buddy, just so you can.
You just
I'm
want
not
me
falling
to
for that
repeat
trap.
Jontron stuff.
Real quickly, I'm kind of wondering when Ed O'Neill is going to get canceled for shit he said as Al Bundy 20-something years ago.
Oh,
Like,
I've already heard people saying that Archie Bunker was racist.
There's got to
they
be
hate Archie Bunker now.
There's got to be like a backlog of all these things that people are waiting for like just the right moment. Like, let's say like Jello Biafra ends up on the news. Someone somewhere has an article already written going, in 1979, in the song Holiday in Cambodia, he dropped the N-word. So
yeah, I forgot about that song.
They're going to talk about Chevy Chase with Richard Pryor doing word association in a comedy sketch from 45 years ago.
Well, it's surprising that John Lennon, like retrospectively, doesn't get too much shit for that one.
Yeah,
song.
I know.
Bro, the woman song, holy shit!
For being a wife beater.
I am John Lennon. You know, I used to be mean and beat on my wife.
Nina Paley used that woman song for her sadomasochism video. But by the way, YoloSwagStudios, Cream of Dog. I really love your comics. And Catherine, do you know anything about YoloSwagStudios?
I do not, but I would.
That's good. That's good.
He's a cartoonist. He does very fun cartoons on Twitter.com, the worst website on the internet.
It sucks.
I'm curious to know why the name Cream of Dog.
Originally, I was gonna like change my Twitter handle and make it dog centric. Like, I remember I was gonna do Hickory Smoked Dog, but then I did Cream of Dog, and I was like, dude, that's like dog cum. That's great. Let's roll with it.
Okay. Oh my god.
He's got a nice heaping bowl of dog drippings, and you know
Yeah,
what?
there we
They
go.
I always
just
love how
White
funny
girls.
like cartoonists always instantly get it because they're always on they're sharp. They have to stay sharp.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that
the
about
grind
cartoons.
of having to come up with something and come up with something often.
So I want to pull up a couple of comics here. So we were talking about AOC before, and this is the one with AOC.
Oh man.
Steve.
Oh, that was a great one. I love. Show it.
Good old AOC.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna
God
make
bless her.
I'm gonna upload a bigger version here.
America's
Here we go.
favorite politician.
Oh God, that one. Oh no.
Yes.
I love that. I tell you what I love about this one is that he, in a mocking way, did the political cartoon label everything. But zoom in on some of those labels because that's one of the funniest.
I love how he made AOC look like Daria.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Like Daria.
There we go.
Reaganomics.
Actually, quite a bit.
The hero we
Thinly
need.
veiled
AOC written on her
fetish.
tits.
by
What's
the
her
way,
stinky feet say?
by the
And
way,
look, Ben Shapiro.
is right there.
I love how dude,
he puts
I love
himself in it.
God, that's so stupid.
dude, I love how you
Go ahead.
go no go my bad.
Oh
my
no,
bad.
mine was just a little side comment because I feel like because he drew her with glasses on, and I feel like she doesn't actually need glasses. She just puts them on
To look smart.
What does her feet
Yeah.
say?
I'm pretty sure.
Thinly veiled
Thinly-
fetish.
What's
I
with
don't
the
even think it's
AOC
veiled at
feet
this
thing?
point.
Why is that a reality? Why?
I
There
don't
was
think it's
like
fake.
No, because somebody
During the-
stole her shoes.
yeah,
It
somebody
was
stole
it
her
was
shoes
fake
on the-
though. It was
Yeah,
fake. It was like
Yeah,
a
it was
fake.
fake.
Oh
by the
my
way,
God!
dude, I
Somebody
love-
didn't
No, but
steal
even
her
before
shoes.
that, they had the feet thing. Even before, I feel.
on the opposite side. By the way, I really can't see very well, and I don't wear glasses, so I can look hot.
There we go. What a
Whoa.
trooper.
What size shoes do you wear, though? That's the real question.
Tell us. Tell us.
What does that mean?
Not big enough.
Oh, Catherine, don't.
No.
Oh, if you don't
Is it
know,
true that-
if you don't know, don't be feet peeled.
Do you
I
have like
love
the?
how,
Do you have like the big like Peggy Hill feet, or is that?
Oh God,
Oh
Gio.
my God.
I'm not into the
Dude,
foot thing. I don't know
between this
why.
and like
Yeah, I
hanging
never
out with
understood the
fucking
feet.
birds last
Yeah.
night, like this is too much foot talk for one.
Alright,
man.
Just real quickly, I love how in the picture before you even got the Errol Flynn Robin Hood mustache down pat.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Excellent touch.
Man.
that's some
So,
funny shit.
Liquid
this
liquid
one.
5G Corona. Oh God, that guy looks like the doctor looks like this one that the CBC interviews from Toronto. Like every time they have to do a fearmonger story about the new variants, they have this one guy come on saying that, oh my God, even young people are dying. And then it's like they have the same guy all the time. He looks like a bug man.
Bro,
so this guy reminds me of
Bug man.
bug man.
Wait, Wait, go ahead, doggy.
I'm especially proud of this one because I dropped it before they started the butt swabs. I feel like it's almost
Nice.
pathetic.
Art imitates life imitates art.
Remember they thought that it was gonna come through your eyes, and then in China you had pictures of like people with like the eye masks, and then like the one edit was like survive. It's like the Bear Grylls like survive no matter what to any conditions.
I tell you, the funniest picture was when it was first going down. They had one guy out there, one of their soldiers. He had cut a little hole in his so he could smoke.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, dude, you know, I love how this is. I love how this
big homo.
Right before the butt swabs happened. If you keep this up, dude, you're gonna become like the Hideo Kojima of comics. All right,
Yes.
like,
Bro.
like this
The
is
Hideo Katami.
This
Yeah,
is
I
Lady
love
Gaga
this dude's
Oreo
work.
sales.
Because-
I love
because
that you add
now-
Lady Gaga into these.
because you see, like, science fiction and cyberpunk is no longer the proper vehicle of called it or it predicted the future.
Yeah,
So
now it's comedy.
so now it's artistic shit posts and things Hideo Kojima makes.
Yeah.
So step up, ladies and jerks. You've got stiff
My favorite
competition
one-
between the dog.
My favorite one was like a female comedian, and it's like female comedy. It's like a woman comedian. She's like, my bussy. And then the other one's male comedy, and it's like the male comic just like comes and punches her in the face. Like, I don't know, man. I love that one.
When you describe it, it's much less.
Yeah, it's much less
sexist.
funny when I describe it.
I would love to see it animated.
Wait,
I would love to see
Catherine.
that one.
Catherine, what do you think of these? What do you
Evil
think of this
Japanese
YOLO
game.
If I comment, I'm gonna get canceled twice. No, I'm looking at his Twitter feed too. Oh my
Quite
god,
funny, isn't it?
You know, this comic reminds me of this thread I wrote last night about Advocate Monk and how the mommy GF thing is spiritually oppressing men, and the chthonic feminine is totally destroying the psyches of millennial men. This comic goes right with it. So, Lev, if you could put it on again.
We're being mentally pegged.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
We're being
spiritually
mentally
and mentally.
I'm just being pegged,
Exactly.
like physically right now.
My favorite.
At this point.
But look at his shirt.
Take
Look at
that,
his shirt.
weebs! Take that, weebs!
Look at his shirt, though. Wise adults who pleasure themselves to pictures of Flo from Progressive.
And
funny,
not to suck my own dick, but I posted this one before. I don't know if you guys saw it, but someone posted a picture of the Lady D, the tall woman.
Yeah, the
transforms
the one where she's like flopping back and forth
between
Flo
Flo
and that.
and
thing,
she
yeah.
looks like her. I was like, oh
Kinda.
fuck,
Yeah,
Wait, was it intentional that her head looks like a breast?
kind
Like a
of,
little
yeah,
nipple.
like
Kind
a
of.
big nip.
Yeah.
Mommy, I love that.
call me mommy.
Yummy mommy, Dommy
And
mommy.
plan to destroy the West.
Oh, it's like the.
Dude,
it's like
I'm-
remember
I'm
someone
laughing.
edited those like A Wyatt Man comics, but it's like a Japanese like anime like manga person instead of like the other
Man.
Dude, the
Yeah.
Wall Street.
slippery
Slippery
slope to
slope
pegging
to
and
pegging
communism.
I heard that guy's friends with Patton Oswalt, but I don't want to start any rumors.
Well, you know, the thing about
He
Patton
defended him,
Oswalt
yeah.
is he may or may not have killed his wife. That's the
Yeah.
thing that people
Bro,
have
yeah.
said.
Yep.
He
Bro.
may or may not have been the Golden State Killer too. Who
That's
knows?
true. That's also
Allegedly.
true.
Allegedly.
This is
Who's
all
the bread
alleged.
tuber?
These are things
Like-
other people have said. I'm not saying these things. I'm just talking about what other people have said.
We're just here reporting the news.
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
You know
What
what we
other
were talking
people have
about
said.
before. about,
Other
like-
people are the ones who are assholes, not me.
Exactly.
I ain't said shit.
We were talking about
They're
before.
calling it Patton Oswald, and it is
I-
one of the greatest menaces to society.
Yeah.
I also love how you just randomly posted this cow on your
Sure.
Twitter.
Dude, she's thick. I was like, I was
Oh,
trying to find
man.
milk, and I was like, yo, what the
Oh,
fuck?
Oh God.
They
She
definitely
looks
commissioned a
underage,
furry.
though. She looks underage.
Yeah.
Nah,
That's
that you look in her
You're
eyes.
saying
She's
that's
32.
a calf?
Who's
is
that
no
guy that
calf.
hangs out with Baked Alaska, Chaggett, Dylan Volk? Apparently he's a pedophile, so that's
Oh,
when he
well,
was
that's,
18 years old, he went with a
interesting.
13-year-old. So.
Aren't those
So
the
this is the
fellas that
Grape
were
movement right there.
pepper spraying people for their
Yeah,
for their
Chaggett was with
content?
him. Yeah. It
By the
was-
way, YoloSwag, you may appreciate some of my stuff here because I also draw pretty thick creatures. See this guy over here? He
Wait,
has
did you
these,
draw this?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
I-
been
what
working
the-
on it all afternoon here. These
I didn't know
titties
you
and
could
crazy
draw,
stuff.
bro.
Oh, dude,
He's,
you
Yeah.
gotta,
he's an art major.
Love, you gotta show him. You gotta show him the cat.
Oh, Mr. Hands.
You gotta set.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay,
you didn't draw Mr. Hands, bro.
No, I drew this guy. So this is beating a dead horse.
Yeah, this is big horse, little horse. We got into this previously.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm going to explain it to YoloSwag because he's new here. So this is a cat drone who's beating a dead horse with this bat over and over again. He looks very happy at the camera. And this demonic creature here is the dead horse. It is not alive. It is completely deceased, but it still has the shining eyes and the hands like from that Guillermo del Toro movie. And
Guillermo del Toro.
Thank you, Gio.
Yeah,
yes.
good old Gilly.
But then this horse also has a son inside of his pouch because he's a marsupial dead horse, and he's looking very worried at these two breasts because these breasts are alive. So the horse is dead, but the horse's breasts are still alive. So once this horse grows,
sometimes
I love how the horse has the Pan's Labyrinth eye hands, which is another symbol that he actually ripped off from the film that they were going to make.
It was derivative. It wasn't a ripoff. Eric Bischoff said that the word that they use in TV when something's a ripoff is derivative.
Yeah,
I've been saying that. Like I want to make a derivative of the Swamp Thing. That's what I want to be derivative of.
But it's funny, because it's like how Mr. Hands meted out his psychic fate, his hell that was dragging him under was the horse, and the horse has the two eyes for the hands. And so Mr. Hands is now eternally damned to the fate of the hell of his own creation.
Or Mr. Hands.
Yeah. Bro, honestly, you slap 3 labels on here, you've got a political comic.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Pretty
You're
much.
absolutely right. No, but this isn't the end. There's a part 2 here. So part 2, what I'm going to draw is this horse kid. And I think a kid, that is the name of a baby horse, is called a kid, right? But anyway, the kid grows up, but he's forced by guilt to keep feeding these breasts. So there's a reverse
that could be
happening
a
here.
rapper's
Yeah. So these breasts, they're still alive, but the only way they can keep being alive is if the horse, little horse, he feeds them. So instead of suckling them, he has to give them nourishment. Like he has to find insects and
Quick question about the breasts. I can clearly see they're sentient, but based on their expressions, how much are they there mentally?
They're very happy.
They seem to be staring just off into space.
Yes, they're there just
they're as happy as my breast right now.
Yes. You know they say ignorance is bliss? They are ignorant of the situation that they are in. They are not really thinking so much about the past or the future. They're kind of in a perpetual state of presence and, just enjoying whatever food is given to them. They don't care if it's bugs. They don't care if it's lasagna. They'll take whatever the little horse gives them. But eventually the little horse grows up to be a big horse, and he gets so pissed off at having to take care of them that he starts punching them. He starts just doing
he's been beating his own titties off.
Powerful. Exactly. And that would be the conclusion, maybe. I don't know. I'm still gonna have to think.
Lev, I think you've deeply disturbed me today.
Oh no, I want to know more about this Salvador Dali-esque epic.
I think you finally scared Cat off.
That is unfolding behind Lev's eyes, one drawing at a time.
There is also a moon over here, and the moon's got teeth. I love drawing
the moon.
Half moon. Yeah, I love drawing the crazy moon with the teeth. But I was asked before to show the cat. So let me see if I could find the cat thing. But while I'm looking for the cat thing, Cream of Dog, can you just tell us a little bit about why you do what you do and what do you attribute your amazing imagination to? Because you are a creative genius, and I just wanted to let you know that. But what do you attribute it to? Did it happen initially, just from your childhood? Was there something that you read? Was there something that you absorbed that got you to where you are today? Or if you can explain, maybe it's inexplainable, but if you can explain, can you give us a little bit of an insight?
Why are you good?
What is going on? Yeah, why are you good?
What's
going on?
All right, Lev, you're much too kind. The praise is not warranted.
Yes, it is.
I feel like, dog, but dude, I don't know. As a kid, I liked Calvin and Hobbes, but dude, I just like drawing doodles. I always drew doodles on my homework. I used to get in trouble. I don't know. I think in my stuff, like a note I'd pass you in class, and I'm trying to make you laugh so the teacher gets you in trouble or something. But that's just kind of how I go about it.
The good old deflection, LOL.
Yeah.
You sneaky jerk.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, Cream of Dog. How often do you, like other artists, get the most grating fucking question of all time, which is, where do your ideas come from? How often do you get that thrown at you?
It depends who's asking. Like, I don't know. There's a certain type of person who like asks that over and over again, and then they never. It's like they want to get into comics and like, yo, how do you get ideas? I'm trying to do it, but it's like more like they just want to ask the question. I don't know if that made
now
any
let's
sense.
ask him about Israel.
Yes. Ask me about Israel. Dude, I grew up in Saudi Arabia, bro.
Oh, I'm sure he's got thoughts about Israel.
Yeah, they're very anti-Israel. Very.
But pro WWF. When I talked to Zuby, Zuby, that's what he said. Said because that was the common ground I found with him was that they were into WWF there. Because he grew up in Saudi Arabia.
They were into WWF.
Well, hold on, let me post your Israel comic.
Do I have an Israel comic?
Yes, you do.
The color one. Yeah.
Did you
hold on.
Earlier today, that what is it? Stand With Us posted that like Israeli superhero Iron Dome.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Boy.
Here's the Israel comic. Israel man and the gracious Palestinians. And my favorite part is ISIS saying, "How will I read Garfield now?"
Oh God!
Oh, that's great.
American taxpayer money well spent.
Oh,
I knew you'd like that one. I knew that. Like
Gio,
that
did you see the one I had of the Animaniacs?
Oh
It's him singing the nations around the world, and it says at the top, "Where does Americans' tax dollars go?"
Oh yeah.
And it's him naming off all the various countries of the world.
Scathing critique.
Although Israel.
No, but I want.
Oh, my bad, dude.
No, go on.
The whole an Israeli superhero named Iron Dome, to me, is just proof that we get examples from time to time of how the parody to reality pipeline, the turnover rate has gotten to the point where, dude, the minute hand has now officially. Listen.
Oh, here's the new Israeli superhero, the fucking missile blowjob.
Listen, I'm surprised they didn't go with. I'm surprised they didn't go with uses white phosphorus on brown kids.
Yeah.
All right. I'm kidding.
Oh,
listen.
Disavow.
But now the reality.
But after that happened, they did get charged by the military, the people who were using the white phosphorus.
Oh,
but hear me out.
So
hit with a hefty fine.
Imagine the other side doing that. By the way, charging their own people for being too aggressive against Israelis.
But really?
Oh.
Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
Imagine somebody in Palestine.
Somehow they never get charged for war crimes.
Had their own water source that wasn't guarded by the Israelis, but that's never. Let's not get into.
Oh,
this.
here we go
again.
Okay, this is.
Stop! We gotta stop talking about.
I just wanted to say it as a goof.
Don't
I
use
didn't
the
know he
J
was
word
born in
around
Saudi
I wanted
Arabia.
to concentrate.
Gaza Strip is a giant open air prison. It's an apartheid.
Who keeps it a prison? Okay. Anyway,
put the mic on Gio.
But just
real
quick.
I want to concentrate on the cat. The cat milking. So YoloSwagStudios.
We went from the apartheid state to the cat being milked.
So this is my cat drone idea.
Oh.
So let's say you're concerned about where your cat goes and you want to pay attention to it. So you have a drone that follows your cat around, like in a third person view, but you have these tubes attached to the nipples of your cat, so it would extract the milk from the cat while the cat is running around and having a good time. And
so imagine the cat is the proletariat, and the drone is like the superstructure. And
is the milk the fuel, or are you planning on drinking it?
So I don't know what the milk is as far as whether it's the fuel or not. I have to take a look at that. I mean, it could be a fuel. I don't know. I mean, it's difficult for me to say.
That would make it self-sustaining, but cat milk could be delicious. Who am I to say?
Yeah, I got nipples. Could you milk me?
Yeah, that was for Meet the Parents. But when it comes to this drone, yeah, it does deliver you the milk, and you take the milk and you drink the milk, and you watch your cat
going
across.
Stop talking about this milk
Yeah, there's just a little bit of a preposition with milk.
I wanted to share it.
Don't silence Lev. You're
Next
just a
they'll start
shill
going off
for
about
big
cummies.
dairy. You're a shill for big dairy, and you're not allowing this man to take his fate into his own hands and try to get to the other end of the horizon with the help of feline milk. How dare you?
I like little dairy.
I like cream of dog.
I side with little dairy.
Yo, this big dairy just gave me a comic idea. I'm writing it down. Yo, so it's gonna be big homo paying big dairy, or convincing him like, yo,
more hormones.
No,
Little big homo.
If you start milking the male cows, you can get twice as much money.
That's what they called me back
Drinking
in
cum.
musical theater.
But
was
you
big
have
homo.
to turn the cow. You have to turn the bulls gay first to milk them.
Of course, of course.
Is that going to be the
Well, if
comment?
all they have to do is drink water.
Oh wow. Oh, because the hormones in the water turning the frickin'
Right,
I
it
get
turns the friggin' bulls gay.
Yeah.
What
do you think happened to Michael Jordan?
That's true. Oh, wait. What is Michael Jordan?
What?
Nobody
Hold
talks
on.
about
Yeah,
him. What's he
what?
doing recently?
He was on the Bulls.
Ah, shit. Ah, fuck yeah. Damn.
Oh, I get
He's
it.
gay now?
For the context of this joke, he was.
He was crying in that one meme.
That's
What is
right.
that?
Wait.
Jordan
What kind of gay are we talking about? Are we talking about like
he was
all
so
of-
gay
wait,
he wouldn't mess with Lola Bunny.
You mean
and she was offering it up.
That's
you mean,
true.
You mean
Yeah,
like
but that would make him a furry, though. So that's
Oh,
why. you
yeah.
do it.
so that's the double death.
you mean like Paul Lynde on Hollywood Squares gay? Or
Oh,
are we
well,
talking-
you know,
are we
wish
talking?
my brother George was here.
or are we talking about like? Are we talking about like Eazy-E making out with Rock Hudson on Fire Island as Liberace plays a piano made of dicks? How gay are we talking about here?
Wait, Easy he wasn't gay, was he?
Okay.
He died of AIDS.
Died of AIDS.
Yeah, but he said he got that. Like, there was this rumor that like Suge Knight like injected him, like they beat him up and injected him with AIDS. But I don't know if that's real.
That's probably true.
Yeah, that sounds true.
That
I
sounds like
believe
something
it.
Suge Knight would literally do.
Yeah. Suge Knight, who's now in jail for running over multiple people.
Yeah.
Was this before they had the antivirals? So AIDS was basically a death sentence.
Yes, absolutely. It was an absolute death sentence, and that's what happened to.
Oh, and
Eazy-E.
you know, for me, one of the saddest things about AIDS is how, I mean, like, it claimed Isaac Asimov, who should have died with the cold, crushing, unfeeling claws of a robot around his neck.
Wait,
Isaac
Asimov died of AIDS too?
Yeah, he got it from a blood transfusion, which was a thing
he's
back
one of
then.
those
Oh,
guys.
was he a hemophiliac or was it an accident? Or...
Also, because they didn't screen for AIDS in blood, Arthur Ashe died that way too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't know.
There was this documentary, and Canadians were getting blood from the Arkansas prisons because of Bill Clinton. It was called Factor 8. Did you ever see this documentary? It was by Kelly Duda. It was a great documentary.
Duda.
Duda. What happened was
got the
Bill
itch from my
Clinton-
blood bank.
God.
Got the itch from my blood bank. Oh, da day.
Oh God, this is terrible. But what
Dude,
happened?
they got the AIDS?
Yeah, what happened was Bill Clinton was basically making bank on Arkansas prison system. They would get the
That
prisoners
doesn't
to
sound
donate.
like Bill Clinton doing something shady.
Slick
I know,
Willie
right?
would never do anything like that.
Yeah.
can't believe
Next, you'll
it.
tell me he's getting his dick sucked by fat chicks.
Oh God, she's not that fat. But anyways,
Well, she was at the time.
at the
Was she?
was she?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She was
I
all
wouldn't say
right. My
fat.
God,
She was
I
on
thought
the
it was
To
cusp
Ricky
of
all right.
Lake. She was
fat
closer to
and
Ricky Lake fat. Like she wasn't.
She was on the
That
cusp
was
of
all right.
staying fat.
No.
Yeah.
Listen. Fat
Anyways,
begins
so
with thick
what happened
ends,
was-
okay?
Yeah. But
She
anyways,
was
what
chunky,
happened
but not a
was-
chonker. We'll let the record state.
Oh my God.
I
But
hope
she-
Monica
she
hears
lost
that
a lot
too
of
and gets
weight.
mad at me and sends me a nice message saying, "Hey Charles, I heard you were making jokes, talking shit." It's like, yeah, I was, sure.
Why don't you come here and prove me how?
Be like
shit-
Seth Rogen. If he ever asks me if I'm Jewish, oh boy, I'm gonna be so excited because I just want to ask him.
anyways.
Just write back instantly. Are you gay?
What?
Cold-blooded.
Yeah.
Cold-blooded.
Why not?
Is
He's made a lot of gay
Rogen's not
jokes.
gay, though. He's
And here at
Yeah,
Breaking
Wait,
Rules,
I didn't
You
actually
shouldn't get
hear.
canceled for it.
Cream of Dog, do you approve of my drone idea? I forgot to.
do you approve
No,
of my alternative lifestyle?
Nobody does.
Of course.
No, I'm not gonna take
Where
that.
I
I
have
need to know
cat
from the man
milk,
himself.
do I approve of my alternative health choice?
Yeah. Cream of Dog, do you approve?
Of course.
Do you approve of
There we go. See,
antiviral
that's the
AIDS
only
treatments?
That's the only voice that I care about here is Cream of Dog, because I respect
So
him as a man
anyways-
and an artist.
Oh,
Thank
but you
you.
don't respect
Another
me
thing-
because I go against your precious apartheid state, Lev.
Yes, because you're in a bubble. That's why.
I'm
we
not
use
in a
that
bubble.
part.
You and your
Yes, you
alt-right
are.
buddies.
I don't think
Anyways, let
Geo's
me
beautiful
explain.
wood carvings are art.
So, oh man. Anyway, so what happened was they would get prisoners, right? And they would make hand over fist over donating blood.
Of course.
And of course, you had even like the whatever you want to call them, prags, punks. You'd get them to donate blood, and sometimes they would do like this nasty shit. Like they would share needles. They'd use them like 10 different prisoners of one needle. They would
that's
like
bad.
one time the one guy that was working for the prison said like the refrigerators would go out and they'd like give the like rotting blood away anyways.
Oh,
like
no.
real nasty shit. I'm telling you.
So they went, is your refrigerator running? Then you better go catch AIDS.
But then what happened was they would sell it to Canada, and all these hemophiliacs got AIDS because they need constant. They need this factor VIII drug that like coagulates their blood. So yes, Bill Clinton basically gave people AIDS.
Great. I'm sure he gave a lot of people AIDS.
Bill Clinton, the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah. Well, he was
Bill
really
Clinton,
chasing
more like
that.
Bill Cunton.
He was really.
What about
chasing it.
Bill Clinton?
Ah, there you go.
I like the way Bap says it, Bill Clinton, like like an alien, like from Star Trek. No, yeah.
So we're about one more minute of Bill Clinton talk before I start busting out my bad Bill Clinton impression.
Yeah, go
I
ahead,
would love to
please.
hear
I
that.
want to hear
Go
this.
for it.
You want to hear my Bill Clinton?
Oh my God, it's him! Oh!
Hey, Gio, I heard you've been talking shit on live stream. Call Monica Chonker.
I brokered the peace deal at what was that place? They had these.
I had a deal with the Syrians.
Yeah.
And I ended up selling them out to the Chinese.
I just got off of
Camp
Reddit.
David.
And, it says here that you said Monica Lewinsky is a big chungus.
I'm picturing everyone doing like the lip bite after each line and giving
That's
the thumbs
right.
up, like away from the
They never found out I was gay.
I fucked all those
They only were
15-year-old
mad about
girls
the
on Little
girls I
St. James
banged, never the
Island.
dudes.
Those little girls, they were little boys. They were Futanars
No,
on
it was
those islands.
just I allowed those photographs of me to get released with me fucking 15-year-old girls, so nobody would know that I'm gay.
Hi, I'm Bill Clinton, and
I feel
suck
like this is Cumtown and I'm Stav, like the fat guy.
Yeah.
Laugh track.
dick. Hi, I'm Bill Clinton.
I approve of this podcast.
Yeah, I approve of breaking
Wait, by the way,
news.
Gio, how is your reading of Berserk going? Speaking of Futanari.
Oh, Berserk, that's a good
my
comic book. We read that back at the White House.
I'm on chapter.
I'd really like to get a hold of that Casca.
Yeah, she's pretty great. I
I'd
got
like to go, excuse me, man, but with all due respect, I'd like to go Griffith mode on that pussy.
Oh no! Oh no!
Mr.
No!
Mr.
No!
Mr. President, Mr. President, what is your favorite anime of all time?
My favorite anime is La Blue
Berserk.
Girl.
Bulba.
Wait, the original or La Blue Girl
Casca.
Returns?
I kind of like strong.
Well, I got
women,
both
don't
of them
know.
on DVD. Hillary likes to watch them too.
I'm kind
That's
of
the only
attracted
thing
to
they have in
like.
common these days.
I don't know why, but like, I mean, I myself, like, as much as I talk shit about being like a total like trad or whatever, like I do kind of am into like the strong girl boss type. I guess that's why I'm kind of like friends with a bunch of these like rad femmes on Twitter. I don't know.
Well, she's
it's
like a tomboy, right? Which is
Yeah,
a very
yeah,
rare thing
she's a tom-
nowadays.
You like a tomboy, you have no choice but to stand.
she would. But nowadays they want to erase the tomboy by making them all F to M's. So they're like this tomboy genocide going on right now.
Oh yeah,
I
there
know.
are also like no more lesbians anymore these
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
They're
all-
trying to get rid of lesbians, and that's you want to talk about a crime.
Yeah, it's
Hey,
terrible.
listen,
Like
listen,
those poor
listen.
lesbians.
There's gonna be
They don't want any part of dong.
There's gonna be an intifada of the militia Etheridge, okay?
Oh, it's
Armed
already happening,
lesbians
brother.
taking up
like
armed
Mexican
lesbians.
food or something.
Like these gals do not. They're you know.
Mexican.
They don't want
jihad
anything to do with a
intifada.
dong.
Enchilada? They're gonna put an enchilada on lesbians?
Man, this really is like cum town.
So,
You know what's really
dog,
sad?
are you transphobic or would you date a trans girl? Would you take the dong?
I'm currently dating a trans girl.
Oh, just like me.
Really?
Yes.
Nice.
Just like the rest of us.
So cream of dog.
Well, I'm a
must
male
be bit-
lesbian, so
it
that's
must it must be
Fuck you.
bizarre. It must be bizarre to be painted out as this.
It's because my buddy Matthew, he showed that like he posted that meme back in the 90s. It was like Spencer's like novelty shirts that says "I'm actually a lesbian." It's like a guy wearing it, like a really creepy middle-aged dude. Like I'm actually a lesbian. So,
I always found a lot of humor in the guys who were the size that Boogie used to be, like the 500 and 600-pound guys wearing the shirt that says "I beat anorexia."
I need to get one of those shirts. I beat anorexia.
Jello Biafra in
God.
the early '90s. Jello Biafra used to rock a "Nobody Knows I'm a Lesbian" shirt for like press
Yeah, that
photos.
shirt. That's what he was talking about.
That's but cream of dog. It must be surreal to be labeled like, obviously, people without a sense of humor or with a thin skin or the perpetually and recreationally offended. They could look at your comic and decide, well, this guy's the reason everything is wrong with the world.
Yeah,
So
why
then-
did you try to ruin the world, dog?
Listen, listen. You're taking up all the precious, getting called ists, harboring isms and possibly phobias. Okay, we want some of the labels too. So can you tone it down just a bit, Chief?
Come on, pal. It's been a while since somebody called me racist.
Take him off me. Take him off me, bro.
It's been almost 30 minutes and I've not been called a racist. I'd like to apologize for the thing I said 2 minutes ago. I wished I'd said it again.
Lev, real quickly, in chat, Pilos or Pylos, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He said, "Bronze Age pervert on break the rules when?" That's a valid question.
I sent him a message and he hasn't responded to that message yet. So Geo, I mean, you tell me, like, could we get Bap on?
It'd be very difficult. Like, I mean, I've had friends that have tried, like, to get him on their podcast. It's kind of like, I don't know. I could, like, I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to like go out and like message him. I mean, maybe I could.
I mean, we are going to have a Giorgiani coming in August.
Oh god,
that's going to be very interesting. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to talk to him about.
Well, we should have Joel on for that episode. They'd have a total like.
Oh man. Well, I mean, I don't want to put people in an uncomfortable position either. You know, like if
I'm in an uncomfortable position right now.
I am an uncomfortable position. Okay, like
I couldn't tell you the last time I was comfortable, to be honest.
I was comfortable once, and
last night when I had pizza, I was pretty comfortable.
Yeah. Oh, listen.
What kind of pizza?
Are you a big pizza
what are you
guy?
talking about?
I'm a pizza man.
You like pizza with extra sauce?
Dude, I'm just like an anchovy freak.
Oh,
God.
High five!
Oh,
I love
interesting.
anchovies. No,
My
this
favorite,
is a man
bro.
after. See,
I actually
knew there
don't
was
like
something
extra
special about
sauce.
you.
I like extra cheese, but not extra sauce.
Yeah.
Sauce has to be like.
What about
just
walnut
right.
sauce?
Oh God! Again with the walnut sauce.
What
Here
the
we
fuck
go.
is this walnut sauce I keep hearing?
Hey, listen, Charlie. That last pizza party you had me over at, I left my handkerchief there. Can you pick it
Yeah,
back
we had $64,000 worth of pizza.
Oh man.
Oh man.
You know, at a place where we have our own private chef.
Yeah. Oh, wait, by the way, Cream of Dog, have you ever done any Podesta-related comics, or that's after your time, before your time?
Before my time, I think.
Yeah, he's not really in the spotlight, is he? Like, when was the last time?
Yeah, it's
He
been
disappeared.
a while. Kids.
Wait, put up what?
Put up the
Podesta
K-word
molested-
comic of his.
It's been
the
a while
Karen
since
one.
Bethesda molested kids.
Oh, dude, that one got like banned the first time I posted it on Twitter.
Whoopsie
Oh
daisy.
god, really? The Karen one?
Oh yeah, so much of my shit gets taken down. Like I drew a blobfish dressed as Osama bin Laden, and it said Osama bin Blobfish. And it got
That's good.
it got It got fucking nuked off Instagram for fucking racial insensitivity.
I'm so
what?
sad about damn Osama bin Laden's feelings.
Yeah, those
being
poor,
hurt.
Yes, seriously.
He saw it in hell and had to report it.
The
Those
best.
poor
Oh my god!
CIA
I think the
operatives.
best YOLO swag one is the white father with like he's got a black son.
Dude,
How
that one
dare-
got fucking nuked on Facebook for racism.
Oh my god!
I know. I was like, this fucking dorky white kid was like posted a screenshot of himself reporting it. Was like, just he was pissed off. I made fun of white people.
Oh
or
my
like white
God.
chicks, and I was just like, dude,
Yeah, all it takes
this
is
a
one
comic,
dick
bro.
licker to upset everyone.
Dude, he was a total twink too. I was just
But
like,
I love this one. It says, "How dare you bring the subhuman savage into our home? I raised you better than to date a
Savage?
white woman." Oh, because like get it? Because the implication is that he's like a racist, like white father, and like his daughter is marrying is going with a black dude. But no, it's like his wife is probably black, and so his mulatto son is like going with a white
I think
woman.
can we say that word?
Can we
Is
say that
word
word?
so
Is
yeah,
that
I was
racist?
like, yeah.
Okay, no, listen.
I don't know if we can say that
Mixed
word anymore.
race.
Oh, listen.
BIPOC.
Mulatto and mulatta is a term that is totally fine in Spanish because
Oh, there you
Latin
go.
America,
Well, if it's
Yeah.
fine in
America-
Spanish,
listen,
it's fine in English.
listen,
All right, look at
because-
this.
Because my mom was born and raised in Brazil, so it's like
There you
that's
go.
the
Yeah.
natural word.
Well, look at this.
Yes.
Look at this gay monkey comic. So, do you want a banana? I
Gay
am not
monkey.
hungry.
Me
Me
neither.
And
But the thing is, it's so stupid. But it's like, I don't
by the way, Kat said in chat that she had to bounce and said thanks for having her on. So adios, Kat.
Yeah, Cat's
Great
a lot of
pleasure to
fun.
have
I like
Kathy
Cat a
Yeah.
lot.
here.
Oh,
I
what a
wish her the very best.
what a
She takes a
coincidence!
lot.
What a coincidence! A mystery cat leaves when Cream of Dog shows up.
Yeah,
What's
cat.
going on
The
here?
dog chased off a cat.
Dude,
so
that
this mixed race Paris.
that
Yeah,
monkey-
that's funny.
that monkey.
But wait,
comic.
so the guy, so you like apparently there's like, if the guy was a twink and he was talking about making fun of white people, I mean, there's a lot of homofash people around. I mean, I guess maybe he was a homofash, like he was a Twinkie 1488
Wait,
person.
so he
It's
was
possible,
a gay.
bro.
He was a gay Nazi.
There was
It's
gay
possible.
There was people. There was gay Nazis. It's true.
Dude, there's
Oh.
a large subsector of racist gay people.
There
it's
is.
interesting. It's like
My
its own
favorite-
little ecosystem.
My favorite kind of gay people are self-loathing
You just
gay
have to go to the
people,
Twink
like,
Revolt
You ever met
podcast.
black
No,
racists before?
no, I'm not gonna say that.
my
Twink
favorite
Revolt
my
podcast.
my favorite gay people are like Larry Craig and Ted Haggard, who have made careers out of going, I have never gayed, and boy did they gay it up behind closed doors.
Oh, the guys that tap their foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just real quickly, Ted Haggard was a televangelist and a preacher who was caught with a male escort and more crystal meth than you could shake a stick at, even though he made a career out of I know what you do behind closed doors. You do perverted things, and it's like, dude, really, stop projecting.
Yeah, like
Then-
this guy had been taking it up the ass for years.
Then, oh man,
This guy sucked more bird than Monica Lewinsky.
Oh my God, that guy.
Why
has
is it
given-
always meth or coke? Why can't gays just do heroin like the rest of us?
Yeah.
Bro, that's a downer. You
Yeah, why
don't
can't
feel
they
like you
snort
don't
pills?
want
That's
to bang on a
why.
downer, bro.
Yeah.
Do you want to have sloppy Xanax sex? Come on, no one does.
Yeah. I feel like only straight people do Xanax. I don't know.
So hear me out. All right. So Larry Craig,
Why the fuck
he
am
was
I
the
saying
guy.
this shit?
He was the guy.
I'd never say
Only
this
straight
stuff.
people do Xanax.
Only. So listen.
With exceptions. With exceptions.
So Larry. So fun fact. Larry Craig is funny because he was arrested for lewd conduct at an airport in 2007, and basically it was such a big deal that Charlie, was it the Academy Awards that even had a sketch in the
I
beginning?
wish they could have arrested his sister, Jenny Craig.
So
Good one.
So hear me out. So Larry Craig, a U.S. senator from Idaho, who was a senator for 19 years, okay?
That's a long time to be sucking bird.
Listen, he gave more head than all the guillotines of France, okay?
Woo!
So Craig had a virtually 100% anti-gay record in the Senate, consistently voting against equal rights legislation, gays in the military, hate crime penalties, hate crime penalties for crimes against homosexuals, civil unions, and gay marriage. However, for starters,
he was a whoopsie.
Oh boy, this is the best.
Well, the
okay?
thing is,
Hear
I
me
don't
out.
care if he's gay as long as he gets results. You know.
No, but here's the thing.
It's like
Here's
Clayton Bigsby. He's too important to the movement.
But here's the creepy part.
Oh shit, Geo.
Geo is on fire today.
Yeah, we got red ass Geo today.
So the part that irks
put
me
him
is
back
that
in his shed.
when Craig was busted, okay.
Oh god.
But when Craig was
a fucking cherry now, man.
Geo was gonna turn into a beat.
Wait, Gio,
can
you please turn your webcam on because I want to see how red you are right now.
Oh no, my room's too messy. I gotta clean everything.
He's on fucking fire right now after talking about God's chosen for a fucking hour straight.
Yeah, so the shed wife. You ever considered getting a shed wife dog?
Just real quickly before I forget, the funny thing about Craig,
I need an Israeli IDF girl boss as my wife. That's gonna be.
Oh god!
All right, finish telling us about the gay meth addict.
Yeah, this gay guy, he sucked a lot of dick. He was in Senate.
So what happens is, so for starters, when he had his press conference where he had to go like, I have never gayed. For starters, he opened it by thanking reporters for going, "Thank you for coming out today." All right, and then went on to repeatedly reiterate, "I am not gay. I have never been gay." But then, like, people in the Advocate, which is the largest gay newspaper in the U.S., people started writing in letters going, "Oh, I know he looked familiar. His dick kind of curves to the right, and he has a birthmark near his hip on the right side." So how is it that all these people who presumably never met one another, ranging as far from Washington State all the way to Central Florida, going, "I know that guy. He's rough and he likes it in restrooms." Like, also his dick curves to the right. Also, his dick curves to the right, and he has a birthmark on the right side.
He got around that much that like just random gay people reading the Advocate recognized him.
Yep.
Oh my god.
So
like every liberal comedian stereotype from like the mid-90s. Yeah.
So thus concludes the family values part of the stream. Thank you for giving me the floor to resume discussing the gay meth addicts who have been elected into office. I appreciate it.
Did he have a family?
Let's talk about traditional shed wife.
Yes, I think. Wait. I think he did. Wait.
That's so funny because it's no. Like,
He
how do you get away with that shit? It's like, oh, honey, sorry, I'm going on one of my famous fucking weekend road trips.
Oh, honey, me and the guys, we got to go. There's something at the Senate. I got to go vote.
Listen, I keep getting snake bites.
It's all the way in
I
Cleveland.
keep getting snake bites in my dick, and they got to suck the poison out.
Honey, I'm sorry. I got my dick stuck in a blender.
No, okay. If you go to a sallow form, no, I'm not gonna go there.
But in regards to your question, he's married. But the 3 children were from her previous marriage. But he was married.
Convenient.
That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, you think he probably went to the bathhouses and all that stuff?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was partying at the Crisco Disco every weekend.
I feel like, I don't know, like, I feel like the problem with, like, the gays now is that they turn them into, like, this bourgeois, like, we're just like normal straight people. It's like, no, it's like, embrace the transgression. Like, it's unfair. Like,
one of my favorite details.
Will and Grace,
that's what I've
like
noticed, man, is the gays are not as outspoken as they used to be.
The problem is they were too outspoken to the point of being banal. That's, you know what I mean? Like, Michel Foucault would agree with me, put it that way.
Like one thing I think we could all learn from about gays is that the Stonewall riots are proof that the only way to get things done is through PvP. Okay, so once upon a time, if for the ladies and jerks listening at home, this is now the gay violent PvP history hour. Okay. So the Stonewall riots, like the Stonewall Inn, it's a historic landmark, and it's a gay bar on Christopher Street here in New York City. So the cops went to go shut it down, and evidently the people who were there were not having any of it. So the Stonewall riots kicked off what is now known as like the gay rights movement. But
in which there were underage boys there, and that's why they were going to shut it down. But nobody tells you about that. So
right,
it's-
and no one. But here's the thing, though. All right, like
Who's never been an underage guy that's tried to get into a bar? Come on.
This is you know what? Like that is an excellent question. And what if you happen to be a gay young man who wants to go to a gay bar? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
but it should be noted though that like the portrayal of gays in media over the decades ended up being really disappointing when, like, I remember going to the Stonewall Inn out of curiosity because I was expecting it to look like the fucking Blue Oyster from Police Academy. I have been practicing weeks on end my sick ass dance moves. All right, so I too can enjoy and flawless dance action, and it turns because like in the Police Academy movies, they made out gay dudes to be like they could bench press a house, and they all look like they're in metal bands, like they're all in Judas Priest cover bands. So like growing up, that was a really weird message. Like I'm being told that these are like sissy men who act like women, even though according to Police Academy, this looks like level 5 from Streets of Rage. What are you talking about? All right, I never understood
a lot of those
that.
guys, the buff gays.
Isn't Stonewall like a museum now or something?
You could still go and order drinks, but there is a behind glass casing part of the bar.
Yeah, it's like the weird half like museum.
So
thing.
tell us,
you remember there were those
guys there?
That's the part that's still infected with AIDS.
Yeah. Wait, would you be considered?
Oh shit, dog!
Would you be considered? Would you be considered to be like a bear or a twink or an otter, like Mass Bastard? I mean, Geo would probably be
I'm a human.
Yeah, I'm probably closer to.
I'm a human.
Yeah, I'm human for sure.
What's an otter again?
You have like a
slick.
swimmer's body. You're like you're
Oh,
kind
you're
of buff
like-
but more toned.
Oh,
yeah.
you're kind of like a CrossFit guy.
I'm a large redneck, so
Almost.
my body type is not.
Bro, that's I believe called a bear.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
Cream
you're
of Dog.
close to
Is
a
it
bear.
safe to say that an otter is like that's the kind of dude that could like grate cheese on his abs as a party trick?
Pretty much, yeah.
Is he the kind of dude who's like his grinder profile?
Yeah, but
is
I
just
think
abs?
I'd be more of a daddy.
Pretty
Like,
much.
I'm an older guy. Like I got a little bit of gray going on in the beard now.
I think
Wouldn't that be a gray muzzle? No, that's a furry. That's like an
No,
old
No,
that's
furry.
very
I'd be a
thing.
daddy. I'm a daddy and I'm a bear, so I'm a daddy bear.
You would think otters would be like the bisexual gays because they
Yeah.
like clams.
We'll be here all week, folks.
We'll be here. Thank you. Shoot your waitresses.
Wait, is that what they call it in Boston? Clam? Is
Yeah,
that
I got
the
a tip
official
for
name?
you, honey. It's a 38.
On
What do you think
real
of
quickly,
like Martin Scorsese and Taxi Driver in that one scene?
the
Oh,
ch-
that was
He's gonna
chat,
go in and shoot his wife.
chat has
What
chimed
do they
in
do with
going.
her face? Fucking destroy it. Whatever it would do. No.
Hopper8338 goes asks Geo about Griffith, and then Buff goes, Geo is a cruising with Al Pacino advocate.
I was just reading that.
Yeah, how far into Berserk are you, Gio?
I'm like almost at chapter 20, I want to say, like from like the first
So you're in the Golden Age arc still yet?
like yeah, like I'm like because I started from the first issue where it's Guts when he's like older.
Yeah,
but
he's
then it
super
goes back.
edgelord guts.
Yeah. And
Okay, so you-
Doesn't
you've
it start
seen
with him
that's,
banging a whore?
Yes, it does. Well, a demon. To
I'm
be
at
precise.
the
demon
point.
whore.
I'm at the point where he kills that kid by accident.
Oh.
Oh, he's the
Well-
assassin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you must have seen the 3 pieces
Pure
of
thought.
silver.
Hi, Gio. Your woodblock prints for sale. Yes, they are. They are for
Yeah,
sale.
Yes.
that's about where
Yeah,
things
me.
start to take a turn.
Yeah.
Has he already fought
What-
Zod?
Yeah, he fought. I think he
Yeah.
already fought Zod. Yeah.
This is the moment where when you're walking into the pool. This is the part where like your balls touch the water. You're like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Apparently, there's like 300 plus ish. Exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
No,
that's
but
all.
Gio, what do you
Long
think of what do you think of Donovan? What is your opinion of
Oh
Donovan? Gio?
no! Well, we're talking about Stonewall, so I think that was like
Well, he you could say that Guts got pretty stonewalled back then.
Was Donovan
He
the
got
hero of
pranked.
Berserk?
yeah.
he got pranked, dude.
Yeah, you got,
Yeah, it was just a prank.
He became a brag. Yeah, he became
Gay
a
sex
prison
prank
brag.
gone fucking illegal.
It was just a prank,
Got
bro.
illegal. Got illegal.
Oops,
No,
it
Donovan,
accidentally
that was
came.
like, I feel like it was, it went all like Kite Runner all of a sudden, and it was like, wow, that's kind of, that would never happen nowadays. You know, this like black gay dude is like, a
Well, is he
pizza
gay or
ass.
is he gay for the stay?
Or is he just a molester?
Yeah, these are tough times.
Yeah,
is
it's
he-
kinda
or is he
like-
just is he just like one of those like
Just
Bakabazi
I
enthusiasts
don't know
in
if you guys have
Afghanistan?
noticed,
That
Yeah,
have a
he's
weird-
like that
Sure,
probably.
there's just a
He's-
pussy shortage. There's a pussy shortage. Nobody's gay.
We got a shortage
Yeah,
of Panani out
yeah.
here, boys.
Well, the ancients,
I
thought
considered,
Griffith-
like
and
the
men-
Greeks, they didn't conceive it as an identity the way that we do. Like they had a different sort of.
Well, yeah, but that's
Well, for them it was Tuesday.
well, for
yeah.
them,
Taco. Well, not
Well,
Taco
no, a lot of
Tuesday,
people,
but,
a lot of people,
yeah.
they do like exaggerate. Like a lot of like scholars, like Martha Nussbaum, they like purposefully exaggerate like the homosexuality thing in ancient Greece. Like it was more, like it wasn't like there was still like a big like taboo that could potentially threaten your life if you were doing like actual like quote unquote sodomy. Like there was still a taboo around it.
Well, I mean, you know,
Wait,
usually
so they
when you're doing it out in the
supposedly use-
streets, people don't like that.
No, but they supposedly use the thighs, right? The
Yeah,
thighs, like the gap.
yeah, that was like it was
But so
more
they
of
didn't,
like
they didn't penetrate.
yeah, they had a big taboo against penetration. Yeah, basically.
So, Gio,
What is
can I
it?
use your
What the fuck
thighs
was
for
it?
a
It's like,
minute?
And it was never like a.
Did they fuck my thighs?
Oh,
Christos.
and
Give
it
me
was
some
never
thigh,
like a
honey.
continuous thing. It was more of like an old master like teaching a student type of thing.
Oh, and listen,
They had like a
nothing,
very
nothing,
negative opinion of women too. That's
Not-
probably
not-
what caused
nothing
it.
Well,
ever get-
who has a positive opinion of women? And these,
nothing-
you know,
nothing
Actually,
ever
believe
gets
it or not, the Spartans had a more favorable opinion of women than the
nothing
than the
ever
Athenians.
gets tzatziki stains out of clothing. This is a fucking mess.
Yeah,
all right.
That's true. That's true.
So they weren't so much having gay sex as they were just playing a really, really advanced version of gay chicken.
Kind of like it was kind of like yeah.
They
it
were
was
way
part of
into
the
thigh play.
instruction, Yeah, it was. But they say like certain Greek states they just outright forbid it. Like I think Sparta had a more like homophobic.
Yeah,
Don't
sure
quote
about
me
that?
on
I
it,
thought.
but
No, I thought. Have you seen their armor? It's like a Batman and Robin, directed by.
No,
Joel
sorry, not
Schumacher.
Sparta, but I think they had like there were some like scholars that try to do this thing like they had whole like gay like army divisions. There was a lot of it going around.
welcome to the army,
ranks.
buddies. Come on, we're gonna go
was
and
just
get
the
so
entire
Wait,
army.
isn't
many
that-
guys.
wait,
We're gonna
isn't that
kill
what,
everybody
Wait, isn't that what we call the Navy today?
yeah.
in the Navy?
Well, they were all shipmen.
Sell the seven thieves.
Oh, yes, rum sodomy in the lash.
On
yeah,
this
that
boat,
was-
we have all sorts of fun. Welcome to the good ship Lollipop.
All right. The first person to make a good poop joke gets to take a victory lap. All right. Now get to it.
Okay.
What?
Well, before we get to that,
I'm swabbing
I am
my
a-
poop deck.
My poop.
I,
My
oh
poop. My
God.
poop dick.
Oh no! I swabbed this poop
Oh
dick.
no!
Oh God. By the way, I am a
we
huge
need
fan
a
of.
gay guy on just to balance this homophobia.
Yeah.
out. We need.
Oh,
Yeah,
I mean, I
someone
was
call-
in musical
someone call
theater,
James.
fellas. Like, you know.
So, yeah, someone call intelligent friend Lev. He's probably up. It's alright.
Dude, I get called huge fag a lot, so I don't know.
Oh, yo, F slur!
Hey,
Yeah, I feel like that's
no.
a gamer word. We
So-
can't
so,
say that.
uh,
I get called it. It's
Cre-
allowed.
Cream of
Oh,
dog,
well, if
cream
you
of
got
dog.
called.
You are our placeholder until we get either an honest to god interior decorator or a sassy male hairdresser. Until then, you're our placeholder, homie. We appreciate that.
I'm gonna try to serve the gay community well as a representation
Excellent.
in the
Okay.
dog.
Join the
community.
As an
Navy.
example.
Mhm.
Well, there was that thing you wanted the Canadian goose to do, right? What was
Yeah,
that image with you?
I trained it to eat bread off of my ass in the park.
There we
Um,
go.
Oh, it's one of those
What?
geese.
Yeah, I was like shocked it didn't attack me, but they were very friendly.
Did you put the bread up your ass?
No, just over my
You know, I've
pants.
noticed their necks look a lot like dicks.
That is true, dude. If you lubed up
What
a
the
goose's
fuck?
head,
You know, a lot of people don't know this, but
Oh
the
my
ancient
God.
Greeks would train geese to eat things out of their ass too.
Well, they had a whole like, didn't Zeus turn into a goose to?
Yeah,
A
he
swan.
turned into a
He
that
goose,
one
swan.
girl.
a swan,
Goose,
and
goose,
he
yeah.
He would
had his
turn into
way
a
with
goose when he went to
Lita.
get poos.
Yeah, she was. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
she was a furry. Well, is there a furry equivalent of like going after birds?
The
They have
Minotaurs.
that?
But no, but he
Minotaurs.
Zeus also turned into gold, and he impregnated a
Golden
woman.
shower. That was
Yeah.
another one. Yeah, he impregnated
He
a
was
woman.
a real sicko.
Yeah.
Real, real disgusting individual.
But the fascinating
real sicko
thing.
type stuff I'm talking about. He's pissing all
We've got the documents. We've got the photographs.
That was like, what did Alex Jones call Marina Abramovic? A demonic red dress pig woman.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
Are you threatening me?
You threaten me right now?
You're
You
not
goddamn
threatening
fucker!
me,
I'll
son
kick
of
your
a
ass,
bitch.
you goddamn fucker! Like
What
something
is-
about Alex Jones swearing is like
Yes, it's so good.
where he called the guy an archetypal cocksucker.
What is
You're an
what
You're
is
an
the name?
archetypal cocksucker.
You went fucking Jungian on him, dude.
What is
Are you an
What is the-
artisanal cocksucker?
what is
Locally
the
sourced?
what is that? What is that? No animals are harmed in the making of this cocksucker. Chemical additive free. You could get it at the farmer's market.
Oh, this is
Well, I
organic.
mean, I
Is
think
this
we're safe,
cocksucker
like,
organic?
Oh, just holy
I think-
from the soil itself.
Wait, Gio, what did you say about us being safe?
I think we're safe. I mean, because technically Jules is bisexual, so that's probably going to cover us.
Is he?
Wait,
We've been
technically,
trying to pull that out of him for a while.
technically, what do you even mean by technically?
Well,
It's either
it's technicality. It's like
He
I
like
don't
brushed
know.
balls with somebody.
You know, it's like you
during
say
a
you're
threesome.
bisexual, but you mostly go with women. It's or men or like I don't know. You know, chicks they say
Yeah,
they're
most
sexual. and
bisexual people tend to lean more one way or the other
Yeah.
than
it's like
dabble
how
a
it's
bit.
like how these women now they say that they're like non-binary, but like they go with
Yeah.
NBs.
only.
They want to look. They
only
want
go
that
with
Moshe
guys.
Kosher, Rebecca Sugar look.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a lot of that. Like it's a weird look that they go for.
Yeah.
Oh,
J.J.
what you call
Abrams.
them? What?
J.J. Abrams has that same look.
Oh, you mean well, in terms of like non-binary women,
Like
you
three
mean like
milk type of like
you-
eternally young, eternally old type of look.
you mean like quirky third-rate wannabe art hoe with a bad haircut?
Oh,
Because whenever a woman says non-binary, that's the first thing that
the
comes to
art
mind.
hoe, yeah.
They're
like-
non-binary.
There it is.
Boo-boo babes.
Dude,
All right, I don't
Non-binary.
think I'm gonna come up with a better joke than that today.
That's pretty good.
Oh, that's pretty
good.
good. Yeah, it's like, well, prove that you're non-binary. Oh no, I don't have to prove anything to you because you're a cis male. So it's yeah.
Oh, I'm not a cis male.
I'm not. I'm a lesbian.
According
so
to
that's-
that Dungeons and Dragons Discord I'm in,
Mhm.
that lets you pick your pronouns. I picked other. They had all
So-
these other bullshit pronouns there, and
wonder
they had
if
one that
Charles
said
is,
other.
And my
Tumbles the
gender is
Dragon.
goblin dick.
They
not-
had
not-
other,
not
and I
Dungeons
just was
and
like, well, I'm gonna
Dragons,
be
Tumbles
other,
the
and if
Dragon.
they ask me, I'll tell them it's bastard.
Yeah.
Charles, have you heard of Tumbles the Stair Dragon?
Tumbles of Stair Dragon.
The Stair Dragon.
What is? I'm afraid to ask, Gio.
You've never heard of Tumbles the Stair Dragon?
Is it like Messy Tales?
It's kind of like
Oh,
on the
God
level of
damn
Messy
it.
Tales.
Yeah, I feel well. If it listen, I've been laughing about Messy Tales since I found out about Messy Tales. Messy Tales is one of the funniest fucking things. Like I'm gonna start laughing. I'm gonna start laughing trying to talk about Messy Tales because it's that
Well,
fucking funny.
there was a new video that Wang ended
There
up
was an
making
update.
recently.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
an update on
I
Messy
have
Tales.
to watch that still, but just I don't care.
Oh,
what
just
spoilers
real-
It
just
is.
real
happen.
quick-
It is.
real
It is the
quickly.
funniest fucking thing you're ever gonna see because, like, I'm having a hard time not
Is
giggling.
Messy Tales even real though? Like,
Oh,
is
yeah.
it-
As
is
a-
it guys
well,
just
somebody
LARPing?
Yeah.
somebody was smearing shit all over themselves and eating it.
No, I know. Yeah, it's probably. I mean, coprophagia is a known fetish, but like a furry, like messy, like I don't know. I see. It seems like one of those things that's too outrageous to be true, but it probably is true. I don't know.
Well, you know, the truth is stranger than fiction.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Cream of Dog, there's another image that I was sharing on the left stream before, which I gotta share with you if I find it. Hold on.
Not Messy
Oh.
Tales.
Well, related to it, but hold
All
on.
right, word,
Let's
word.
see. let's see. I'm trying to put in the right word. It doesn't work over here. Hold on.
I wonder if Messy Tales. I'm trying to think of a funny joke.
But by the way,
Something with Hero the Wolf.
By the way, a big ups to Justin Wang because he got verified on Twitter recently.
Yeah, I saw that. Somebody was
Nice.
talking about that,
Yeah.
about verified. I was like, oh, when did Wayne get verified?
Now he can tweet things that are objectively untrue without fear of
Yeah,
of
he's
reprisal.
got.
Hell
he
yeah.
just got a new deal with Aleister Black. I'm gonna put him over again. He got a new deal with the wrestler Aleister Black.
No
clothing
fucking
line,
way,
Black
really?
Mass. Yeah.
Wow.
So
What are
there's
they
an
doing
official
together?
Wang Black Mass shirt out there.
Oh, whoa.
Everybody go like and buy or whatever.
That's
Buy and wear. There you go.
Mm. Oh, by the way, this was the thing that I was looking for, and finally
Dope
I
shirt.
found it. So I'm gonna share this with Cream of Dog because he hasn't seen it before. This is the fur tile. What do you think of that?
Oh man, this isn't real?
I can't
No,
see
but
it.
Cream of
wanted
Dog.
to-
Cream of Dog. I don't think you realize what you walked into in terms of Lev's artistic creativity. Because
Yeah.
listen, one of these days, and Lev, I mean this sincerely, without a hint of irony. Okay, with the cat
Lev's
tiles,
puns, yeah.
but especially the cat drone. Listen. I'll DM you this, but this is something I written just for you. All right, Lev.
Okay.
The man who believes that the secrets of the world are forever hidden lives in mystery and fear. Superstition will drag him down. The rain will erode the deeds of his life. But that man who sets himself the task of singling out the thread of cat milk from the tapestry of humanity will, by the decision alone, have taken charge of the world. And it is only by taking such charge that he will affect the way to dictate the terms of his own fate. All right? Cat milk.
Yeah, I was
why.
trying not
Cat
to yawn
milk.
through that one too, man.
I will
man.
even put it in chat for the delicious ladies and jerks because honestly, Lev, I hope a painting of a drone assisting in cat milk operations is hung in some insane rich person's house. I really do.
I mean,
And that-
somebody out there
yeah.
has the bread to buy these NXTs, and I'm afraid to
NFTs.
see. I'm afraid to see what Lev does when he animates it.
Well, this
NFTs.
is okay. This is Pure Reminder. Pure Reminder is still on sale. Cream of Dog. I wanted to share this with you as well. If you haven't seen this one before, so
He's
this
gonna
is-
make
They're
those
gonna
great.
have an NXT takeover Tel Aviv.
He's
That-
gonna make those the horse guy's titties like wiggle around and bounce and
Yes.
stuff, aren't you?
Hey.
Yes, absolutely, I am. And those, by the way, you can find on Super Rare.
NXTs.
So I'm
Super Rare.
on Super Rare, superrare.co/Lev Polyakov. I'm posting the link right now. Hashtag
YoloSwag has
invest.
to have NFTs.
Absolutely,
Nah,
yeah.
I
YoloSwag,
don't- I don't
what's
have
going on,
any.
buddy?
I don't know. There was that big fight. Everyone was like fighting about them, and I was just like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
Count
rather not get
Dankula just
involved.
made 7,000 off of his balls. He sold them as an NFT.
Oh,
hell
God.
yeah.
You know,
Nice. Well, does
Made
that
me
make him a
want
eunuch
to
now?
wonder what my balls are worth.
Nuts fucking tucked.
I probably.
Hell yeah.
How much you
I
think?
probably like.
Gio, how much you think your balls are worth?
Well, they're probably bigger than like not. I'm not metaphorically. I mean like physically. They're probably bigger.
You've
than-
got grapefruits
than-
compared to lemons.
Yeah, I got the. What's the skin? I got a lot of skin down there.
Oh, you got a lot of skin.
Yeah, I
Well,
got a
some
pretty
guys
huge
like
sack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
got
just
the-
like
you got the
Nassim
nut-
Taleb,
you got
you've
the
got a
nut
lot
pussy.
of skin in the game.
Yeah, skin in the game. I don't know. I mean, that's like, yeah, it's.
He's one of those thick-skinned gamers we're always hearing about.
Oh, like that. Remember that one part in Superbad where he's like, I was drawing a thick, veiny bastard. Remember it? Like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
movie would never get made nowadays. Obviously.
Yeah, I really need to ask him if he's gay. Like, at
Wait,
some point,
who
Seth
directed-
Rogen's gonna DM me.
Yeah.
No, you know what you should do? You should tell him, you know how I know you're gay? Because your name's Seth Rogen.
Oh! Who is the kid, the fat guy? Like, what's his name?
Well, he's not fat anymore.
He's not fat anymore.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I remember. Oh man, Jonah Hill. Like
No, I thought he's fat again, isn't he? Didn't he go
he's
like,
like
fattened
fat,
up?
skinny fat. He's skinny fat.
I'd say he's one of those guys. He probably went down from chonker to chunky.
Yeah.
No, well, first he went down to the extent that he wasn't
Just from chud to
technically fat
stud.
anymore, but he decided, you know what, I'm not gonna, this is
Technically
too much.
fat.
This is too much to maintain. So
yeah,
we
he's
kinda,
still.
like,
It's hard.
It's like,
it's
I
hard
want to
to
eat
get
some
rid of-
pizza. I ain't doing
Yeah.
this shit.
Yeah,
exactly.
it's hard to get rid of the tits.
Yeah. You know what I really want to eat though? I want to eat that Jewish bread. What is it called? Like the
I thought you
challah
were gonna say you
bread.
wanted to eat a Jewish broad.
Aw, shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
who
that too,
doesn't?
but-
Who doesn't, bro?
No, what is it
I
called?
have no idea
Nyan
how
bread.
wonderful
That's-
it is to eat the IDF soldier woman pussy.
I eat out the IDF.
Well, Bronze Age pervert said, don't get fooled because they bring in like Ukrainian and Russian Jewish models to do those shoots. When in actuality, like the average IDF woman doesn't look.
They're
that
just
way.
The average IDF woman looks like
You
she's
mean
got a face that could
Israel
knock a
would do
pistol off a
something?
meat wagon.
She looks
that
like
is
Gila
sneaky
Klein.
and lying?
Are you insinuating that God's chosen people would not be entirely honest?
Yeah,
Oh!
Gio.
Oh my
lordy,
god!
lordy.
The stream gets worse and worse as we go on.
You're trying
No,
to
they
tell
look
me
like- they
that
look like
Israel is a
Gila
bunch of
Klein.
liars?
Didn't Gila have another kid, or what happened with that?
I thought they only had one.
Buff is saying in the chat that you don't actually have big nuts, Gio. He's saying you're lying about your big nuts.
Well, I'm not gonna show and tell, but
I
like,
am a little disappointed. No one has
Listen,
yet to reference
little
come
known
on, Gio.
secret, fat dudes do have more ball mass. than
I
the average
am
guy.
a little
Yeah,
disappointed.
fat is
no
stored
one-
in the balls.
Yeah,
I am
fat is balls.
I am a little disappointed. No one has referenced Balls Mahoney or that song by AC/DC. You
Yeah.
fucking amateurs, come on.
Yeah, dog, are you
Yeah,
a
you know that song by
WWF guy or a
you
WCW
Thunderballs.
guy?
or an AEW guy. Oh god.
I mean, there's some guys that are ECW guys.
No, I'm AEW guy. It's kind of like. Are they
Out of
rip
curiosity
guy?
though, how does BAP know that they bring in the foreign Russian
Well,
women?
he's got friends everywhere. He's got
Oh,
friends
sure he
got-
does. I've got friends everywhere too, and they say
Yeah.
he's full of shit.
Yeah.
I've got friends everywhere is the equivalent of trust me, bro.
Yeah.
No, there are
Trust
just
No,
like
but come on,
everywhere
it's
else.
true though. They
Dude,
probably.
trust me.
Why? How do you know that's true?
I mean, every military gets in models to. Why are you skeptical of this?
Yeah, remember when America had Pat Tillman?
Well, yeah, even
That
America
worked out
has
well.
like, yeah, except for America. America, they have like hideous creaturas that like go up there and do like the recent CIA one where they got the guy with the bullnose ring, the septum piercing, and it's like, dude,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I'm just waiting for them to bring in that avocado guy into the military. What's his name?
Mikado?
Avocado.
Yeah, that's
Nico-
who we need
Nick,
running the CIA. The guy that takes it up the ass for money.
Exactly.
Dude, seeing his hole on the timeline is terrible. Yeah, dude, he has an OnlyFans.
Yeah,
Oh
he's
my
a big gay
Wait,
porn
would you say
star.
like is he the new Goat Say man? You know, it should be
Maybe.
like master disciple. Where,
I legitimately as funny as it is, like as you know, it's funny to make fun of a guy like a lol cow to like milk the Jule. Like I think that's like legit like mental issues going on there.
Dude, what did you milk the what?
Yeah, I
That's
thought.
the term.
Bro, I thought you
Jule.
said milk the
Anti-Semitic.
Jew. I was like, dog.
No,
What?
No, I'm not Borat over
No,
here.
that's gonna happen
The
with
writing of the
Geo's. No, that's gonna happen with
Dude.
Geo's IDF girlfriend. He's gonna be milking the.
You're gonna milk a bitch.
Abby Shapiro, bro.
Yeah.
Abby
has our
Shapiro.
milk.
Oh, that's the best part about coming back to Twitter is that I'm not blocked by her anymore.
Dude, I'm
I get to be
blocked by
blocked
her.
all over again.
By who?
Abby Shapiro.
Ben Shapiro's big titty
Classic
sister.
Why do people? I think it's just a meme. Like she's
Oh, no, they're
cute and
legitimate
everything, but
giants.
she's not like that. Like I've seen other Jewish
Dude, her
women.
breasts.
Not
They
her.
are
Her magnificent
It's like
breasts.
smuggling watermelons everywhere.
No,
she
listen.
goes.
You want Kazar milkers?
I do.
90s era Mia Kirchner. Those are real Kazar.
Yeah, but bro, I don't have a
she
time
makes
machine.
fucking. In terms of Jew broads, she makes
Jew
Abby
broads.
Jew
Shapiro.
broads, dog.
No,
In
Geo.
terms of Abby Shapiro, Mia Kirchner makes her look like fucking Golda Meir, okay?
Ooh. Geo is just the modern day version. Like he's probably like one of his ancestors was probably Tommy from Goodfellas, going like, I've been trying to date this Jew broad for 3
Trying to
months.
take this Jew broad, huh?
I can't believe it. A Jew broad. Discrimination against the talent.
In this day and age, fucking Henry, can you
Called
believe
me a
it?
Dago Guinea. Can you believe this?
I thought I could fucking convince a family that I was Jewish because of my big fucking nose, but I ain't buying it.
I got all this
I
fucking
can't
money
believe
for
this
nothing.
day age prejudice against Italians. A Jew broad, prejudice.
There had
against
to be like
Italians.
one guy that happened to in Germany, right? Like one fucking Italian guy with a big nose who just got like he got wheeled off with the rest of the.
You know, Italians.
Hey,
we
I'm telling
actually,
you guys, I don't believe in any of this shit.
He comes back. He comes back like he's one of the survivors. Gets back home. His mom's just like, "Bambino, you need to eat. You're so skinny."
Well, Italians actually in the
God.
pecking order, we actually were only like second up to the Jews and the Romas and the other ones that got, because what happened was when Italy fell, Hitler considered the Italians traitors.
Yeah.
So they put us in prison camps, the Italian military. My grandfather actually spent 2 years in a German prison camp until he was farmed off to
How many people did he execute?
No, he didn't do any of that because he was a mechanic in the Italian Air Force. So what happened was the SS, he was going home when Mussolini fell, and the SS came on the train and it was all over. So he spent a little bit of time.
Oh yeah, they fucked up. They fucked up
yeah.
Italians.
Did he ever meet?
They considered us
Colonel
traitors.
Klink?
That's why
Yeah.
But he actually got up pretty lucky compared to his friends because he was a farmer. So he went to a nice older couple in Hamburg, I believe, on a farm, and so he got to eat regularly, and they appreciated him. But his friends, they went to the factories. Oh my god, they got fucked.
I'm kind of a part of me just wants to imagine like a case of mistaken identity, and like an Italian guy gets hauled off to the camps, but even though like you hear like misery whenever he's on camera, you just
have you guys not watched La Vita Bella? This actually happened.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
That's a great movie.
You've never watched Beauty of Life?
I have not. No, I'm
god!
Is that the guy he has to entertain his son?
Yeah.
I caught some of that one.
I'm an uncultured slob who don't know shit about shit. I live under a rock.
But
yeah,
I love how I just said. I just like you could clip it. If I had balls and I like didn't appreciate my account.
Well, we just established you had big
it.
balls.
But I would say that 90s Mia Kirchner makes Abby Shapiro look like Golda Meir.
Yeah, that's a pretty good quote right there. That's
pretty good quote right
what we call a money quote.
It's a cheap heat quote. Yeah. Oh man. But
So guys, I think we may be ending this pretty soon, just because I'm
we've talked about
hungry.
The biggest titties in all of Israel.
Well, these are the biggest titties in my picture over here.
The problem with Abby Shapiro is her side profile. She doesn't have a good side profile.
You know what the real problem with Abby Shapiro is? She doesn't like us.
Yeah, she hates us. Yeah.
That's the best knob right now. That's her problem.
Seems like a nice
girl.
No,
who is us? I can meet her. I mean, is she living in New York City? Maybe I'll meet her and bring her on BTR. How about that?
Yeah.
The problem with her is she's got like
do a Howard Stern version of BTR when you bring her.
Hey, what's going on there? We heard all about your big titties, Abby Shapiro.
Yeah, Howard Stern BT.
Hey, Miss Shapiro, you got these big Kazar milkers, huh?
You know what,
Robin? Have you heard about these milkers? No, Howard.
People on the internet, I can imagine like Jerry Springer, like people on the internet, they talk a lot about your Kazar milkers, and it's really unfair.
Yeah, what's the deal with those big milkers you got there?
Now
put her on.
And then like Ben Shapiro comes out, and like Abby's husband plays with Ben Shapiro.
Have you heard about these big Kazar milkers?
Jamie, can you pull up Kazar milkers?
Jamie, pull that shit up.
I crashed my car the other day. I was riding around in my McLaren F1, and
that might be one of my new favorite memes. It's one of those ones. It's like, oh man, it's probably got one hate symbol too many in it.
you know what? I'm kind of hoping.
But it's
for
the
like a
Jamie
Howard
pull
Stern.
this shit up.
What did Buff say? Abby's smaller than Ben. I don't know. Like Ben Shapiro, he probably does have some man titties going on there.
I'd like the picture on a Howard Stern appearance. Howard would be like, so I mean, like to me, they look more like jugs. And the studio has called them chest zeppelins, fun bags.
What's the deal with these big titties you've got?
We want to settle this dispute.
Right. But you're going with milkers. Explain.
Yeah.
They try to get Abby Shapiro to ride the Sabian 90s Howard Stern.
Hey, come on, why don't you ride the Sabian? Come on.
Oh, Abby, how about you try to go?
Hey, Abby.
She would never.
Just crank it all the way
up. How
up.
about you go to Scores with us?
Do you guys think that Ben Shapiro actually has sex though with his wife, or is it just cope?
I don't think he has sex. Period.
I don't think
Oh,
he
I
has
don't
a
think he has
penis.
sex.
Ben Shapiro is gonna have to whip it out and
they
prove to
botched his
me
bris.
once and for all. Prove to America that he does indeed.
They botched
have a
his bris.
penis.
That's why he's so short, dude. He never got the fucking like testosterone. Like they
Yeah,
just
they-
accidentally
yeah,
castrated him,
Yeah.
and that's why
He
he's a
could have
midget.
he could have been the great singing star.
Well,
you know, with
that's
that
why he
voice.
chose
Been a
violin
castrato.
instead. That's castrato.
Ooh.
Oh,
That's why
He's the. I mean, he's the castrato of debate.
The best
I
is
wanna
like
be
the
the George
Come Town one
Costanza
with
of
Ben
debate.
Shapiro. Like,
I want to be the George can't stand you debate.
Can't stand you.
is Jason Alexander? What is he ethnically?
He's
is
based.
He's Jewish.
Jewish?
Oh yeah, he's a
But
Jay.
then like he pretended to be Italian, so then it's like.
Well, there's Italian Jays.
What if he
I love
was
that.
Italian?
I love that
What if he
episode of
was Italian?
Seinfeld. You remember that episode of Seinfeld when George became the leader of the Aryan nation?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, that.
Oh,
Hey, you know,
God.
mistakes happen.
My favorite before Paul after Paul was that image like George Costanza.
Oh
like,
yes.
the meme with the bat and like shigging, and then like the next one is like the leader of the Aryan Nation. But the best, one of my favorite ones.
Then
too,
there's
before-
also the JonTron one. You
the
remember with
JonTron
him
one,
and the
but
SS?
also the PewDiePie one with the Nazi that looks exactly like PewDiePie, but like he's got two broads, two like Aryan women on his arm. You know that one? That's pretty cool.
I
But,
gotta take a look at that.
We gotta
Hey,
get. Do you think we
You
should
know,
get?
I'm confused. Though. Why
Can-
do they
can-
call them
we should-
broad? Why do they call them broads? They're so skinny. They're all skinny as hell. Why do they call them broads?
Yeah, what's the
Have you
deal
heard
with
about
these?
this?
You like these chunky girls, but they're more chalkers.
Yeah.
Are you
You
trying
know,
to do
what's
Italian
the
or
deal?
Jewish? I
What's
can't
the
tell.
deal
It's
getting
New
put
York,
in?
I
Leno.
can't tell. Oh, Jay
Jay
Leno.
Leno.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wait,
we're
is
still
Jay
Jay
Leno-
Leno now.
Wait, is Jay Leno
he got a little
Jewish
bit of
or-
I
pussy.
think he's
yeah, he's
Italian and
Jewish.
Jewish.
He's Jewish.
No, it has nothing to do with any of that. We're just making fun of how shitty of a comedian he is.
Oh yeah, he's pretty bad.
You know, back in his day as a comedian, he was actually the edgy, funny guy.
Kind of
Yeah,
like Andrew Dice Clay, but
no one ever brings up how like Leno's stand-up in the late 70s and early 80s
Was good.
even he was according to comics he was amazing, and even his appearances on like David Letterman's show
Yeah.
in the early 80s, like he was fucking
Oh, he was funny as shit.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Pull up
so
that YouTube videos of that and watch it all.
and
And then when he sells his soul to like Doritos, he's a fucking
Yeah.
good
Dude,
cool
we're doing
ranch.
Bill
he is.
Hicks now.
yeah
Well, look at also what happened with the. With the well, look at what happened with the Man Show, where they used to have this segment where Jimmy Kimmel and Adam Carolla
fuck.
had. They
Yeah.
were they had a little table in California, and they were asking women to fight against women's suffrage, end women's suffrage.
That's a funny
And,
bit. That's a funny
yes.
bit.
But now looking at the fucking moralizer that Jimmy Kimmel's become,
The
I mean,
fucking husk of a being that he once
Yeah.
was.
yeah,
shallow,
I mean,
soulless piece of
Corolla
shit.
remained the same. Corolla's exactly like the.
I'm gonna
way
remake
he
the
was.
Man Show with both of them, and it's gonna be called the Person Show.
Yeah, welcome to the Person Show.
remake the Man Show with
always
just,
wanted to
Adam
see-
Carolla and Tim Dillon.
I always wanted
I
to
want to remake the Man Show with Jimmy Kimmel and someone holding Jimmy Kimmel like hostage at gunpoint.
I want to do an all-female
Frank
Jackass
Castle
reboot,
would be
but we
like
call it
holding
we
Jimmy
call it
Kimmel.
bitch ass.
I want to remake the Man Show, but just have it hosted by two trans men.
Oh,
Elliot Page.
Elliot Page, and
Powerful.
yeah,
How about
Elliot-
Chaz Bono? We'll pull them
Chaz
out.
Bono and
Yeah,
Elliot Page will host
perfect.
the Man Show.
Beautiful. There it is.
Another segment I liked is the Man Show Boy. There was
Oh,
this,
yeah, that's
Don't you
funny.
hate
Remember
it
there
when
was
you're
that one?
don't you
Goes
hate
up
it when
to
your
30-year-old
fucking
women.
penis
He's like, "Hey, I gotta
guys?
help some. I gotta help old ladies cross the street."
yeah.
Oh my god.
And those chicks
That
that are
was
like in
amazing.
the mid-20s, or like 30. They're like, "I'm not old." It's like, "Yeah, you are. You're old, honey, and I'm gonna help you cross the street to get my merit badge."
You know what's funny? Like the whole. Do you remember like the Simpsons behind the scenes episode? They would like never do that now because speaking of trans men, they did the bit where the reason that they stayed young is because they gave them hormone blockers, like puberty blockers.
Oh.
They would never do that bit like
No.
modern Simpsons in a million
They had a
years.
gag on there. I want to say it was the same episode where they showed off Matt Groening, and he's got an eye patch and a big
Yeah.
rebel flag and a gun.
Yeah.
And he's well known for inserting his right-wing views into every episode.
I think like they would probably, the only way they could do it is if like, I don't know, they had like a friend that was like trans and like was on puberty blockers. That was the only way they could do that bit nowadays. Like modern,
but then
like,
it's not even a good
Simpsons.
bit anymore.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
not
it
even
is The Simpsons. The last really good bit on The Simpsons was they had Mr. Burns donated to Harvard, and the people there were robots.
Yeah.
And they were
like,
misgendered or
woke
something,
scolds,
and it shut like the robots. It broke their brains. They couldn't handle microaggressions.
So,
That was funny.
I was at a party. Andy Millen. What is Andy Milanakis doing recently?
He's a Twitch streamer.
Yeah.
But does he still do it? Like, is he still getting creeped on by people?
Far as I know, he's one of those guys who walks around doing goofy shit with people.
Oh man,
dude,
I have a friend who has.
Did you guys ever catch the phase when it was him, the Three Loco phase? Him, Riff Raff, and Dirt Nasty. They had a rap group.
Oh.
Dude,
I seen some where it was him and he had like a big dude with him, and they would hang out and do goofy shit with people. They just walk around the streets like going to bars. And...
Didn't like one guy thought he was like a legit kid and started like this creepy like cheese pizza person came up to him and like tried to chat him up. Remember that?
Yes. Yes.
That was fucking creepy.
I think that might have been on a live stream, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Like,
that was on his IRL streams.
oh,
Apparently, like, that's funny because apparently, the recent like IRL Baked Alaska stream with Chaggett, like Chaggett's trying to like defend himself from like he's like I'm not a cheese pizza person, guys, and then like they get into a fight and like Baked Alaska totally like finesses the cops to get out of it. I've never seen this. Either
Wait,
he's like
what is Baked Alaska doing not in jail? Isn't he
I know, eh?
What's going on?
So,
yeah,
why
it does
did the
seem a little
cops arrest
suspect.
Baked Alaska admitted that his friend was driving drunk, that Chaggett was like being aggressive and violent, that they beat each other up, but yet he finessed the cops to the point where, I shit you not, look at the clip, go to PPP's channel, Daka, where they break it down. Baked Alaska gets the phone number of this female cop. I've never seen this.
Wait, what?
Hilarious.
Okay,
he asked
so
out the cop that was pulling him over?
Yes, yeah. So
Wow.
they called the cops on Chaggett, but then by any metric, any reasonable cop would not let this severely autistic like guy go in the car again with Baked Alaska and his friend Woozy, right? By any metric. But they let Chaggett go with him. Then they have another fight, so they have to call the cops again. But Baked Alaska basically, either he has a golden tongue, these cops are totally inept and stupid, or he's a glow in the dark. So one of the three.
I mean, look at what happened with the Capitol. You know, he
Also,
was right there.
it could all be
there
a
was
work,
a photo.
Gio. It could all have been fake. It could have been a gal who dressed as a cop who was pretending to be a cop.
No, there was too many cop cars for this to be a work. Like, he doesn't make that much money.
You know, I don't understand like why don't they don't take like the people with like the like hormonal diseases like Andy Milanakis, right? Like the people that just look young forever. Why don't they just like get the rich people to fuck them instead?
Yeah.
Then it's not pedophilia. Right?
And maybe they just can't. They know that he's fake. They know he's really like 35.
Yeah,
they
know
this
that.
doesn't
Yeah,
work.
it's too.
Yeah, but like, I mean, who else is fucking those people? Like aside because like unless you're doing a bit, like,
cleans up. I bet you Andy cleans up.
It's kind of like midget porn. Don't you think it's kind of sus when like I don't know? It's kind of.
Yeah, you're just pretending to fuck a toddler.
Yeah, it's like, oh man. Like,
So you guys are sitting here telling me that you don't like Bridget the Midget?
Oh, I like Bridget the Midget. I like Bridget the Midget.
You don't like Hornswoggle?
So, guys, I think we're gonna be concluding just because I've been standing up for an incredibly long amount of time,
bro,
and I got.
Yeah, I always forget that he's got that standing desk.
Yeah, see, I'm standing this whole
always
time.
Like he's suffering so much for his art.
But now I know. But now I'm gonna be thinking about Bridget the Midget after we conclude.
All right,
this
think
while
about
I'm
Bridget
gonna
the
eat.
Midget having Shaq's baby.
There we go.
Or
would it be a normal sized man or would it be little?
Bridget the Midget.
Or would it be big?
It's like that South Park episode where they had an elephant and a pig.
Apparently, Bridget the Midget's in jail.
What?
Yeah. Apparently.
What did Bridget the Midget do?
This is from 2019. Faces
Tried to
jail
reach
over
for the cookie
Titanic
jar.
tantrum. Yeah. Apparently,
Well,
she,
who among us
freaked
hasn't
out.
had a tantrum?
Bridget, real name Shirley Murphy, was arrested in Las Vegas last month after neighbor reported hearing screams. So apparently she was like all on drugs and started getting.
You mean a porn star was doing drugs?
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
Oh my stars!
More than 70 sex flicks since retiring. She has performed as a stripper and giving. Oh my god. Oh, bro.
Poor Bridget.
That's a good down. That's a good downer to end it on.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
What a good.
All right, guys.
I found out Mercedes Carrera is still in the pen too.
Is she what? Oh yeah, could she be? Nobody. It's funny how like all the old Gamergate people do, like they don't talk about her for obvious reasons, but like the whole cheese pizza thing. But yeah, apparently she's still in jail. Remember when she was like this? Oh man, it's so crazy. Like what? Like 2016 is a total dead zone now. I don't know.
Yeah, is everybody just like completely lost all credibility?
Yep, all of them.
Everybody on all sides. Everybody's worthless.
Anita unironically won. She just had to wait long enough.
Yeah, like
What about,
Medicare's barely around, isn't he?
Yeah, Medicare. Like,
does he have a?
He's
having
some health issues, I thought.
He's got a
yeah,
like Hodgkin's type lymphoma. Yeah, he's got.
Yeah, let's end the stream with a nice prayer for Medicare to get well, and then go off on everybody's ass
give
again.
him those super berries, sweetie squad. You know. Yeah.
Yes. So guys, this is the end of the stream. I just want to plug everybody. So, of course, we have Cream of Dog, YoloSwagStudios, one of my favorite favorite comic artists of all time. And I just love the expression on your dog's avatar. Just like that chilled out face and just like
with that big joint.
Yeah, but also the other expressions of that dog character, just like the one that I have inside of your cup on the thumbnail, you know, just like those two beady eyes, just look at like there's just something about the way that you draw that character that just it's wonderful. I love it.
Thank you.
And here I'm going to put it into BTR chat. Everybody follow Cream of Dog YoloSwagStudios on Twitter if you had not done so yet. And then of course Mysterious Cat, please follow Catherine Brodsky on Twitter right over here. And of course we have the great Masked Bastard.
Yeah.
Mask Bastard. By the way, Masked Bastard, have you ever seen, since you're a Ninja Turtle fan, have you ever seen Green Lovers by Sick Animation?
I don't know if I saw Green Lovers.
Oh man,
I don't know if I know that one, but I do live streams all every weekday in the afternoons. Probably be going pretty hard this week, doing lots of video games and holding court, being silly. So if everybody likes to want to stay in Charles World, it's twitch.tv/Charles Con.
I gotta come on one of your streams. It would totally destroy your.
Yes.
Totally get banned from Twitch by then.
And
well,
by the way, Charlie.
No, we're playing on Twitch right now. BTR.
It's gonna happen sooner than later. Like I want to have the boys, the BTR Dungeons and Dragons crossover at some point.
By the way, Charlie is the best goddamn dungeon master I can recall in years. My friend Monoxus and I, who I make stuff with, and we throw on.
Shout out to Monoxus.
Big ups to Monoxus.
Yeah,
listen,
our guy.
Who is hosting this stream while away?
What a pal! What a pal! What a pal!
Monoxus and I play D&D with Charlie. We are one of the 3 campaign CDMs, and seriously, if you haven't played D&D, fix your shit and play it with Charlie. Best time you're not having.
Yes. And over here, of course, Jefferson Poland. Thank you so much, Jefferson Poland, for coming in here, brother. I love the avatar of. It's like a fat. Who is like the?
It's me. It's me. I took the face app fat filter and put it on like 10 times.
Nice.
Nice. Kind of look like me.
It's how I see myself in the mirror until I hit my.
I mean, I am kind of curious. Would Gio applying the fat filter be like John Malkovich going through his own tunnel and being John Malkovich?
Oh my god! That's the most nuanced fat joke I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's
a good
that's
one.
Harsh. That's mean.
That's pretty good though.
It would be
of all the things
like
that we're gonna get banned for. Of all the things we're gonna get banned and deplatformed for, that's gonna be the one.
Let's see.
It would be like if they remade Tropic Thunder, but they had Jamie Foxx. Was he in Tropic Thunder?
Jamie Foxx.
No, he wasn't.
No, Jamie Foxx was not in there.
He was involved in Tropic Thunder.
But Robert Downey Jr. was such a convincing black man that he kind of looked like Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
So,
No, but Jamie Foxx was involved in Tropic. Anyway,
but guys, I love how really quickly.
I'll drop the joke. It's fucking done.
Oh, sorry, shit.
I lost the moment. I lost the rhythm of it. It doesn't matter now.
No, go ahead.
No, it's not gonna because I fucked it up. It wasn't your fault. I fucked up.
Oh,
yeah.
I was just gonna say it's funny because I've been calling Israel an apartheid state for an hour, but Lev makes one fat joke and everyone's like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, how dare he?
How dare you? You fucking bastard!
Don't you know words can hurt? Words are violence. Words are violence.
If there's anything Monoxus and I try to reiterate when we stream on Twitch is that words mean things, ladies and jerks. All right.
That's right.
Words mean things.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
all right.
Friendly
next
action
we have
Charles.
Next we have Stain Hain 718 TV. Go and follow him and go to twitch.tv/Monoxus. This is where
if you want
Stain
some of the best tweeting, go and follow Stain Haynes.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He took my advice when I told him if you want to get retweeted by people, just post good stuff.
Listen. If you want the best public access television, you're not watching. Come on down to youtube.com/718TV. Subscribe. God forbid anything happens to you before the end of the year, so you can live on through your Google account. Okay.
Hell yeah. And over here, of course, we have twitch.tv/LevPolyakov, DLive/LevPolyakov. I don't know why it says Brittany Venti over here. That's a mistake. That's not what the stream is. No, that's fine.
She left such an impression, you just couldn't get rid of her.
Exactly. I'm going to have to edit that title. I'm not really sure why that's what it says over here. But,
Lev, she's single now. You live in New York. She lives in New York. Can I make it more obvious?
Come on, Lev. You got a motor.
She was a girl, and he was a guy. Could I make it any more obvious?
Yeah, he was a girl, maybe, and she was a guy, maybe.
And with that, follow me on Twitter.
You're both POCs,
What if he was non-binary?
Here we go.
More like non-binary. All right.
That's
yours, Charlie.
Well, both Lev and Brittany Venti are POCs, so that could, work out.
Yes, person of cool.
Person of cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right, guys.
It's one of those things like gender roles, pizza rolls, not gender roles type of thing.
Pizza rolls.
Oh, man, I'm hungry enough as it is. Can you talk
pizza
about
rolls and gender rolls.
Man, I'm both hungry and sleepy, but this is a great stream. I really appreciate all of you for doing this. Break the rules next week. We're going to have Uber Boyo back on, along with Tom Sauer, who was working in the Navy Bomb Squad, and he's helping veterans heal from their drug addiction. So we're going to be doing a two-pronged approach to healing, and then we're going to have the reverse debate with Gavin Wax and our favorite Jessica DeLoach. She is coming back in. So I'm very excited about that. DeLoach. Yeah, she worked for Pete Buttigieg. So here we go. This is the end of the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Mwah. Good night, everybody.
God bless.